So guys, we're live, guys, we're live. So we're doing the weekend preview matches. And also we're gonna be a little bit talking about the Clasico. Will Atletico Madrid bottle the La Liga, or does it swing in the way of Barcelona or Real Madrid? And also we'll be previewing the match from the beginning of today's matches to the end of the match today. And mostly we'll touch on Kai Havertz, Messi, Mount, and a little bit of Timo Werner. Does the first nine really kind of the permanent solution to the season finish, or do you guys still believe in Limolena to come up clutch in this season, or do you guys
Facts.
believe this, or do you guys believe this is the system going forward? And also, we're gonna talk now about our like making top four, how positive or confidence you guys are in making top four. Then we discuss it. Then we ask some questions from the panels and everything, and we see how everything goes. So let me come to Chimere now, United fans. Watching this Chelsea match today, how impressed were you with Chelsea? And watching just now, do you think the first now should be a permanent formation going forward, or you still want to see, or you still believe in Limolena to come to?
I mean, as far as the game, was I impressed? Uh, I was indifferent. I mean, like I said, the Premier League is a league where one team can beat somebody 5-0 one day, next day they
Mm-hmm.
lose 6-0 to somebody else. Like,
Yep.
it's just a weird league. So, but as far as today, Chelsea, I think it's Chelsea's best performance of the season, to be honest, because they were completely dominant. Like, I don't. The only time I remember Crystal Palace ever even attempting a shot was the goal they scored.
Yep.
So I don't even remember Crystal Palace playing in this match at all. Only so it was a complete dominance. So I think this is Chelsea's best performance of the season. So as far as the false nine, I mean, you have to roll with Havertz because Werner is just out of confidence. He's not there. You got to roll with Havertz as the false nine until it stops working. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yep. So Marvel, let's go for it. Your take on the match.
I think from minute 1 to minute 90 or 93, whatever it was after added time, we absolutely just dominated and passed Crystal Palace off the park. And I think aside from when they scored, when they got a consolation thanks to a Benteke header, that was like his second goal in 35 games, 35 Premier League games. That only happened due to a lack of concentration. Schlupp was able to just like walk in behind our right side of our defense, and he was able to put in a inch perfect cross for Benteke to just arrow into Mendy's right hand corner. Aside from that lapse in concentration, I think we were perfect. I think Tuchel set us up brilliantly to exploit Crystal Palace's weaknesses. How we were able to crisply and quickly move the
Hold
ball
on,
across the park. They were always a step behind. They were always chasing. Crystal Palace wasn't able to put together an organized press. Jorginho and Kovacic goes without saying. Jovic, they did what they always do and what they a lot of times never get enough credit for. They helped us recycle the ball, and anytime it seemed as if Crystal Palace would be able to just snatch it or win it back, they either played a dummy between one another or they were able to beat the press, specifically Kovacic. You know, Kai Havertz in a false nine, I think against teams of this level, so when I say this level, I mean Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Everton, against teams that are mid to bottom level in the Premier League, bottom standing, I think going with Kai Havertz in false nine will be extremely efficient because he has such a high footballing IQ. He will know how to put himself in between the opposition's defensive line and deep midfield line to where he pulls them all out of position and creates space for a Pulisic, for a Mason Mount, and for himself. And that way he's devastating. But I think against like higher opposition, the traditional top six, against teams that know how to press extremely well, or in the Champions League, I think we need to go with a striker. And when I say we need to go with a striker, I'm not talking about Timo Werner because, in my
No, no,
opinion,
no, no.
he's a
Sell
left
that guy.
winger. He's a left inside forward. When I say we need to go with a striker, we need to play either Giroud
Or
or
Tammy.
I don't know how Tammy's situation will pan out because I feel like he will leave the club at the end of the season. So to just
Marvelous
wrap up my point,
is weird, this situation, because I don't know why Thomas Tuchel don't trust Giroud or Tammy. I have not seen them playing with Tuchel.
I think someone mentioned this in the last hangout that we had. They said
Because
it might not be a case where Tuchel does not rate them. It might be a case of where Tuchel wants another striker. And behind the scenes, the board may be saying to him, why do you want another
yeah,
striker? You have two, three strikers. And Tuchel's just like, well, if you don't see the fact that I need another striker, I'm going to make a point to not use any of the strikers that I have. And I'm going to play a low confident, misfiring Timo Werner in front of goal until the board gets the point that he needs a striker in the
maybe it's
transfer
just like a protest from Tuchel.
market.
Fair enough. MK Dons, your thought on the match, especially
But let me just wrap up my point.
mhm. Go for it. Yeah, continue. Yeah, wrap up your points. You do marvelous. Can you guys hear him?
No.
I can hear you. I can.
Siberia internet. Okay. Uh, let me come to Josh now. Your take on your take on the match. Does the formation? Do you want to see this formation going forward for like to the season finish, or still have a trust on Limolena to come to? Because this system I saw, I don't see where Timo Werner shining in this system. I do not see because the way we play the fluid football, I don't see where Timo Werner comes in here.
Um, yes, yes. But obviously, the way Tuchel is, he picks his team depending on the opponent we
Opposition.
play. So yeah, the opposition. So
Yeah.
see, Timo Werner, as much as I don't like the guy, he will be useful in games where the opposition is playing a very high line. So in a game like, for example, next week against Man City in the FA Cup, I would actually play one. I will actually play one. I will actually play one in that game because of the space
play
in
Timo
behind.
Werner.
Yeah, against Man City specifically, but against Porto definitely not. And for the rest of the Premier League games, I don't think I'll play him. Apart from Man City, like he's only useful in some games because he's only got one trait, and that's pace in behind.
But the problem is, yes, Timo Werner has been down from recently, and you want to put your thoughts on him to play this man. I can understand the highlight Man City play, but someone that is very low in confidence, I don't really trust that much of him to come through in this decisive match we need. I don't see that happening because when he's low even the manager knows he's low in confidence. We all know, we can see it very well. But my problem is when he's low in confidence, do I really trust him to have like a 1v1 with Ederson Moraes and score? I'm a little bit not sure with that. I'm not sure.
Because the thing is, against Man City, we are definitely going to be sitting in. We're going to be defending. Like we won't have most of the ball. It will be like how we played against Atletico in the second leg. Like we'll be more defensive, and then there's counter attack. I think that's how we'll play against Man City. We're not gonna have we definitely won't have the ball. So I think that's more suited to Timo Werner than rather than for example today, and our front three was Mount, Pulisic, and Havertz. I think they like to play with the ball. Like they are more technical ballers. Like they like to play with the ball
and they like to play possession ball. Timo Werner, even Ziyech as well. Like Ziyech, he's more useful on the break, like with his long range passing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ziyech, Werner, those players will be suited to a counter attacking team. Even though Timo's confidence is low, like I don't see Pulisic, Havertz and Mount like dominating City. So what we saw today, we definitely won't see that next week. We definitely will not see that next week. So I think obviously next week is going to be a different approach because City will
Mm-hmm.
dominate us, and I
Yeah.
think we know that. So we have to come with a more pragmatic approach. So it will have to be like a counter-attacking team, and I think
Mm.
Werner would be perfect for that. As much as I don't like the guy.
Fair enough. MK, does your thoughts? Do you want to see this formation for the whole entire season, or you still have the believe in Limolena to come to?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah. Thanks for having me on. By the way, hope you guys are well. Um, I think this was a I think this was a very promising performance today. Um, Actually, I'll say this is probably the most convincing performance I've seen under Tuchel. Obviously excluding Atletico Madrid, but I think that was a very good performance. I think everyone really played well as well. I think that without Werner in the team, I think, especially this game, I'm not saying generally, but this game, there was
Yeah.
more incision. There was more. I'll say there was more verve in the attack. Whereas a game against Southampton, if you guys don't remember, I'd say
Yeah.
if we didn't play Werner and we played this sort of team, I believe we wouldn't have drawn that game. I don't believe we would have relied on Mount winning a pen or something like that. Sorry, or scoring to really get to grab a point. But I think this was a very good performance. I don't. The thing is, right, because there's so much that goes into the squad. You know what I mean? Where Timo Werner has to play some semblance of games to keep his value up. Coming from the club side, where I believe the club would sort of push for a Werner start, like they did with Kepa when he randomly started a game. I believe the club will sort of have this
Yeah.
approach where if Timo Werner isn't good enough, in order to minimize the loss or even make a profit, you know what I mean, you'd have to play a couple of games. So even if that's not what we want to see, I expect him to start a couple of games. Basically, that's all I could sort of tell from it. But with regards to this team
So
selection,
you still have the belief in Timo Werner to come to, right?
you see people clown Timo Werner, but what I see, right, I see a guy that is obviously he's low on confidence, but I still see that he cares. I still see that like from his overall like body language, he's trying, innit? Whereas when it was with Morata and stuff, this guy looked depressed. This guy looked depressed. This guy looked like his head was gone. Whereas with Timo, I see that he's trying. You know what I mean? Would I trust him in a 1v1 in some games? Probably
Yeah.
not. But I'm going me personally, I'm a faithful guy, so I like keeping my faith, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep my faith in Timo Werner. Me personally, I'm gonna keep my faith in Timo Werner, but you know what I mean? I can understand why people wouldn't. It's not like against Porto, would he play? I don't know. That's the thing. Porto is such a different game where I don't know who he's gonna pick. Like I've seen people say Kante might not be in certain games. Kante shouldn't play. Like a game like this, should Kante really be playing? And I'm just like, you know what I mean? There's decisions to make all over the pitch, really. But this was a very good performance generally, apart from that one lapse of concentration. I think everyone played well, really. That's my take anyway.
Newton, after watching today's match, your take on um Limolena, and do you think this first nine could be the way forward going forward for Chelsea with Kai Havertz as the number 9?
First and foremost, I would like to say Why is this a garbage Bayern Munich fan in here when his team lost in the Champions League to Neymar Jr.
Easy,
absolutely
easy,
destroyed his team,
easy,
lubricated his
easy,
team, bro?
easy, easy.
Why is this garbage Bayern fan in here, bro? Like, why is he in here, bro? But as for Chelsea, bro, good game by Chelsea though, bro. Like, to be fair, I
Lilton,
know it's
Lilton,
Crystal
Lilton,
Palace.
Lilton.
Mute your mic, close. Mute your mic. I don't talk to people that
Lis-
lose in the Champions League, bro. I don't talk to people that lose in the Champions League. But Neymar humbled you, didn't he? He humbled you. But as for Chelsea, before I was rudely interrupted by Klaus, it's working. It's working, bro. Like, but it is Crystal Palace at the end of the day. I think Arsenal are above Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I, it is Crystal Palace, but it was a really good performance by Chelsea Football Club. I saw the German Zidane turning up. Because to be fair, I didn't really watch the game that much. I watched like the first 15 minutes. I saw the highlights. Because when it was 3-0, I was like, okay, let me watch the Dortmund game. I started watching the Dortmund game and said, that was a game. But as for Chelsea, kudos to Chelsea. You guys are in the semifinal of the Champions League. You guys are hitting form.
Chill,
But
chill, chill.
no, based on form, let's be real, but Porto have to score 3 goals against you guys to go through. And I don't see how this Porto team is gonna do it. Like I don't see it. But kudos to Chelsea. You guys are in the semifinal and the Champions League. You guys are hitting form. Chelsea, dark horse, bro. Don't be surprised if Chelsea make the Champions League final. I'm not gonna be surprised. I don't know if they can win it. They can. It's a final. You never know what can happen in the final. The final is one game. Because if you get to the final, it's one game. But as for Chelsea right now, I think they're heading in the right direction. I'm not trying to hype Chelsea up because it's Crystal Palace. At the end of the day, it is Crystal Palace. But good win because especially after losing to West Brom like that, you need to bounce back because that top four races might go down to the last day of the season. Do you guys have any tough fixture in the Premier League anymore?
We have a lot.
West
We have a lot.
Yeah,
We
we
have
Man
have
a
a
lot.
lot.
City, West Ham. We have Man
Arsenal's
City.
a
We have
tough
West
one.
Ham. Arsenal
Damn,
too
you
is
got
a
all
tough one.
our top
oh
fixture,
you
all
guys
our
still
top
Tough.
have
fixture.
Arsenal? Oh
Yeah,
my
Yeah.
that's our
goodness.
tough
Do you
match.
guys
Is
have
is
Leicester
gonna
anymore? Leicester?
Yeah, we
we
have
have
Leicester. We
Leicester.
have
Leicester,
We
Leicester.
have
Arsenal,
We
Leicester.
have
Oh
Leicester
City.
as well, don't
my
we?
goodness.
We
So
have
you guys have
Leicester,
Leicester, Arsenal, City,
Arsenal,
Stop
West
it!
Ham.
Stop.
and West Ham. Those all of those, but especially the Arsenal. You know how Arsenal, pretty much Arsenal. This is Arsenal's like this is the Arsenal football mentality. This is my personal opinion. As long as they win the FA Cup, they beat Tottenham and Chelsea in the Derby. That's a good season for Arsenal, because you know how hard they're gonna try their like they're gonna try really hard to beat
Yeah,
Chelsea
it'll be a
because
hard game.
they beat y'all to end their losing streak, didn't they?
Yep,
So you
yep.
can't take
3-1.
Arsenal. You can never
3-1.
take Arsenal lightly. You can never take Arsenal lightly.
Yeah.
And West Ham, we have Lengardino. He's balling out right now. So obviously, on paper, I think Chelsea should win
I
because
think that that,
that
that
game I
would be the
saw.
decide. That would decide the top of.
I think
That
Chelsea's
would
gonna
decide the
edge
top
it
of for me.
because that West Ham defense is breakers. Because I remember they were up 3-0 against Arsenal, and somehow, let's be real, Arsenal could have won that game 4-3. They just didn't finish their chances.
Even
Kudos to
even they
them, they
almost
tied the
lost
game
it
three
against
three.
Wolverhampton Wanderers too.
Yeah, so I think Chelsea's gonna be West Ham, but you have Leicester. That's gonna be a tough game. You have City, then you have Arsenal. Oof.
Mm.
But
Even Fulham.
no, you're gonna be Fulham. I think you're gonna be
Okay, okay,
Fulham.
okay, okay, okay.
And you guys have Brighton. You're gonna be Brighton. I think you're gonna be Brighton, West Ham, Fulham. But the thing about the West Ham game is tricky because West Ham might kick it to a fourth gear because they know they have a chance of making the Champions League.
Mm.
So yeah, as long as
Yeah.
you beat West
West Ham,
Ham,
West Ham.
because to be honest with you, the key game is just West Ham. You have to be Brighton and West Ham and Fulham. You have to beat those
Hmm.
three games. Then
Jesse
you
Yeah.
Lingard is on
then
fire.
if you beat City, that's a bonus. But if you get a draw against City, that's even better. Because at the end of the day, if you beat West
Yeah.
Ham, because they're the one in the top four race with you guys. If you beat them, they're gonna drop points.
Liverpool as well.
And
Liverpool as well.
Liverpool, well, you guys don't play Liverpool anymore. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but as long as
Hmm.
you beat Brighton, West Ham, Fulham, and get a draw against City or even beat them. If you beat those four games, if let's say Chelsea win those four games, you pretty much make top four, I think. Well, it's gonna
Yeah,
depend on Liverpool too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know, but this for some reason the top four race is way more interesting than who's gonna win the league, which is sick. But kudos to Chelsea though. Y'all did what you did, and y'all getting ready for Porto to lubricate them.
Hmm.
Lilton, Lilton,
Fair
Lilton,
enough.
Lilton,
Yes,
Lilton.
Klaus.
Pray to God, Lilton. Pray to God that Tuesday we don't beat PSG. Just pray to God.
You're not gonna see me, Klaus. You're not gonna see me if that happens, bro. I'm done,
Okay,
bro.
okay.
Close. We're gonna be doing a UCL preview on Monday, so you can rant and verse your anger on Tuesday. On Monday, sorry.
The line. I need to have an apology to you because you told me that Mbappe will score. I said no.
I
You
said
were
Neymar
right.
will show up. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
always
no,
right,
it was
so I
Mbappe, not
understand. I know
Neymar.
myself.
Not Neymar. It was Mbappe.
I said Neymar will show up. Neymar showed up. I said Kylian Mbappe will score.
No,
And
no.
like I told you
It
against
showed. It was
I
just
told you
Mbappe,
against
not Neymar.
see
Neymar,
the
not
Barcelona
Neymar.
first leg. Barcelona gave name Mbappe 3 chances. He scored that trick. Imagine how many chances you guys gave. You gave him how many chances? 2 chances or 3 chances? He scored 2 goals. At the Parc de France, imagine how much chance you're gonna give him with the stupid highline you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
played.
but
It's not gonna
yeah,
go well
but
for you guys.
he was lucky, Abdullah. He was lucky because Neuer played like a brick. So
Yeah, this is not UCL. We're gonna talk about UCL on Monday, so I'm not talking
anyway,
about UCL. We'll talk about UCL on Monday. So, Aqua here, can you hear me? Yeah, watching the EPL matches today.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
what
I
impressed you more about the match is the lineup. Is it are we being harsh on Lemolena, or is it high time to like to use this formation going forward, or you still want to
K-
see more cohesiveness in the way we
Abdullah, can
play?
I talk about Limo Lerner?
Let me come to Apache then. I'll come to you left when I don't when it's
okay,
finished. Kind of. Well, go for it.
okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. I greet everyone. Try. Yeah. So can you go again with the question? Sorry, I wasn't focusing.
Okay, I said the lineup today. Were you impressed with the lineup today with Kai Havertz as a first line, or you want to see more of Timo Werner, or are we being harsh on Limo Lena, the
So,
German Sheikh?
yeah, the lineup. At the first place, I thought Giroud should have started, or Tammy Abraham should have started ahead of Kai Havertz, because Kai Havertz as a first nine was a no for me before, but yeah, he stood up and then he did well. So for henceforth, I look forward to seeing this kind of lineup against Porto and in the coming games also. And then as for Pulisic starting ahead of Werner, yeah, he deserves to start considering his recent form. The Pulisic have been great and Werner has been misfiring. So Pulisic should have, yeah, Pulisic starting ahead of Werner is a yes for me. So that's what it is.
Fair enough. Sam, your take on the lineup today? Were you impressed with the lineup, or are we guys being harsh on Limo Lena?
The thing, the lineup was okay. I think it was good for Werner not to play because even Tuchel said that he's reaching that stage where he's playing too many games, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not like he's scoring goals that you would actually, because like Rashford has reached that stage since like last month, but they're still playing because he's always scoring goal and he performs. But Werner is
Yeah,
not really performing, so there's not really need of pushing him that much. So it's good for him to get a rest and actually watch from the stand. And yeah, this formation for sure we should try it again. Pulisic deserves his place because Pulisic brings something different that Werner doesn't have. He can
yeah.
dribble and also his burst of pace. Like he knows when to run very fast. See the second
That
goal and the
look
first
at
goal.
that goal. Look at that goal he scored. The first goal he scored. Oh my
Even the
goodness, man.
second one, the speed. You can
Mm-hmm.
Werner has that speed, but Werner doesn't get himself in those moments where he just uses that speed and outruns everybody. But that's what Pulisic did today. So for sure, he deserves his spot. And yeah, the formation for sure. I don't know about Porto, Sha, because I think maybe against Porto we need a number 9, maybe not a false 9, because that's the thing people need to understand too, is that this false 9 it works against some teams and it doesn't work against some other teams.
Yeah,
But
that's what
for
I like
sure,
about each other. He won't use that much. He will be changing it based on the position.
yes, yes. So for sure, it's something to try on because the formation looks nice. I like the difference between Mason Mount and Pulisic. They are
Mm-hmm.
very different players and they offer different things. So and Hudson-Odoi was okay. I think he needs to start scoring goals, sure, but yeah, the formation was all right. And for Werner,
Fair
it's
enough.
not. No one is really being harsh on him. He just needs to start scoring goals, and he needed the
That's I
rest too.
think it's prob- I
Apart
think the
from the
problem
goal
with
scoring, apart from this goal scoring, his performance also is without the goals, even taking away the goals, his performance is recently has been bad to me. He has been bad.
Abysmal. Not even bad. Abysmal. His performance has been. He
I
has
don't
been
want to be too
No,
harsh
questionable.
on him.
we can't
That's why
really
I
say his
said
performance has been abysmal because the game we got 5-3 or 5-2. We lost 5-2. He gave an assist there. If we're talking about other, I think the goal part for sure. Assist wise, out of like 2 games, Fern, I will give you 1 assist.
Yeah, he's still He's still finding
Still
ways to contribute him. That's my
Like
thing.
people forget that a lot when they say,
Yeah,
"Oh, he's not." I feel he needs to start scoring goals, but
yeah,
saying that his
definitely.
performance is
Eh,
abysmal and he's
bro,
a rubbish player and he's not
He's
helping the
trying.
team,
He's trying.
wait,
he's contributing.
how many assists does Werner has?
He's the
His
highest
stats will
assister in
surprise
the
you.
school.
His
I mean,
stats will surprise you.
he's the highest assister in
How
the
many?
squad.
I'm asking. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm not keeping stats of the how many assists, but I know there's no one in that team
Bro,
that
bro,
assists more than Werner,
it's not up
which
to 10.
matters. No. You have to look at it as a team. If you have a team and no one is giving this output that we're talking about, assist
Bro,
as
only
much
got 9
as
assists.
Werner.
Werner has been bad. Let's just move.
No,
He's been
see,
bad.
that's
No,
the thing. That's the thing. Maybe to you
No,
though,
no,
because
no,
everything is
no.
opinion based. You can say he's been a bad goal scorer, but if you talk about impact on the team and using his attributes like his pace, he has not been abysmal.
He has not been using his space for reasonable things.
He's
I'm
been
sorry,
abysmal,
but he
man.
has been.
Werner,
He's been.
Werner is a Fulham player. Werner is a Fulham
Okay,
player.
how did Ziyech score his goal like in the Champions League? Do you remember that goal?
yeah.
But come
Atletico.
on, bro. Come on.
Yes.
No, give credit where credit is due, though. That's my thing because
No, that's the problem with people. They forget things like this.
No, I get no.
The
I'm
penalties he wins. No. Wait, let me just finish. The penalty he also wins for the team. People forget that too. He wins a lot of penalties. If you count
a
all those
lot.
things,
Like,
you
a
can
Come
say
lot.
on,
he's a
man.
bad goal
A
scorer.
lot.
See,
But
just wait.
come on.
You can say he's a bad goal scorer. I
He's
don't
a
argue
bad
that with you.
footballer. He's a bad
But
footballer. Full stop.
no,
Bad
you can't
football.
say that.
You
But
can,
if you
you
say
know, you
he's
can say he's a bad footballer all round. Like, let's not.
But you will
I
you know
you
who he
will
reminds
Werner
me of.
just
Guys,
for to
I
win
think
penalties.
for me, I think the problem with Timo Werner is not even in terms of goal scoring. I wouldn't say it's confidence because he's been given so many chances to prove himself. It's not all about it's about instinct. Tuchel always said it in the final third. You have to be more decisive and trust yourself as a player rather than trusting your instinct. When you know, do I have to shoot or I have to pass? You have to be very decisive enough as a striker to put that point into the net. Timo Werner problem is not about confidence. It's about, do I trust myself to shoot or do I trust myself to make an assist? That's my problem. He overdo stuff, doesn't need to overdo. I
Abdullah,
listen
can I
to.
say something?
uh,
Please, can I
Go,
say
go.
something? Okay, this other guy that I was talking about when I has been a good player. No,
He
let me
didn't
tell you
say
something.
good. He didn't say good. He
you
didn't say
see,
good.
that's the thing. They will
He didn't
try
say
to
good.
switch it up.
He
They will try
didn't
to
say
switch it up
good.
because I'm not saying, oh,
I'm
he's a
defending.
horrible
Yeah,
player
it's not.
or
He
trash
didn't say
player
that.
like everyone is saying. I never
Yeah,
said he's a good player, but I'm
one
stating
thing
facts. Why is it
that's
that Werner is so bad and no one is outperforming him in assists? If he's been so
Assist
bad.
is so skewed. Let's be
that
real.
No,
that
So
don't
It
tell me
skewed.
matters, though.
assist
It
it's
matters. It
Assist is
matters.
important.
so
It
It's
skewed.
matters.
But let's can we?
important.
It's
Remove
matters.
see,
Assist is not important, fam. Assist is not important
Hey,
because he
Josh,
does a
Are
Josh,
you
5 yard
drunk?
Josh.
So
pass.
how do you score?
He does a 5 yard pass and then
No,
the
but
person
it
that gets the
matters
ball
that's
is
a
though. It
good.
lie
matters
too,
though. It
because he
matters.
doesn't do
Let's
five
not act,
yards pass alone.
fam.
Is that if you
yeah,
check his
Let's not
assists, they've
act
not
as
all
if
been
assist.
5 yard
And
passes.
come on, man.
You know the
Assist is
funny
so
part about
skewed.
it.
Let's not act as if assist
Mhm.
is a proper
The
Okay,
funny,
stat.
what should we look? Is it eye test? How
guys,
many
easy,
I
dribbles
easy,
he
test is very
makes?
important. I
Is
test
it
is
how
guys,
many
important.
easy,
dribbles?
easy, easy.
Is
The
that what we
funny
should
part
count?
about this is I was watching the game with my brother and I told my brother that first goal that Pulisic score, I can put my money on the team. Werner is not scoring that goal. It's
Hell
game
No.
no.
over. Forget it.
it's not
100%.
His first
100%.
touch didn't even get
Even
into
I
that
agree
position.
with you, Abdullah.
Yeah.
That's why I said as a goal scorer, he's
no
been
Goal
No,
scoring,
no,
bad.
goal
he's not
scorer.
scoring
Timo
that
Werner
goal.
Scoring
is
Before
goals
that,
has been
it's
bad.
before
But if
that.
you
It's
say that
before the
he's a
goal
bad
Yeah,
scoring.
I
player,
understand
and
his
Before the
impact
goal
and everything
scoring.
in the team
Before he
is
even
there.
gets
he
Yes.
has been a bad player. I will tell you that, and I will repeat it. If Werner had played today, we won't be this confident. We won't win this
Hell
fourth
no.
one.
Hell no.
I'm
You
very
can say
sure of
that
that.
with several players though in the team
See,
though. If
you,
Kante
you
was
see,
playing, do you think we would have won 4-1?
Werner is this kind of player that is really so predictable. If Werner is with the ball at the edge of the box 18, you will know he's going to drive to the corner flag to try to use his left to cross. It's so predictable. Everyone knows
Can
this.
I say something? Can I say something?
Wait. Let me finish.
Yeah,
You've seen a
all
lot
right, go.
a simple control, simple pass. He could not even do that. And you're telling me it's not about going. Let's take away the goals. His overall performance has not been okay at all. If you are being sincere, if you are not being, if you don't want to settle for less, we should be honest with ourselves. His overall gameplay has not been okay. Don't say it has not been okay at all. Forget the goal scoring part. And that assist that you guys are talking about, how many assists does Werner have? I don't think it's up to 10. So don't use it as a criteria to
Akpashe,
win.
I think for me,
How many penalties has he won?
Akpashe, I think for me,
One penalty, but
Akpashe, I think for me,
that is not why we bought him.
the problem with Timo Werner is he's not a level Chelsea player, the way I say, because as a technical player, people say
Thank you.
people
He's
will
a
say
Fulham player.
when I look at Timo Werner for me, people will say he has the space, he has the ability, yes. But will I put Timo Werner as a striker scoring goals? No, because I don't trust him 1v1. I don't even trust him beating a man and scoring that goal. My problem
Not
with
really
Timo
don't
Werner,
trust him. Low doesn't trust him. Tuchel doesn't.
Because when we talk about goal scoring now, people talk about my love for Kai Havertz. I love Kai Havertz because I've been watching that guy for the past 3 seasons. So yes, it may not have this clinical edge, but when you watch Kai Havertz play, you know this guy is a baller. This guy is actually a football player. Other than watching, when you watch Timo Werner, you shake it and like.
But Abdullah, I want to ask you something about Kai Havertz. You know,
Mhm.
football and a squad, you're not supposed to have the same type of player with the
Players
same
all
kind
over
of
the pitch.
attributes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So having a Kai Havertz, having a player like Timo Werner, if he's firing, I'm not saying like all I'm saying is that if he's been so bad, what does it say about the whole squad that no one has been able to outperform him?
Outperform exactly.
That's because Akashe is talking
most-
about what is assist, what is this? Then why aren't other people giving more assists?
If
Why are
Most of
other
them
people
have been
what you
playing
giving
said,
bad.
more assists?
what you said, the same thing to
this
Thomas Tuchel said the same thing
put
to.
on
He said the problem about
like
Timo Werner is
no
not
passing
about.
the
He said
ball.
it's not about scoring goals. He said the problem with Timo Werner is he overdo
Ignore
stuff
that.
he doesn't overdo.
Forget
That
about the
when he's
goal.
in 1v1 with a goalkeeper, Timo Werner needs to understand that I am a goal scorer. Me being a goal scorer, I need my instinct and my brain, not
Sim-
doing something that hey, if I do this thing, people will come at him. Timo Werner, you're a brick. No, you need to like think and use his brain when it's not. That's a manager who understands football, who knows, who coach a play, it coach Timo Werner. So you understand, oh, when you're doing this thing, you're making silly ass mistake, you don't need to overdo. It's overdoing things you don't need to overdo. Timo Werner job is to score goals. When you get the chance, score that goal. It's as
And
simple as
Abdullah, another thing, I'm not saying this as excuse, but
that.
I do feel, and I felt this about Mason Mount too when he was not scoring. Because when Mason Mount wasn't scoring, he was hitting the bar a lot. He was getting very close. I
It's
do
a
But
feel like
Mason Mount
Werner,
is not a striker.
it's a
yeah,
different case.
wait. But what I'm trying to say is that people just deciding that this guy is a rubbish player from one season, it
No,
doesn't
no,
make sense.
exactly. Wait,
It
you are
doesn't make sense.
guys.
Wait.
No.
If you say for one
He's
season,
not
I
a
won't take
footballer
that
for the
away from
Premier
you. If you
League.
say for one
Akpashe,
season,
Akpashe. This is
For
what
the
the
Premier
problem
League, he's not a
with Timo
footballer.
Werner and what people doesn't understand. Timo Werner is playing bad now. Chelsea will give him till next season. If he doesn't perform, he's getting sold. I can guarantee you that.
Yes,
Getting
which is
sold.
fair. And it's a fair way
sure,
that way.
It's getting that is Chelsea for you. Because Chelsea will tell you, we bought you in what to become that goal scorer. You're not performing, you're getting out of the team.
Abdullah, you should sell Timo Werner this summer because you can get some money from him this summer.
I'll
If you
sell him this
keep
summer.
maintaining
No,
him and playing him, you will have a Kepa situation with Werner
That's
that you
very
cannot
true.
sell anymore.
how much this see it's not about selling Timo Werner. See, in terms of selling, Marina doesn't have a problem with selling because she loves money. She's a money. I can call her money mugu. That's who Marina Ganaskia is. But with the way Timo Werner, no Premier League team wants to buy Timo Werner. No, except he go back to the Bundesliga and perform. That is where Timo Werner will perform, the Bundesliga. But in Europe, I don't see him going to a team and perform because my problem is people say, hey, the way Timo Werner this, but the problem is he lack confidence. And I'm happy Tuchel knows that this person lack confidence. Is putting him on the bench and telling him, keep watching the matches, watch from the bench, understand. You say what?
My own is that people just removing the impact, because I'm hearing people now saying that assist doesn't matter
They
because
matter a
it's
lot.
Timo
It
Werner.
matters a
It
lot.
Yeah,
matters.
but the
Now
thing
they
is,
want to.
but the
If
thing
it
is, you
doesn't
can't
matter,
say the thing is, you
why aren't
can't
other
say
people
the
outperforming him in
thing is, you
assist?
can't say the assist is so
We're
important
not saying
that
It's not saying it's important, but you're acting like this guy has no impact on the game, no bearing on the
I'm not
Exactly.
game,
saying he has
does
You
no
guys are
nothing
impact.
on the
going
I'm saying
from
pitch.
no, I'm not
It's a
zero
saying
to
he
lie.
has no impact.
100.
I'm not saying there's
There's
no
maybe
impact,
this
but I'm
middle
saying
line that you could stay and say, okay,
Yeah, you
he's
can
not
say
been the
he's doing
striker I
something.
expected. He's not scoring goals like this, but some matches he does give assists. Some matches he
that's
wins
cute. That's
penalties.
cute. It's
Some
cute.
matches he actually scores a goal, but it's offside. And I'm not saying that offside goal counts, but you can see that he's getting close. But
Yes,
it's
That's
just
yes.
cute. That's
maybe a
cute.
little bit
But
unlucky
I said,
I
sometimes.
said
guys,
there's other
I
players.
said
But
something
the thing is,
yesterday
there's other players
in
around
because
you
recent
hold
that
on,
are
games,
hold on,
better.
hold on,
People,
guys, hold on, guys.
please.
I said something yesterday. I look at the way RB Leipzig play, Yusuf Poulsen and Timo Werner, and I look at where Timo Werner play. Yes, I would love to see him with Olivier Giroud. It's not been working. I would love to see a striker with more pace with Timo Werner. When Lampard was there, Lampard tried something in which I was like, can Tuchel do it? Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner needs to play together a little bit more consistent because Tammy has that pace. Timo Werner to have that pace. But my problem with Tammy is he lack goal sense. Maybe when we prepare like
Wow.
Haaland or
That goes
Kane,
sense.
someone like
Really.
that has goal sense that can improve Timo Werner's performance.
I don't agree. Tammy doesn't like goals.
Lol.
You can say he's a bad header, but if you talk
No,
about
I
scoring
mean,
goals, he has a good record.
very good
he's not
record.
Chelsea level. He's
Yeah,
Very
just
good
not Chelsea
record.
He
he
might
level.
not
has
be Chelsea level,
He's
See,
but
not
he
a
can
top
back. He
wait,
top
knows
can I
how to
ask
level.
you?
score.
Can I ask you,
That's cool. It's cool. It's not top level.
Kalu?
Yeah, I agree.
What kind of
Play the
striker
role.
was Kalu? Or what kind of player was Kalu? You know, Kalu played in the Champions League final.
Yeah,
yeah, he
he's a
does.
squad player. A squad player. Yeah.
He's a
Exactly.
squad
You
player.
can
He's a
tell
nice
me
squad
that
player.
Tammy Abraham is a squad player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but the
not
thing
saying
is,
he's
he
a
doesn't want to
starter,
be.
but in
He
that
doesn't want to
squad,
be a squad.
see all these things you're saying about he doesn't want to be. You don't know. You're just guessing. At
Oh,
the end,
come
I'm
on,
not
man.
saying
He's
he wants
23.
to
He's
or
an
doesn't
English.
want to be.
He's
Huh?
23. He wants to play for England. Like he wants to start playing football. He's still
Yes,
23 years old. He wants to
but
start
the
his
thing is,
career.
you have to
Why do you
understand
want
that
to start
Tammy
on the
has
bench?
been in this club since he was a child.
Yeah,
And one thing, even in the youth system, people forget this. Tammy had competition in the youth system. You know, Dominic Solanke,
yeah,
Yep.
that
yeah,
guy
yeah.
was firing goals with Tammy. So Tammy is not looking at even Haaland and
Yeah,
all these guys
exactly.
and saying, oh, I can't perform. That's
I,
small mentality,
This is youth
baby
yeah,
level. Like this
mentality.
is
If
yeah,
because a
senior level.
quality player is
I don't.
coming, you run away to a smaller club and say, oh,
I
Exactly.
let me
think.
play for
I'm a
Everton.
fam. I'm a
Guys,
fam. I said
let me
he's a
hear
mid-table team.
what Blue Eyes
Like
want to say.
that's not
Hi,
a
Blue
bad thing
Eyes,
to say.
go for it. Your thought on today's lineup. Were you impressed? Because I know you have this Kovacic agenda, and I don't want to. I don't want to stretch more on Kovacic, but today, yeah,
Yeah,
Kovacic played very well, but he looked average a little bit to me. But I don't want to
yeah.
dissect too much on Kovacic. Your take on the lineup, and were you impressed with the way the team plays? Or I understand some talk about Timo Werner being too much little bit of a give assist and I get that. But my problem is we know Chelsea structures. If you don't perform, you get it out. That is Chelsea for you. Timo Werner needs to understand that this is not Leipzig and this is not Arsenal and this is not Tottenham. If you don't perform, you are getting out of the club. That is Chelsea level.
Yeah.
That's how Chelsea is run. That's how he's run. So he needs to understand. He needs to start scoring goals. People say we create so many chances for him, but it keep missing chances. It's not even about confidence anymore. It's problem within. It's not even confidence anymore. It's a problem within, which he needs to fix himself. So your take on the lineup and how impressive were you with the team?
Blue Eyes, you there?
Oh my God, Blue Eyes, you there?
Wait, quick question, guys.
Hmm?
Is Lionel Mount playing against Porto? Is he injured?
No,
No,
it's
he's
fine.
not injured. He's
Oh,
No, he's
thank
fit.
gonna
God,
play.
thank
He's
No,
gonna
God.
he's
play.
fine. He's fine.
If
He's
your
fine.
best player was injured, I would have said Porto is definitely winning that game. But
No,
Don't
Lionel
do
it's
Mount
that.
not.
is
Don't
better
do
player
that.
that game.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Bro,
Don't do that.
I don't. He's your best player. Just
He
accept it.
is.
Lionel
Sure.
And
Mount is your
today,
best player.
Mute,
Mason Mount.
Gentlemen,
Don't,
good
mute,
don't let the
evening.
Kovacic
Mute
Lionel
on.
guys
Mount.
hear
It's
you.
not
Hey,
Mason
Eugene.
So
Mount. It's
yeah,
Lionel Mount.
If
It's
you
He's
Lionel
talk,
performing
Mount.
I
well.
was I thought
It's
it was
Leo
we're gonna
Mount.
talk
It's
about Mount.
Lionel
Don't
Mount.
worry. I have a topic
I was
beside
excited
Mount.
about the
Yes,
lineup.
I
Abdullah,
have a
we have to
topic.
talk about Mount.
I
Abdullah,
have a
we have to
topic
Man
talk
of the
about
match.
Mount
beside
because
Mount.
I have to call
Victor,
No
you out on what you said about
arg-
Mount.
oh, easy.
hands
Guys,
down, hands down, man of the match. No, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you. We can hear you.
Hello, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, Mason Mount, I thought hands down was man of the match, not because of the assists, but because he created a triangle all over the pitch, and
Yes.
that's what people don't see. People want to see the glitz and glamour, Calvin Klein. They want to see the good, smelly stuff, the stuff that smells really good. But Mason Mount did all the dirty work, and I thought he was fantastic. It's a nice little dimension to his game. Timo Werner, I heard you folks talking about Timo Werner. Timo Werner is technically and tactically bankrupt.
Thank you.
It's called technical and tactical bankruptcy. So it doesn't matter how you slice or dice it. Yes, he has the assists. Yes, he pushes the team up front. But unfortunately, there are certain qualities you expect from a $50 million player like Timo Werner that he's not bringing to the table. And if you guys know the ethos of Chelsea is not that team that will give you a transition period for 1 year, 2 years. If you understand, it's hello, yeah. So I mean, in all honesty, it was a fantastic game. Man of the match for me, Mason Mount. Kai Havertz, he needs to stay consistent with this performance because the last time we saw this performance was against Everton, and then he went silent. So we need to see this over and over and over again.
Sorry to.
Blue
Why'd you do
Eyes,
that,
I want to
Abdullah?
ask you a question.
Wait, who are you speaking?
Remember
Who are you
guys,
speaking?
wait, Vilton wants to understand something. He's saying what?
No, why'd you make your screen big like that? What happened? Who is just speaking?
When he said
Blue Eye.
Timo
No,
Werner is a
who is
bad
just
club,
talking? Who
that
is talking?
Blue
Blue
eyes.
eyes, blue eyes, blue eyes.
Blue Eyes,
When he
it's
said
facts.
Timo,
What Blue Eyes said it's fact. Lionel
when
Mount
he
was
said
man of the
bankruptcy, I was
Yeah,
match.
like,
that's why he keeps
bankruptcy?
laughing.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
like.
technical and
Okay.
technical and tactical bankruptcy, man. Somebody, how can you trap the ball for your opponent? Beautiful trapping, Not be say beautiful trapping. You kill the ball for your opponent and say, take, Ross, take this ball. He cannot. He doesn't have the
So,
basics.
are you telling me Timo Werner is like IWEF sprinter, not a footballer anymore?
Not even that. Timo Werner, in all honesty, without being cruel, he needs to be on the bench for the next 2 weeks.
No,
Chineke.
actually, even I agree with that. But what would you say
Yeah.
about Willian? What would you say about Willian that stayed in Chelsea for 6 years?
William, William, let me tell you, Sam, let me answer that question. That's a very good question. William had, like a street fighter when, going into a fight and you have street skills. William had that. And his first 3 years, he gave us that.
Yeah.
William could get out of any situation.
And
He
his
could
best
cause
performance is 2015. That performance.
There you go. William was more of a street fighter, and then at the end they tapered off. He got old and they tapered off, and he got found out. But Timo Werner, man,
Why I brought up William is that he's quite all right. He made the team better, but when you talk about his output, and I mean goals, assists, they were almost non-existent.
No, he scored goals. He scored some big goals. They were not a lot.
But the volume, the amount.
The amount, the level.
Yeah, but William was not a striker. William was not a striker.
No, but you should still be popping in with a lot more goals and assists than he did.
See.
Absolutely. Okay.
But the thing is,
be real.
But the football is more than goals and assists.
Oh no, I'm not discounting that. But
William,
the bottom line.
Have you tried to see Timo Werner try to dribble when he ends up dribbling?
Yeah, I understand, but as good as William was, imagine William was a Mane that Liverpool have, and I mean output and consistency with a Hazard next to him. Do you know what Chelsea could have done?
That's true, but I mean, we were able to manage the team with the little he gave us, and it worked. But you cannot manage anything with Timo Werner right now.
That's the thing I don't agree with you though, because Timo Werner is still impacting the game. See, until he doesn't have any impact, and I mean zero, or Pulisic and this other guy start outperforming him, then I agree that Timo Werner will be living on the bench. But until those guys don't outperform him,
yeah, okay, but right now,
no, technical and tactical bankruptcy, man.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Can I just say something,
man?
Sorry.
Right now, he should be on the bench. Is that fair?
Can I say something? I watched the because Timo Werner reminds me of someone, right? And hear me out. If people who watch Liverpool, right, watch them a lot, remove Mohamed Salah's goals, remove it. Don't count his goals.
Yeah.
And you look at what he does for 90 minutes of play. I think it's very similar to Timo Werner, where this guy, really and truly, this guy Salah is dribbling. No, not really. Can't really pass and create for you, really. But he chips in with the goals. He is an actual goal scoring machine. But if you look beside that, this guy doesn't really do much for the team. Jota's been doing more. Even Mane, although he's trash, he still does more on a game-to-game basis than Salah. Whereas with Timo Werner, right, he can't dribble. Okay, he can't control the ball. He can't dribble. He can't pass. He is finishing. He can't finish. But him just being on against Liverpool, especially him just being on a pitch, there, the amount of respect defenders had to give purely because of his pace alone, right? Purely because of his pace, the amount of respect defenders have to give to this guy, I just don't think it's right to say, right, this guy has been. I wouldn't. The trash isn't the word I'll use for him this season. Has he underperformed? Yes, but I still think if you compare him to other players in the league, he's been meh. I'll say meh. My words would be meh. But to say trash, I think
it's
it's
a little
too
bit
strong.
overwhelming, even.
But the problem is
it's not been trashed.
Yeah,
No,
trash is
I
too
like-
strong.
I like how you said meh. Abramovich doesn't have time for meh. You know what he does to meh people. You know. Abramovich doesn't have time for meh. And unfortunately, you can tell that Tuchel right now, if you look at his body language, he doesn't even have time for meh. If Chelsea was the club that will give you 2 years to marinate, then Timo Werner is in the right place. He's in the right situation. Unfortunately, Chelsea is a short-term goals. Right now, I bet you Chelsea's goal is we need the next CL, man. We need that chip. We need the next chip. And if Timo Werner keeps trapping the ball for the opponent beautifully, then we have a problem. We have a problem. Kai Havertz, at least, he's bringing goals to his skill set. So people are a little more comfortable with, even though it's not consistent.
One game.
Exactly, it's not consistent. You're right. The last time he did it was against Everton. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was really pissed off that he missed those 2 chances in the second half.
Yeah.
That was terrible. He should have put those away. He should have chipped the golie. I know it's easier said than done. Yeah, but
out of all the signings, out of all the signings we signed this year, Kai Havertz was only my player. Everybody could say Ziyech, Timo Werner. I am not sold on them yet. My player was Kai. Everybody who knows me knows how much I love that guy. He's just a very good footballer for me. He has
What you should do at some point is grade all the signings. Everyone should grade every single
we
Chelsea
will
signing.
grade
That's even a very good question here. Who has been worse for Chelsea, Ziyech or Werner?
Ziyech.
No, let everyone say theirs. Let everyone say theirs.
I call them the 2-for-1 pizza special. They're both the same.
No, but otherwise you have to choose one. You have to choose
No,
one.
I can't. Look, where do I start? Do I start with the one that traps the ball for the opponent, or the other one that is running like he's playing in the park?
Okay, so you're on defense. Blue Eyes is on defense. Marvelous.
Thank you. I'm on defense. Yes.
And
Marvelous says Ziyech.
Oh, look, Marvelous.
Let him explain.
Ziyech, the only saving grace that he has is he can make the argument of he has barely played. Whenever he comes on, he only has like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes. That's the only thing that's helping him save face. Aside from that, if you look at him and Werner from an objective perspective, he is by far our worst signing.
Yes.
And actually, before I left, because I was on here earlier, my laptop, I thought it was plugged in, but it died. But I was going to tell Abdullahi, to be fair, if we project long term, Ziyech may end up being the flop out of that 220 million. My argument is he's already 27, about to be 28.
It's 28 already.
He was being labeled as elite in a one-team league, in the Dutch league, which the standard of football, even though he played for Ajax and under Ten Hag's system, the standard of football and the intensity isn't really all that. So already we're kind of just like hoping that he catches on to the English level of play, which the older he gets, 28, next season he'll be 29. It's looking slim. So he may end up being a flop because at least with Werner has pace to where he'll always be able to use that pace to get into situations. It's just whether he can work on his finishing and start to put the ball in the back of the net. Ziyech, on the other hand, it just appears that he cannot hack average Premier League defenses. I mean, against what was our FA Cup opposition before Sheffield?
Was it Rock?
Morecambe?
Barnsley.
Morecambe.
Or Luton, one of those. I think it
It was
was
either Morecambe,
No, I think it was
Morecambe or Barnsley. And he
Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Luton.
It was Luton. Yeah, it was Luton.
No, it was Barnsley.
it was
Barnsley.
Barnsley.
No. I
Ziyech.
think it was Luton, the one that Tammy Abraham scored in.
Oh,
Or
okay,
One,
guys,
yeah.
Yeah, it
listen.
was one
It
of
was
them.
either Morecambe, Luton, or Barnsley.
I think
And
it
if I
was
remember
Barnsley.
correctly, it may have been against all of them because Ziyech played against all of them, and he looked
Okay.
average against 3 of those teams.
Yeah.
So while I'm not saying he's a bad player, all I'm saying is if we take away our blue lenses off for a second, he's kind of flopping
Yeah,
and just
definitely.
masquerading behind the fact that he doesn't play often.
Yeah,
See,
And
yeah,
there is a
hate
reason
on
he's not
y'all
playing.
hate on Timo Werner, but
It's
at the end of
definitely
the
zero.
day, the guy's still gonna be Germany's starting striker at the Euro. So come at me, man.
No one cares, bro. Who
North
cares?
Macedonia.
And I like what Marvelous said there. The age. Timo Werner is 25.
Yeah,
He
I
has,
can
he
say,
has the age by his side.
and
Ziyech is in his
Sam,
prime.
I love what Marvelous said because when everybody was raving about Ziyech, Timo, my first answer was Kai Havertz because I look at the age, I look at when Chelsea signed
Like
player, Chelsea was,
Havertz is still a flop though. But
I know
What?
easy on my guy, easy on my guy, easy on my
Hey,
guy.
I'm actually shocked at this
no, I'm
point.
going to
No,
say this because
this is
Abdullahi,
absolutely
I have,
shocking.
I have something to
So you're
quickly
backing
say.
Timo Werner, and you've got the guts and the
No,
resolve to say
calm
Havertz is
down,
a
calm down.
flop?
It was a joke. It
Easy
was
on
a joke. It was
No.
an
He was
inside
joking.
joke
Calm
No,
because
down,
no,
calm
no,
down,
no,
Abdullahi
no.
calm
started
Don't
down,
talking
take
about
that.
Messi.
Take that
Sandwich.
with a grain of
calm
salt.
down.
Take that with a grain of salt, Samuel. He doesn't mean flop as in
Do you want to tell me he's
fucking
performing
Dan
the way
James.
we expected him to?
Yeah.
Let's be real. I know he's all of your favorite player, but I never expected that Mason Mount would perform better than Kai Havertz.
Kovacic.
Do you
I
know when?
never
Do you know when I
expected.
knew? Do you know, gentlemen? Do you know when I found out that Timo Werner was out of his depth? Was after Mason Mount scored that goal in Champions League. The way Timo Werner celebrated that goal. Go back and look at that clip. It looked like, yo, Mason, how did you do that? There was this look of surprise, like somebody can
He
actually
looks
do
lost. He looks
something
lost.
like wow. So you can actually do something like this close to the 18-yard box.
Blue
Man,
eyes.
that's why
Werner's
yo,
capable of it, though.
Fam, and the thing
right,
is, you
right.
can even tell. You can even tell in his interviews, like this guy says, like the Premier League, the
It's
defenders are
hard.
too big for him.
I can
He
speak
said
a
it
little bit
himself.
louder. Let's hear you. I can hear you very well. Speak a little bit louder so people can hear you.
He said it himself that
Mhm.
the defenders in the Premier League are too big for him. They are too
Yeah.
big and too fast.
And that's how I feel Haaland might get found out too if he comes
Maybe.
Haaland
over.
is already
My
getting found
days.
out in
This is
Germany. He
this
has like
title right
6
now.
games drought.
There
So
you
now you're
go.
drawing
There you go.
parallels
No,
between Morata and Timo Werner and Haaland.
Speak of the
Damn.
devil. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Giving up.
So I didn't watch the City Dortmund game live, right?
Yeah.
Because I watched the Liverpool Real Madrid. So I went to go see the highlights, right? And like
Yeah.
one of the most liked comments on that video, if you guys could go look and try to find it, it's like this Dortmund fan. It's either a Dortmund fan or a Bayern fan. And they
Yeah.
said, listen, guys, all this talk about Haaland wanting to go to the Premier League, I just have a gut feeling that he will not be able to carry over these performances. I mean, look at how he plays for Norway. He kind of looks like a shadow of himself when he's not in this Dortmund system. And then the person ended it off by saying, remain in Dortmund or get exposed. But my whole thing is maybe they were just a Dortmund fan being like a
wasn't
little
anything.
like cynical
Like
and trying to like get him to stay, like playing
Yeah.
mind games.
Yeah.
But it's just ironic how you guys said it.
The thing is that
Sam
better
wanted
players
to ask me a question.
Better players
Go
playing.
for it.
Better players playing.
Can I say something?
Go.
Before you guys proceed, I just want to make mention of something that Alan scored 9 goals in a match with Norway team. That I'm just talking about in reference with what the other guy said about
On that
Alan
20
not
something
performing.
team. Isn't that
But he
baby
did that.
league?
He did
Under
that.
18.
It's baby
Under
league,
18 though.
please. That's baby league. Come on, man.
He did that.
What
That was
when did he
Inter-house
do it
sports.
again?
Inter-house
was not
sports. I
5
love what you said. That's inter-house sports now. It's PE
so
session.
are we
Let's be real.
drawing parallels between Havertz, not Havertz, Limo Lerner,
You
and
know that
Havertz right now?
Chelsea have a striker that scored 5 goals
Oh,
in youth
I've given up.
competition. We can bring out
Exactly.
things like that now.
We
There's
can.
one
We
who's
can.
such a Abba.
We
That's
need
My
to
doesn't
people,
put.
it's
We need
just.
to
I
put
think it's
those.
time.
We need to
We
put
can't keep
those 9
cradling Timo
goals.
Werner.
I think
Put those
guys,
9 goals in context.
I think
that he scored them
my
against
problem
Honduras.
because when I
wow.
watched this match today, guys, I noticed something between Pulisic, Mason, and Kai Havertz is the way they switch position.
Yeah.
Their position switch, the way they switch positioning, and
Comfortable.
the understanding between the three of them is unbelievable. When I look at
Comfortable.
Timo Werner plays, when he plays with, let me say, Kai or Mason, I noticed this. I don't know if you guys notice. Mason has this problem when they play with Timo Werner. He hold on to the ball, it doesn't pass. He doesn't trust Timo Werner. When
You
he
can't
hold on to
blame
the
him.
ball, it doesn't pass. But I noticed it today that when Mason man hold on to the ball, it gives it straight back to Pulisic or Kai Havertz because they will make those runs. But when he plays with that Timo Werner, it doesn't make that pass. Timo will make those runs, but we're like, should I give him? Do I even trust him? I'm not sure.
Abdullah, I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
When
Do you think Werner is a good squad player? Because I feel he's a good squad player.
I
I don't
agree.
think he's
I
that
agree.
bad.
Yeah, squad player.
But he's not going
Yes.
to be a squad player.
You know what? That's a fantastic
You don't know.
question.
He's
Guys,
not
let me
really
hear
isn't.
what. Let me
He
hear
really
what
isn't.
Sam is.
No,
Sam
he
is
really
saying.
isn't.
That's a
But
fantastic
he
question.
will be,
Guys,
but
let me
he's
hear what
not
Sam
going
is
to
saying.
be that.
I'm listening.
Yeah, so I'm saying that
Sam,
is he
Sam.
like, because I look at him like Tammy Abraham. I would like them in my squad. I don't want them to start for me, but in the squad, I think even if someone gets injured like Kai Havertz or Christian Pulisic, going down to Abraham or all these guys for like 2 weeks or 1 week is not a bad option. The quality is still there in a
Yeah.
way, and even the fact that they're staying on that bench, they come out more hungry and a little bit like you never know what happens. So I think as a squad, these players are not bad.
They are
I'm
not bad.
suspicious about ZH because of his age and
Yes,
also the way he's performing. But I
exactly.
think these other players, it's good to have them in your squad.
Yes, and I like what you
Yeah,
said, Sam,
yeah.
because people bring those questions out and they challenge it to Tuchel and ask him that why is Tamabam not been playing recently? Is he injured? Tuchel said he's not injured, but it doesn't fit on my style of play. What does that tell me? That tells me something is going on with either Tammy Abraham decision making or the way Tammy Abraham plays. Because Tuchel literally said it. He's not injured. He's been fully fit for the past 2 weeks. I said, what? For the past 2 weeks, he's been fit, but he said he liked that what how can I put this English in? He liked that understanding to know this is what I want as a player. He doesn't have that noise in him to thrive in the system. I think that's what Timo Werner is lacking in terms of
That
the way he wants to play.
that's actually
About Tammy,
Abdullah,
I
can I
feel that's
comment
a
on
little
that?
harsh. I feel that's a little harsh on Tammy, bro.
I agree.
No, but the thing
I
is,
agree
let's
as
be
well.
real. That's no what not Abdullah is saying. That is very common with
Wait,
English.
so
With
how,
English young
how are you
players.
saying that Timo
Because
Werner
of the
would be a good
education.
bench?
It's the education of it.
Oh my god.
Samuel.
So I'm
Go
saying
ahead.
Timo Werner
Samuel,
would be a
talk.
good depth.
Player. I said squad player. I didn't say
Sam,
I'm trying to talk.
Sam,
Samuel,
let me.
So
Sam, can I chime in?
Sure, man.
Okay, I just wanted to
Fine,
respond
go
to your
ahead.
comment because I find. Oh no, Sam, go ahead. Sorry, man, I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
There's Samuel, and there's Sam. Samuel
Sam,
has
go
been
ahead,
trying
man.
to say something. Samuel, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so I think Werner is a type of player that would actually struggle coming off the bench because this guy needs a lot of touches to warm up to a game, and he wastes a lot of opportunities. So as a depth player, he'd be really suspect. And I'd argue that Ziyech would actually be a better depth player than Timo Werner would, because Ziyech can actually bring those little moments of brilliance in a game. While like Werner will take matches to warm up, not even a few minutes. So that's a problem. So Werner as a depth player, I'm not for it. He's not going to do anything. I think a player like Olivier Giroud, like that sort of profile of a second striker, is probably the best. Like someone who doesn't necessarily need to warm up, can just get that goal. Werner would struggle as a depth player. He would struggle.
The only argument for using Timo Werner as a depth player would be the fact that it all goes back to him just having pace. So as the game goes on, the opposition, their legs grow tired, specifically defenders who are more
This guy has a
physical and
tired
have
mentality.
wait. Defender wait, let me finish.
Werner doesn't use his
Defenders
speed
who
well.
are more physical and lack stamina. So bringing him on in like the 75th minute, the 80th minute, for example, a perfect example would be the Leeds game when we won 3-0 under Lampard. When Timo Werner came on, that was pretty much the third goal. Him and Pulisic were able to use their pace, running behind the Leeds defense that had been pressing all game, and we were able to get a third goal. So that would be a perfect example of using Timo Werner as a depth player. He comes off the bench in the 83rd minute. He's able to run in behind the tired defense. And whether he scores or not, that's not really the purpose. That's his doing. Whether he wastes the chance or not, the point is he will create chances. He will have chances if he comes on late in the game.
So Sam, just to add to because when Sam asked the question, you guys I sometimes I think that we forget that there's also a psychological dimension to this whole picture with Timo Werner. Remember, Liverpool wanted him, and you can imagine the sales pitch that Chelsea put together to get him. They probably told him, "Hey Timo, we need you as our number one guy." And so Timo is coming in right now. His alter ego is he's supposed to be the guy. So he's stuck in this quandrum between, am I really the guy, or why should I be on the bench? I don't know if I'm making any sense here.
I understand where you're coming from.
Exactly. So I'm looking at Timo Werner. So that's why he's in a very, very, very tough situation. If you want him as a squad player, it won't be in line with the sales pitch that Chelsea made to him, and that's just going to keep him more depressed. He might not even perform.
I have a counter to that is that
sure.
When Chelsea made that sales pitch, he also promised us something, which is goals. You understand? It's both ways.
Good point.
So
okay. So
what people need to understand is that at a top 4 club, if you're not a Benzema who has been seasoned there and has proven yourself, or you're not a Hazard that has proven time that okay, this spot is your own. You have to fight for your spot. Even Sterling now is getting benched. I think the mentality has to be that, okay, have I proven to these people that I should be starting week in, week out? If I have not, then maybe I do deserve the bench. Because let's be real, at a top club, only if he wants to look at it and say, no, maybe I'm not good enough for any top 6 club or top 4 club. So let me go to a Leicester City or go back to Germany and play in the Bundesliga. But if he wants to play in a top club, none of them will start him if he doesn't prove himself to those clubs.
That's actually a great point.
I don't doubt this guy's ability.
It's not about force.
Good point. Good point.
Let me hear what Samuel said. I'll come to
I don't doubt this guy's ability. Like, you look at the way he scored goals in the Bundesliga, they weren't tap-ins. Like, he blasted the ball into the net. He had
one touch bang.
He scored some finesse shots. He had power behind them. He had accuracy behind them. He was a good player, a good striker. That's the kind of striker we would like. He was a good player. But the thing with Werner is we sort of rushed in to sign him to make a statement because he was sort of in the market, and Liverpool were sort of lacking. And we're like, we didn't study this guy's mentality. Like that's a huge part of the scouting process, studying the way this guy comes out of rough patches, his psychology and approach towards those sort of situations. And clearly, Werner struggles with this. He struggles with it. He's not bad as a player.
I thought
He just
Frank
has,
Lampard did his. I thought he kept chiming Frank Lampard when he came. Frank Lampard.
I mean, they'll chat shit. All of them were chatting rubbish. They'll chat.
www.youtube.com/ScoutNation.
Exactly.
That's how Lampard got him.
Nobody caught.
Oh, really?
Nobody.
But let's be real too, though. We we're joking and everything, but we know that Werner still needs time, like next season, before we
But
see
Chelsea, but you know our ethos, man. We don't have that
It's not
patience.
about our ethos, Blue Eyes. It's not about our.
The ethos is 2 years. I think a striker stays 1 to 2 years, and then if they don't perform to that level, but people like even the news sometimes they're like, "Oh, Timo Werner is going to leave in the summer."
Let's bear in mind that when Drogba first arrived at Chelsea, that first season was kind of incredibly tumultuous for him.
Yeah, but we had Anelka was cooking though. Anelka was still cooking.
Anelka wasn't there in Drogba's first season.
Drogba first season, 2004.
We had Crespo.
Yeah.
Crespo, yes.
That's right.
So I think
Crespo was decent at that time.
And we sold one of the best strikers Chelsea have ever had in Hasselbank.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That guy was incredible.
Abdullah, what I actually wanted to say is before I left, remember how Klaus, when Klaus was in here, he brought up the thing about, well, Chelsea have good depth. And this perfectly explains what I was trying to tell him. We have good depth on paper in terms of numbers. You could look at Chelsea and say we have a 28-player squad, and it sounds good. But when you compare our depth to like Manchester City's depth, the disparity in quality cuts right through. Like we have depth in the sense of if a player is injured, you can find another player in that same position. But can you find another player that's just as good or even better? You can't.
But no one has that kind of depth like Man City.
No, City.
Yeah, that's
City
fair.
does.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Marvelous.
Bayern,
No, I'm
Bayern,
saying no
you
one
could
has
say
it
they
apart
do.
from City.
Yeah.
Bayern.
Nobody has that.
Bayern don't really have that though.
No one has City depth. No one has City depth. City's on its own island depth-wise, but Chelsea,
and another thing I wanted to say about Werner that people never mention, like I rarely hear this mentioned except by like people who are Leipzig fans and know this. Do you guys know that if bar COVID, there's certain stadiums where Timo Werner will not be allowed to play for us?
Yeah, because he's got
because he suffers from vitiligo, so he wouldn't be able to play at Anfield.
Vitiligo.
No, not
what?
It's vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
Yeah, there's two.
What is this? What's this one? Sorry, I never heard of this. What is it about?
Okay, so the one that you're thinking is the skin condition.
Yeah, I know
one
exactly.
He has is an ear balance problem.
Oh, I
so
see.
when sound goes above certain decibels, he loses his balance. He can pass out. He can die. He can have a heart attack. He gets dizzy. Yeah. He can't play at Besiktas Stadium. He wouldn't be able to play at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Did he play at
Old Trafford is not loud. Old Trafford is not loud.
He can't play at Camp Nou. There's like a list of stadiums that he can never play at.
But I noticed that he has the earpiece though. I think
but even with the earpiece, at certain stadiums, he still can't play.
Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't heard this at all.
He can't play at St. James, which is
I haven't heard this at all.
My assessment has changed if that's the case because there has to. No, it's true. If my assessment has changed because there has to be some kind of then there has to be residue of maybe some of the side effects. No.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
No,
I mean, I don't know.
My issue with him.
The football is without fans, so it doesn't.
What do you mean, like residue?
I'm not sure if it could be. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It may be some side effects of the condition that could affect his performance.
We don't know whether that condition. You see, all we know about it, the people that know, and I guess all of you now know because I said it, is
Yeah.
that it affects him in extremely loud stadiums, right? But
I see.
we don't know in depth the way the team doctors would know. Maybe it
Well, he
also
passed.
affects.
He passed
Maybe
the
it also
medical,
affects.
so
Yeah, but maybe it also affects his balance, like when he's in front
I
of
see.
goal and
I
trying to
see.
finish. Even though I know that's a bit of a stretch and me make an excuse for him,
We're
but
playing without fans, of course it's
Yeah, but the thing now,
excuses.
no, yeah, there's no sound. So
Now we're playing
now
Vertiligo,
without
it's
not
fans.
vertigo,
not
vertiligo.
It could
Not
even
Vitiligo.
very.
it could
Interesting.
even just affect his thinking, like when it comes
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
just a
his
chance being presented.
balance. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
but that may
Because
be
with
why
with
he's
the
not a good dribbler.
But
with
what
the
did people
what's
think
see.
about Pulisic today, though? Just to
Pulisic was fantastic. The only thing is, I find that he fades off.
Mm.
He fades into the universe.
Silence? Yeah, he
At
gives silence
yeah,
sometimes.
at
Yeah.
the 70th minute, you stop seeing him. So that's I find he just needs to work on his game management, like learn how to appear all of a sudden appear and just take the ball. I find he tries to be at the same level throughout the game, and EPL defenders and midfielders won't let you do that. So
Blue eyes. I love what you said, but I think Tuchel also said he said after the first 35 minutes, everybody drop off. It should not
mm,
be on that a Premier League level team should not be dropping off that way, but because other
mm,
teams can punish you. He said that he doesn't like the way we drop off after 35.
exactly.
He wants that intensity from the first minute to the
Mm,
90 minutes. He wants that intensity. Doesn't like it to
mm,
drop off.
Frank
He
Lampard
doesn't.
syndrome.
Abdullah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Pancap syndrome.
I want you to talk about Pulisic. So you've been criticizing him obviously heavily.
Me? Oh,
Yeah, so
It's an American
you gotta
endorsement. I'm telling
confess,
you.
bro.
American endorsement. So, like, my problem with Pulisic is I want him to stay fit. At
Mm.
least just stay fit. Because everybody could see last summer when after the pandemic and everything, it was out, yes. But please, can you just maybe we need to change the physio in the Chelsea hierarchy, the doctor and everything. Maybe we need to bring in what's her name? Is it
Canero.
Eva
she's still a
Canero.
big Chelsea
A
fan,
sweet
though.
one.
I've
She's still a
forgotten
big
her name.
Chelsea fan. She still supports, man.
Like, no
Yeah,
doubt, Pulisic is a
bring
good
that lady
player.
back because that lady rejuvenated the Eternal career.
Yo, you walked
Drogba was
into
always
that one.
getting injured. Drogba was always getting injured in the ground every time.
What?
Any small thing, Drogba will fall down, and then after 5 minutes, he'll stand up back and score.
So that lady, that Eva Camero lady, rejuvenated Hazard's
You
career.
guys are crazy,
That's the lady we need to bring back to help Pulisic get back to the best. That lady is needed because the way she kind of does that stuff,
man.
oh, I give her credit.
What's
Yo,
up? What's up?
Abdullah, that's
What's up?
enough, man. We hear you, man. We hear you. Your explanation is
Anyway,
clear. We get it.
Even when we talked about Pulisic the last time, I think everybody wanted him to stay. It was just because of the injury.
Yeah,
People were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he
oh
should
yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
So I think
No.
everyone knows he's a top player. If
So
it's
Sam,
Pulisic for a whole season, I think he could be something similar, something close to what Hazard. Like, okay, I don't want to give him that kind of pressure, but I think he could be our best player
okay.
But
So
throughout the
Sam,
whole
I
season.
think
but
Sam,
do you think
I
he
think
works with
he's our best
with
winger. He's our best winger by far when he's fit.
who?
Yeah, I agree.
Pulisic. Even Tuchel
When he's
said
fit,
that
he's our best
he said
winger.
he want the Chelsea doctor to take care of him very well. That is a player that he can make a decisive decision, just like the way Hazard kind of coming close for us. That Pulisic can be that kind of player we've been missing for many years, but he won the Chelsea doctor. That's why I said we need Eva Camero in Chelsea team back because he wants him to be fully fit in some decisive moments. Pulisic can work, so he want that kind of. I don't want him to get injured too much because if he start
And
getting injured now, we have
But
a problem.
Abdullahi, it's just him, though. It's no one
so
else. No one's
Sam,
getting chronically injured.
yes, it really depends on
no.
Tuchel on how
So
he
that's why I'm
manages
saying.
Pulisic.
That's
But
why I'm
it's hard to
saying,
manage
Sam.
him.
Well, I think what he needs to do is he needs to bulk up, you know, like especially in that sort of area. But
Have you
You
guys
see
talked?
you
Have
guys
you
how?
guys
notice how
spoken about
picture?
Cho?
No, Pulisic.
No.
We haven't talking about Cho yet.
Okay.
Wait, so Sam, you see how Pulisic performed today, right? And you remember how on the last show we were talking about the similarities between him and Orange and Robin in terms of their injuries and their impact?
Yeah.
Based on today's performance, wouldn't you say this was like reminiscent of like a Robin early Chelsea type of performance every
Yeah,
now and
this
then.
performance. But
Yeah,
the thing with
yeah, but
Pulisic is
So why
that
was it so hard for you guys to
no,
agree
no,
with
no.
me?
The thing
as
was
no,
shit?
that
not. It's been. You got to look at the stretch. It has to be. You have to look at the his residency with Chelsea right now. He's only had, barring injuries, he's probably had maybe 20% appearances in
and even
comparison to
those
what Aya did.
20%, let's be real, this is the first
Exactly.
match, and
There
even
you
that
go.
last match, he wasn't good. This was the first match that
There
he
you
was
go.
good.
There you go.
The match we lost 5-2. I know he scored a goal, but he wasn't all that special.
And
Like there was
I'm curious to
nothing.
know. I'm curious to know what his performance would be like without Kai Havertz in that role. You know, I'm
And
trying
it's
to.
going to be very nice
Yeah,
to see what he does in the next 2-3 matches against Porto,
exactly.
against Man City. If he can continue that, then maybe I will agree with you. But it's just one game. Like we can't really get
Yeah.
carried over.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think we should use him in both Porto and City. I think we have to do one of the order, the other.
One game a week.
Yeah, because of his
You got
hamstring,
injuries.
Because
man.
of
Yeah,
this
your
injury.
injuries. Your injuries. Even one game a week might be even a month.
Yeah,
Too
one
much. You
game
know
a
what I
week
mean?
might be a lot
You know what I mean?
because
Thanks,
not only
man.
is it injuries, but it's hamstring specific, and each
Yeah.
time you injure your hamstring, you're more
It's
prone to
wearing down.
injuring it again.
Yeah, it's wearing
Yeah,
down.
but
Because
there's
Marvelous. You see how tricky that is, though, because
exactly.
he also has to be match fit, and like
Thank you.
you have to make him match fit and also save him. So
Absolutely.
it's like I feel bad for Tuchel
You gotta,
because
We don't know if he's picked up form now. You gotta ride the momentum, right?
and
And
exactly,
you
and
you
yeah,
guys
even
want
maybe
you
ride it
guys
till
want
he
to
gets
know
another injury.
you guys want to know
true.
how ironic this is, and if only Ziyech was giving us average performances to where we would be
Yeah.
comfortable rotating.
Yeah.
I know.
But then
I know.
Ziyech is like subpar.
He is subpar, bro. Ooh, you
I
said it
think
right there.
I think my issue with Ziyech is
Subpar, man.
I won't judge Ziyech now, guys. The reason is because we've been playing a back three. I would love to see Ziyech on the back four, how he works on it. Because Ten Hag plays 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, and sometimes he kind of took his formation. It doesn't really work much on Tuchel form. I want to see when we play back four, an actual back four consistently. Then I would judge Hakim Ziyech more because I don't think the back three work for him.
Ziyech, my thing with Ziyech that I'm starting to think is that every time he gets the ball, he's facing towards the team, whereas where he normally picks up the ball in Ajax or something, he's facing towards goal. He has the whole field of view to pick out a pass and utilize his vision. Whereas I think Ziyech's problem and with the team and the system is he's facing towards the team. Whereas with Mount, he could because his Mount's turns again. The way
Woo!
Mount can turn,
Money.
Quality.
is money. Is money. Is money. Whereas Ziyech, I
Absolutely.
think he struggles to take a not take a touch because he's technical, but take a touch, right? And the defender's behind him, whereas where he's facing towards the goal has the whole field of view. Because one or two times a game he could pull off a pass where you say, how many players in world football is pulling off that pass on that left foot? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
It takes 1 hour 30. 1 hour.
no,
30.
don't get twisted. Like, don't get twisted. But that's my thing, though. Like, he is such a system oriented. Like, I don't think he's a plug and play player. Like, you can't just plug him in a team and say, "Do you like?" I think he's such a specific player. If you don't like sort of pay attention to him, he's gonna look subpar, in my personal opinion. So, him being a flop.
Scouting and again the scouting and recruitment is part of that.
No, that's my issue. Is you see that's the thing, though. With Chelsea, and when you change your manager
Exactly.
and you have a different things, there's players like that. Because we signed Cuadrado, and Cuadrado is one of the. You know what I mean? Cuadrado and Zia, I'm starting to see similarities where, and wasn't he learned back within 6 months? You could tell that it's just different. You know what I mean? That's my thing.
So, guys, I want to touch on something, and I would love you guys to have your say on it. Let me come to Sam on this. Sam has been saying this for a very long time, but I think it's not so on it yet. A news came out in the Athletic today that Harry Kane will put in a transfer request at the end of the season by leaving Tottenham Hotspur. He wants to go to a Premier League team that actually compete for either a Premier League title or a Champions League team. The only two teams that surface out is Manchester United and Manchester City at the moment. Do you think Chelsea should go for Harry Kane ahead of Erling Haaland, or you still prefer Haaland ahead of Harry Kane. Sam.
Yeah. So for me, before I answer this, Abdullah, the complicated Chelsea show.
Mm-hmm.
You said that the goal Mason Mount scored against Porto, every Chelsea player would score that goal.
Don't
Hell
mind
no.
him. Abdullahi, don't worry. We're coming for you.
Abdullah,
Oh,
I
so
can't
you
believe
saw that?
Not me. What you
You're
said?
a criminal.
I
I
have the
said
receipts.
the
exactly.
goal Mason
Don't
Mount
mind him.
scored. The goal
Tell him,
Mason Mount
Sam.
scored
Tell him again, I
Well,
beg.
in Chelsea.
Abdullah,
In
Abdullah,
Chelsea.
don't let HH
No,
intimidate
that's
you
just
to
Wait,
hating,
you see those
hating on
okay.
my
goal.
football.
Don't mind
No.
Abdullahi.
You see,
Abdullahi, you're using us for therapy. You go to the other show and go and talk some, then come here and come for therapy. No problem.
I
No
was
problem.
surprised.
I was
You think
shocked.
Werner, think Ziyech,
I was shocked.
think all those players will score the
You
goal
throw
Mason
Mason
Mount
Mount under
scored
the
that time.
bus? Okay, no. No problem. We'll deal with you today. So that when you go back, you rephrase that statement. Sam, continue. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sam,
man.
continue.
Even
Sorry,
Eddie
man.
that doesn't like Mason Mount said, Abdullah, calm
Like,
down, calm down.
yeah, he was thrown
And
off.
Eddie is not a Mason Mount fan, but he was
Yeah,
like, calm down.
exactly.
Samuel want to kill me. I don't hate on Mason Mount, but my problem is, see,
No.
in
It's okay.
Chelsea.
Let Sam
Wait,
talk.
No,
It's
Abdullah,
okay. Let
just
Sam
let me
talk.
forget it.
rephrase that
It's
word.
okay.
It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay.
Apart
It's okay.
apart
We hear
from
you. We
Mason
hear
Mount,
you. We
that
hear you, my
Tollies and
brother.
everything.
We hear you. We
It's
appreciate you,
okay.
man. Abdullahi, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate
Yeah, but for the Hurricane stuff, Abdullah, you know from right from time, if I'll pick
Yeah.
between Hurricane or Haaland, I'm going for
Yeah.
Hurricane straight up.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think Hurricane would be the best signing just because he brings so much to his game. He's actually more of a playmaker now, and he's also a great goal scorer. You can say everything about him, but the guy scores goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's even your type of perfect striker in the sense that he scores with his left right head
Mm-hmm.
and he can even give you assists. So the thing is that with Harry
Do you
Kane,
think Daniel Levy will sell to Chelsea because Chelsea is the
no,
rival team?
no,
Hell
That's what
this
I'm
is
no.
saying.
what he did to
He
us
will sell for
against
the money.
Modric.
No.
He will
No,
sell
no,
for the
no.
money.
It's
Hell
the same
no.
thing with Luka Modric. If you remember, Luka Modric
Modric
was
should be in Chelsea instead of
on the
Madrid.
verge of signing for Chelsea before he goes to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Remember that?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
and he didn't
yeah.
sell him.
Forget
Wanted to
Madrid.
pay
Forget
50
Madrid.
million, and he
Yes,
then sold him to Madrid for 30 million.
for 30 million.
Kind of
Yes.
something. So you can see that at the end, that London rivalry might play a part. But the thing is, if we could sign both Haaland or Harry Kane, I think Harry Kane would make us for the
Yeah.
next 3 years title contenders on every front, and I mean
Mm-hmm.
Champions League, Premier League, every trophy. But with Haaland, people would have to be patient with that guy. He might
Yes.
do it, but there's a big possibility that he won't do it just because he will need maybe like a year or two to really acclimatize to this league. So for
Yes.
me, for sure, I'm picking Kane any day.
Josh, Harry Kane on any Haaland.
Oh, Kane. But like that's gonna be in a fantasy world. That's never happening. So I'm not even gonna think or even get my hopes up. But it's obviously
Because
Kane.
the only two teams that wants to buy Harry Kane is Manchester City and Manchester United.
Yeah, then it will either be Man City, United, or he's gonna stay at Spurs because he's still got 4 years left on his contract. So
No,
he's tied.
yeah,
He's
no,
tied
yeah,
down.
he has 3 more. When the season finishes, he has 2 more years.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. When the season finishes, he has 2 more years.
I think he has 3 more years because he.
Is it
I
3 or 2?
think
I'm not
no, he
sure.
has 3 more years after the season. He has 3 more years
Mm.
because he signed a contract. He signed a contract not long ago, so he's tied down to Spurs. If Spurs don't want to sell him, they don't have to sell him. But if they do sell him, it will either be the two Manchester clubs. Like they're
Okay.
not in for him. Like Tottenham are not going to sell to Chelsea their best player.
Yep.
It's just not going to happen. But obviously, yeah, I'd rather have
Exactly.
Kane over Holland.
Mm. MK does Harry Kane or Erling Haaland, and
See,
why?
my thing is right with my only issue with Kane is your injury history. I know in every single season there'll be a stretch of games you're on of it. This season actually the games have been less. Like you've been pretty much injury free for most of the season, but generally speaking, there's gonna be a stretch of games where you're unavailable. And that you see
That's not
you
fair.
see if
That's
we
not
have
fair.
Tammy, for example,
That's not fair.
I could be cool with that. I could ride with that. But if there's no one there that could pick up the slack, I'm not sure because this is football. You know what I mean? I don't want to do any minutes restriction. That's why the Pulisic thing is. I don't want any minutes restriction. I don't want you rest. Like you should be playing pretty much most games. You know what I mean? So Kane is the perfect striker. This guy is the complete striker, where he's in the mold of Benzema, and Benzema in terms of is everything. Is everything playmaking, one touch, pass. This guy drops into midfield and it's bringing balls to Son and providing. This guy
Quality.
is a much more complete striker than Haaland. So I'll take Kane. But my issue is the injury issue, and when you get older, you're not going to be less and less injury free. It's going to get worse. So I'm a big.
The thing is, the injury thing is a bit unfair because Tottenham play Kane every single, he plays every single game for Tottenham.
Yeah,
he's
can I just
managed
ask you a
well.
question real quick though?
He's
Why
not
does he
managed well
play
at all.
every game? Why does he play every game?
He's not managed well.
No,
That's why
because he scores almost every time.
He's
I think the
vital.
fact that
okay,
he's so good makes it hard for them to bench him.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to manage the player well because if you don't manage him well, he's going to get injured for a period of time in the season. It's obviously going to happen.
My thing, Josh, is that what's it called? No, but my thing is that when you have a guy like that, can you afford to put him on? Like this is the thing. Are you sure? Because this is the thing. City can afford to put. Even then, City lost. They didn't play De Bruyne. They didn't play Diaz, and they lost today. You know what I mean? Can you afford, especially Tottenham? Can you afford? Can you afford to not play Kane?
Oh, come on, man. Are we going to act like every single player that is as quality has to play every single game of the season? He doesn't have to do that.
You have to. You have. My thing is Spurs.
Management. I get what he's saying. That
I get what you're saying as well.
Has to be key.
What's the point of a squad?
No, I get what you're saying, but Spurs' issue is they don't have a quality backup, so they have.
Spurs' fault. That's not it. It's Spurs' fault. So I'm saying if Kane goes to like a City, for example, and I'm sure City can play Jesus for like 15, 20 games of the season.
Yeah.
So they can rotate with him, and I think that will manage his injury.
So you're saying that if Chelsea did if he goes to a squad with a solidified second striker, do you think that these injuries are less frequent?
Yeah. I don't think the injuries will be less frequent.
I'm just scared about the injuries. That's my only issue.
He said that's why I think he said Tammy should stay or something. I think someone said Tammy would be a good second striker.
He's a very good second striker. Yeah.
Fair enough. Marvelous. Harry Kane or Erling Haaland, and why? Marvelous.
Marvelous is it impounded, yeah.
No, I'm right here. I'm sorry. I was a bit distracted.
Marvelous knows what pounded yam is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Nigerian, but my preference is fufu and or ewedu soup and amala.
Oh, correct.
Please don't make me on Gamat's work.
All right.
But yeah. So with my whole thing with Harry Kane is this. Well, let me just point out, because you brought up the thing of he's a malicious striker, just like Costa. Someone on YouTube said it, and you brought it up as a banner. There's this move that he does when he's going for like jump balls, when he's trying to head the ball.
Back and down.
He backs the opposition. And it's extremely dangerous because they can land on their head and whatever. But he does it all the time. And I don't know if it's English bias. Anytime another player does it, they get booked. Harry Kane does it 5 times in a game, never gets booked. They never say a word. He's even done it multiple times against like Chelsea, and our players get like hurt. Obviously, they don't get injured, but they're still shaken up. Anyway, I don't see Daniel Levy selling to us, so that kind of negates everything that I'm about to say. But let's say in an alternate universe, he agreed to sell to us. I think it would be a much better acquisition than Haaland, simply because Kane is more accustomed to the Premier League. We're talking about a guy this season who's joint top scorer with Mo Salah. They're both on 19 goals, but he is also the assist leader. I mean,
Imagine.
this guy
Imagine.
has 13 assists. He's
Wow.
2 assists clear of like those in second and third. Grealish has 10. Um, De Bruyne has 10. So not only is he banging in the goals, he's upped his game and he's developed his game to the point where, like someone said prior to me speaking, he's able to drop into midfield and contribute by pinging in passes to Son. And if you bear in mind the qualities that Son has in terms of being fast, in terms of being able to run in behind
Yeah.
defenses, he would fit right into our team because he has Pulisic, he has a Mason Mount, he has a Havertz that he could ping those balls to.
Werner.
He can exactly. I was gonna say it, Werner. you know,
And
but
the most important to Chilwell and Reece James, those crosses with his head. Oh my
but
god.
it's exactly. Someone also said Harry Kane scores goals with his left foot, right foot header. I've also seen highlights and watched Tottenham games where Harry Kane scores with like the back of his calf. Harry Kane scores with like the side of his knee, the back of his neck. There's this crazy goal he scored against Leicester where like the two Leicester defenders pretty much tripped him and like he managed to flick the ball up and literally knock it in with his back as he was falling over. Needless to say, he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. So if through some black magic, white magic, voodoo, santeria, we're able to get him,
I don't think
that
will
puts us
happen
in
because
an incredible position heading into next season. But Daniel Levy will stand in the way. And
yes,
if we do get him, it would be quite the interesting career for Harry Kane because he was in the Arsenal academy, and then he went to Tottenham and their first team, and then he'll be coming to Chelsea. An interesting fact about Daniel Levy, he claims that he hates selling to rivals, but he has no problem like getting like finished products from rival teams, which is a bit hypocritic if you ask me. But yeah, if we can land him, great. But I don't think we can. I don't think we will.
oh okay.
Yeah, I just want to say something. I just want to say something. All right. So, hey, what's up, guys? I know there's 7 people watching this show, and I just want to tell you guys this is the best show out there on YouTube. Everybody comes in there. Monta, Abdullahi, Nish, the likes of Toast and the likes of Rahimski, they all come in here. The likes of Sam, Damien, all these guys, Marvelous, they all come in here. So we need to see you comment below. We want to see you comment below. Comment below, please. Comment below. Thank you and bye.
Continue. I digress.
Core, we love you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thank you,
Thanks.
bro. Thank you,
Yeah, I know you love me. I need to get you guys some comments. I need some
guys.
people to comment on the comment section below with
Marvelous.
like so
This
that you
this
can
is this is a football show.
But Cole, what do you think
This is
about
not a
Harry Kane?
movie show.
What do you think about Harry Kane?
Oh, you said what do I think
Yeah.
about
Harry
Harry
Kane or
Kane?
Haaland? Who do you go for if you are Chelsea?
This is tough, yo, because I haven't seen enough from Holland and I haven't seen enough from Harry Kane. I would say because Harry Kane is a more experienced goal scorer, I would go with him. But I think Haaland still. I don't know why. Haaland just shows up in the big games for some reason. I think I'll go with Haaland.
So let me come to Blue Eyes now. Give me a reason, Harry Kane or Elana Alan, and why? Because we know Chelsea culture. Daniel Levy and Chelsea will never make a deal. It will never. That will never happen. Forget about the deal. It won't happen because it doesn't sell. It doesn't sell to a rival. So who do you go for? Harry Kane is 28 years of age and Haaland is 20 years of age. Who do you go for?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start with the possibility of a deal. Is there a possibility of a deal? Zero. But remember last season, Mourinho was looking at Rudiger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that there might be some kind of potential deal swap. Who knows? Just putting it out there. If Mourinho stays with Tottenham until next season and there beyond, that's on the side. But from a quality standpoint, night and day, Harry Kane. Based on, first of all, he's a seasoned EPL vet, so we're not going to deal with a striker who needs 6 months to get on his feet. And like everyone else here has said, he's amazing as a midfielder, and then he's money. He's money as a striker. So, and he has size. He has size. He can attack the ball if you cross from any angle. So yes, Harry Kane, bar none.
Mhm. So, but you because I know Daniel Levy will not sell for
Yeah.
Chelsea because of this rivalry stuff. But I think what will force Harry Kane to leave is like based on the Athletic is Harry Kane himself will put in a transfer request because he has already said it. If Tottenham doesn't make Champions League, he's leaving. He wants to win a Premier League title or a Champions League, and he doesn't want to leave anything above Premier League. He wants to stay in the APL. And the only two clubs that can guarantee him that is Manchester City and Manchester United.
Why not Chelsea?
Chelsea are not even in for him at all. That's where the issue is.
Mm.
I think the Chelsea priority, number one priority is Erling Haaland. That's number one priority for them.
I think we should get out. We should put Eden Haaland like the back burner. We don't need him. Like we should use Timo Werner as a sample for any player coming from Bundesliga for now, so that we can deal. Let's manage what we have for now. But that's another discussion. I'll let you continue.
And it's not even only Timo Werner, Kai Havertz too, because the two of them. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Sam, chill. My guy is showing. He's been showing up recently. So chill. Easy on my guy. Easy on my guy. Easy on my guy. Easy.
Yo man, EPL defenders are not smiling. With all due respect,
But
EPL defenders, as soon as there's a name tag or price tag on your name and you're a striker, they're coming for you, man.
Mm-hmm. I know. And you know what I like about Haaland? He has this arrogance of Diego Costa in him and Zlatan, which I love most. Like that guy. Yes, if he may not score that goal, but that guy has that mentality, that winning, that fearsome mentality in him. Who is a little bit of the EPL defender
if
for me.
he brings his fire, EPL defenders will bring water, man. Easy, man. Easy. They're gonna calm him down if he comes to the EPL. And Chelsea, we might not be patient enough for that kind of price tag. How much is he going for now?
150.
There you go. So that's like the price of what we spent.
Same with Harry Kane too. Harry Kane is going to 152.
Wow.
Yep.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Tottenham said they are not selling less than 150. But my problem is Harry Kane is 28. Haaland is 20.
I think we should go for personally. I think we should go for a short-term striker. Go for a short-term striker.
I think based on what the Athletic said, Chelsea want to go for a long time. They want to build on a long time, not a short time.
Okay.
Because I think that's the reason Tuchel came in for a long-term project. So if I'm going for a long-term project, I can understand why they want to go for Haaland, not Harry Kane. I can understand that. And I think the way Harry Kane and Haaland plays is different because Harry Kane is more of like it doesn't play more as a number 9, play more as an
like a false 9. He plays like a false 9. Yeah.
Comes into the middle, give opposite. Haaland does that too. He does that too sometimes. He doesn't get the ball. He comes into the middle and play kind of passing to. But what Haaland needs to do is Haaland needs to improve more on his back to goal. He has that difficulty a little bit that when opposition sit back, how can you break that opposition down? Haaland doesn't have that problem. Haaland has that problem. Why Harry Kane doesn't have that problem? And in big matches, Haaland come clutch. Harry Kane doesn't come clutch. I think that's the advantage Haaland has over Harry Kane. In big matches, clutch matches, Haaland shows up, while Harry Kane doesn't show up. I think that's the advantage between the both of them for me. So Damien, as a rival watching, Harry Kane on Haaland and why?
Oh, wait, is this supposed to be like hypothetical or like realistic?
Both, realistically, both.
Okay, hypothetically, I feel like Chelsea should go for Harry Kane, but realistically, it has to be Erling Haaland. Yeah, it has to be Haaland.
Why Haaland?
Well, it's probably like your best bet because I don't think Daniel Levy is gonna sell Kane to one of his biggest rivals, Chelsea. So, and he is still young, so he can definitely improve.
on the ball.
Lautaro Martinez.
No,
Please let him stay where he
no,
is. Lautaro
no,
Martinez
no.
better stay where he is.
Lautaro Martinez reminds me of Aguero
I knew
Yeah,
you were gonna say
yeah.
Aguero as well.
back
No,
when
no,
he
no.
first arrived at City.
City, yes.
2010 Aguero. 2011
But do
Aguero.
you know
Yeah.
Aguero in Atletico
No.
Madrid?
Yeah,
Same.
that's
He's
what
not.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Aguero was much
But
better.
Lautaro is
Aguero
not
was
even
much
close to
better.
the Atletico Madrid Aguero.
you guys call him Aguero. I call him Kun.
Go watch Aguero in Atletico
Kun.
Madrid.
Huh?
He
No,
was
I watched. No, Sam.
Why are you
I
laughing?
agree with you. I agree with you. I watched.
call him
I
Kun.
watched. I watched Aguero at Atletico Madrid.
You're
But
laughing,
what I'm
man. That's his
saying
real
is,
name, man.
That's his real name, I know, man.
Lautaro Martinez shows me flashes.
Marvelous, because you said Lautaro Martinez. Do you believe the second alternative for Chelsea, if they don't get Alan, is Lautaro Martinez?
No, that's not a bad
Oh,
thing.
God.
Because in Lautaro Martinez, I see flashes of early Aguero.
Yeah.
Man, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not
It
gonna
could
work.
possibly work though, because the way Tuchel plays, you could fit in Lautaro Martinez there.
Lautaro
no.
Martinez's finishing is so good.
He's not a
How old is he?
He's
I
not a
think he's
main
still
He's 20,
striker.
he's
raw. I think
23,
he's still a
23.
bit raw.
He's 23.
He's not a
23.
main striker. It's gonna
rather
it's gonna be
take
another
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
I'd rather
He
take
plays off
Lukaku.
Lukaku. That's the issue.
Exactly. Damon hit it right on the nail.
That's a time thing. That's a time thing where you'll see the finished article. In my opinion, anyway.
That's what you're saying now. Watch next year. If you go to Chelsea, I'm just telling you, like, we're gonna be singing the same. We're gonna be saying the same thing.
Don't be
Yeah,
surprised.
literally. Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you get him and he flops.
Don't be surprised if we get him and people are saying Tammy should be starting. But that's neither here nor there.
Like he's not a fit because he's not a main striker. He needs a supporting striker. Same thing with Timo Werner.
So if you play like a 4-2-2-2, in which Tuchel could play in Chelsea, we could show Lautaro Martinez partnering up with
Werner.
Hey,
No, man.
Because because you gotta look at the Werner.
Did you just said
Wait.
No, but you gotta listen.
Wait, who said Werner?
It was Chimere.
Werner. Wait. Werner himself needs a striker to partner up with.
Yeah, it's gonna be like.
So if you have two strikers that play off strikers and you're asking them to play off each other,
you're asking Lautaro to
it's
play
gonna
off
be two bricks up front for
you're
this.
asking. You're gonna be asking. You're gonna be
Brick isn't
asking
the right word.
Martinez to play off a striker who needs someone to play off.
Brick isn't a right word.
We'll just move on, bro. Just let it go. We'll move on.
Yeah.
No. But Chimere, would you see? This is how I always know when a rival fan is trying to sabotage us. Would you have an upfront pairing of Werner and Martinez at United?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't play a 4-4-2, so why would I?
Okay. Would you take Werner at United?
Yeah, he's better than most of the strikers we have. Who's our striker?
Rashford.
Who's our striker?
English legend.
Martial?
Rashford.
Martial. If you seen Martial this play this season?
Oh, I have. But I'm just saying, who's your striker? Martial, Cavani.
Cavani.
Who was it? I remember somebody compared Cavani to. They said Cavani plays like prime Zamorano. What? Manchester United fans just throw out all these big names, man. Prime Zamorano.
Bro, every fan does that, bro.
But United have this thing where they it's an elitist thing that they do. Them and Liverpool. Because they have so much football heritage and Premier League pedigree, because they have so many Premier League trophies and so many players have played for them, high caliber players, they always compare their players to legends. Like Zamorano is a legendary Inter Milan striker, and they're not going to let Cavani be great in his own right. So they're now comparing him to Zamorano. But not Core. What were you going to say?
Yes, I was going to say, wow, the way Tuchel is really changing this Chelsea team, they play more intricate passes, which is really good.
If you say Champions League final, I'll kick you out.
Was he?
If you say Champions League final, I'm kicking you out ASAP.
Yo, bro, Abdullah, let me tell you something.
If you say
Let me tell you
Champions
something.
League final, you and Bilton are using reverse psychology. I'm kicking you guys out.
Abdullah, let me tell you something, yo. Yo, let me tell you something, man. If you guys don't meet Real Madrid in the semis, you guys are winning the Champions League. I guarantee you. You're not losing to Manchester City.
Guaranteed.
You're not losing to
What?
Manchester City.
Wait.
You're not losing. Yo, this team, people said, hey, yo, like this Chelsea team can win the Premier League, and this Chelsea team is really good to compete with the likes of Liverpool and City for the Premier League, and this is that. Like, bro, this Chelsea team, the first prediction that I made this season was Chelsea will go far in the Champions League. And right now, how it's looking like, it's all playing into Chelsea's hands. If they
PSG.
don't meet Real
Oh,
Madrid,
PSG.
Core is right because I remember it was on
bro,
HSG. I actually was there and he
bro,
said that.
Yeah.
I remember
bro, I
that.
was the first one who said Chelsea could go
Yeah,
far, yo,
I
with the
remember.
team
I
that they
remember.
have.
Also, I remember. Also.
Yes, I said it. I said it this season, and I mean, I got wrong on Leipzig. I said PSG too. PSG could go far, but what I was saying is, Abdullahi, like, if you play City in the finals, don't tell me that City are favorites, yo, because Chelsea being the
Come on,
underdogs
City are favorites, bro.
plays into
Yeah,
Chelsea's
they are.
hands.
I wouldn't
To
say
be
City are
honest,
favorites. I wouldn't
Now
say
they're
City
gonna.
are
I'm saying
favorites.
they're gonna
100%
be
favorite.
favorites. They're gonna be
100%.
favorites. I'm
Oh,
not
they'll
saying
be favorites, but I'll bet money on Chelsea winning. I'll bet
Wait,
money on that.
listen,
Nah.
guys.
I'll bet
Before
money
we
on
get
Chelsea
too
winning.
ahead,
I'm telling
before
you
we
that
get
right now.
too
I'm
ahead of
betting money
FJ
on
does.
ourselves,
Chelsea
FJ
winning.
does.
before we
FJ
get
does.
too ahead of ourselves, City may
Let's
get knocked out on Wednesday.
on Wednesday.
And
So
Chelsea
let's
might
close
get
the
Hey,
book.
knocked out on
No,
Wednesday.
no, 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 bro, marvelous. That Dortmund team is not good defensively. Let's be
Call.
honest.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. We're not the one that
Mhm.
said it. I don't want to do Lep Guardiola's team. I'm begging. I do not want to do a stream of Lep Guardiola. But if Lep Guardiola forced my hand of doing that stream, I am going 7 hours on Lep Guardiola. I'm going 7 hours. I do not want to do that stream. But if he force my hand and lose to break the Borussia Dortmund, if he lose to that team, oh yeah.
That's what I'm. No. Like, bro, like that game. Let me tell you what's wrong with that game. Bro. That game, Dortmund, Dortmund did get robbed, and I agree that they got robbed. But let's be honest, City is a much superior team to Dortmund. There's no way that Dortmund team that you're looking at right there can do something in the second leg because they're just poor. Bro, they conceded two. They conceded two against Stuttgart. They conceded two
And
against
Marco
Man
Royce is
City.
injured. He's gonna be out.
oh, it's the finish.
Sancho
Exactly,
is back.
bro. Exactly.
Sancho is back.
I mean, I don't
Bro,
think that's gonna.
I'm
I don't think
just
that makes that
I'm
much
just
of a
saying this.
difference.
De Bruyne himself will say no. De Bruyne will say no. We're going through. De Bruyne
Bro,
will say no. We're going through.
Experience. No. City has too much experience. Too many world class players in that team.
They lose in the
You can't play.
quarterfinals
You
with that
can't
experience.
expect. No, let me tell you something. You can't expect kids to play against all these world class people who have won the World Cup, people who they've won things together and so forth. You can't beat them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, City is gonna get to the semis, and you know
For,
what?
for the
Chelsea
Nigerians,
and City.
no, Core. I just want to add on to your point.
Mhm,
For the Nigerians and
mhm.
anyone of African descent in here, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the comic book strip known as Super Strikers.
Yep,
You've heard of
I
Super
do.
Yeah.
Strikers, Abdullah?
I do.
When
Always in Africa. I do.
when I was in Nigeria, I used to save up 10 naira, 5 naira till I would get
So,
to like
so can't
50
be doing that
naira
rubbish, right?
to go
I
buy it.
understand. I
But
understand.
do you know of the team called Invincible FC in
Yep,
Super Strikers?
I do.
If you guys look it up on YouTube, because to quote Blue Ice, everything is digital now. The comic book strip, it's no longer made in physical. They now have a YouTube channel called Super Strikers, and they put all the episodes on YouTube. They
Wait,
have
marvelous.
they
Wait.
have a team.
King Darian. I am begging you in the name of God. I don't want this to happen.
I want it
I
to
am
happen.
Yeah.
tired of if let Guardiola lose 3-1 to Borussia Dortmund. I swear to God, I'm doing a left stream.
I
I'm
want it to
going left
happen.
stream.
I want it
No,
to
no,
happen.
no, 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 no,
I'm going left.
bro. They're not losing. They're not losing to
If
Dortmund.
they
Let's be honest.
call, if
They're not gonna
Leb
lose.
Leb Guardiola
They're not
lose
gonna lose.
to Borussia Dortmund, NASA Park, True City fans, I want you guys to win because I'm choosing you to win. I don't want to do a pep team. Every year we do this.
I mean, even if City lose, right? Even if City lose, Chelsea will meet PSG.
We
And for
can't beat
me,
PSG. I want us to. The
yeah,
only team we can beat in the final
when you
is
guys
Bayern.
say that,
The only team we
I
can
don't
beat
believe
in
it.
the
I don't think
final is Bayern.
I don't think Chelsea will be PSG.
We
No,
can't
no,
beat
no.
PSG in the final.
Especially if
It's
PSG
just a
beat
horrible
No, no, no,
matchup.
no.
It's
especially
just
if
a
PSG
No,
horrible
no,
beat
no.
matchup.
You,
I don't think we can
listen,
beat
man.
City either. The only team we can beat from that side of the bracket is Bayern.
Are you sure?
Yes, we can't beat.
What? No,
Listen, and
Actually,
you know that's
but
the
we're
that's
not.
the quagmire.
No,
That's
but
the quagmire
Marvelous.
No, you
because
could
I
beat
feel like
City.
we can.
Marvelous.
No. Listen, hear me out. That's the
Mhm.
quagmire. I feel like, and I said this earlier before my laptop died and I left. I told Abdullah, I wouldn't be shocked if we beat City next weekend in the FA Cup and we get into the FA Cup final, right? This is a semifinal.
Yeah,
We get into
semi-final.
the FA Cup final. But in the Champions League, I just think the occasion, how everything would be, how gritty the game would get, I don't see us beating City in the Champions League. I don't even
No,
see
but
us
you
beating
can't say that.
PSG in the Champions League, especially in the final.
Marvelous.
See, if it was a game of two legs, against City, I would say okay, we have a good chance. But the fact that it's a
Right.
final and knowing how starved Pep has been for the Champions League, if he gets to the final with City, that's my whole thing that I've always said with Pep. If Pep gets to the final with City, he'll win. So if you don't want Pep
I
to
don't
win
know
the
about that,
Champions
man.
League, if you don't want Pep to win the Champions League, knock him out before the final.
And that's not guaranteed.
If he gets to that final, he will win.
That's not
But
guaranteed.
Marvelous. In 2012, right? In 2012, who was the favorites for the Champions League? It was Bayern, right?
Yeah, but
and
there
that's
was
what I'm talking about.
something spooky going on in 2012.
In 2012 was
No, that's not. No, that's not true. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, like it plays into your hands. It plays into your hands, and I think Chelsea, like as a Chelsea fan, like you should be really happy because, like, yo, like you can beat City. Like,
We
bro,
can beat
City
them.
have this inferiority complex. Yeah,
We
they
can
have
beat
this
them.
inferiority complex
We can
that,
beat them.
I mean, how
you
good
know,
is City really?
even against Dortmund, it was shown. Even against Dortmund, it was
Guys,
shown.
continue.
They have-
I gotta get a tea. I'm coming.
Right.
How good are City?
Okay.
How good are City really? Like I told you guys, City. Like if you guys get a lead, if you get a lead on City, I said this before. If you get a lead on City, then you see how vulnerable they are. They're only good.
That's what I'm saying.
They only look good when they have a lead and they can sit there and pass the ball and pass it around. That's when they look good. But if you take a lead against them, look how they crumble.
And the thing is, I just feel like because of Chelsea's finals experience, bro, they've been to the Champions League finals 2 times. Because of Chelsea's European pedigree, I think that's what's gonna actually be the edge to Manchester City. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't even think
Because
The
they
only team
haven't
I'm
really
questionable
been-
about is PSG
City
because
even beat. I don't even think City will beat PSG. To be honest with you.
that's why I think because PSG is there's too many. Neymar has to do something, and Mbappe has to do. I feel like you have to get to the final, right? And then you understand the magnitude of, all right, like we need to win it. Like City haven't been there yet, so I don't think that the players know deep down. So Marvelous, like I don't.
Wait, can I just like
Yeah.
kind of just disprove this point that you guys have
Okay.
of
okay,
this
okay.
current Chelsea generation, this current Chelsea crop? Name me one player in this Chelsea fold aside from Kovacic that has been to a Champions League final.
I never said that.
Thiago Silva.
No, but that's not what.
Thiago Silva aside. Thiago Silva and Kovacic aside.
Oh, hold on. So Kovacic has been to
World Cup final.
Yeah,
Kovacic has been.
2014. Yeah,
Kovacic has been to Champions League final. Kovacic.
I think he's won 2, right?
I think he's won 2. He's been in 2 finals.
Who? Kovacic?
Yeah,
well,
he
Yeah,
Real
played in
Madrid, Real
14
Madrid,
yeah.
too.
Real Madrid.
How
He
like
played in
how
two
was
finals.
what was he doing? Was he part of the coaching team?
No, as a
No, he was part
as
of.
a player,
No,
bro.
no,
Oh,
no.
okay. No,
Relax,
where?
relax,
No.
relax.
Where? How? Oh,
Blue
I'm
Eye.
just no. I'm serious.
He played a big part in the second half. Blue Eyes. He
Oh,
played a
really?
big
Eye.
Oh,
part in the
okay.
second half.
Yeah, in
Okay. Wow.
2014.
Wow. This
Blue Eye,
is a fantastic, man.
Blue Eye, stop it, bro.
Yeah.
Blue Eye.
Stop it! I don't know why you
Why?
hate him so much, yo.
Why?
Blue
Yo,
Eyes,
Blue
man.
Eyes,
Blue
move
Eyes,
yourself.
Blue
No, I'm
Eyes.
serious. I'm
Honestly,
serious.
no,
Did
no.
he play
Blue
in the
Eyes,
finals?
honestly,
He
in
played in the CL
2014.
No,
finals?
second half. Second
Yeah,
half. Second half.
2014. Yeah.
Second half.
Are you serious?
Yeah, second half. Yeah,
Wow.
second half.
Wow.
Nah,
The
not
guy is
Wait,
2014.
good,
Blue
though.
Eyes,
Not
Blue Eyes.
The guy
Listen,
2014.
is good, though.
2016.
Blue Eyes. Listen. Actually, when the show went off air last time,
You guys,
I was
man.
trying my hardest to like figure out like why don't people get what Kovacic does for this team? Kovacic is a baller.
He's a
Even
baller.
even in the 2018 World Cup,
Not yet.
Yeah. 2018. Very
even in
Came
the
off the
crucial.
he came off
2018
the
World
bench.
Cup, coming off the bench, he was one of Croatia's most important players. The guy has been
It's,
balling since he was at Inter Milan and he was like 19. The
I mean,
only
it's,
thing is he doesn't score goals, so people
or
hold
get
it
it or get
against him.
assists. Or
People
do
have this whole
stuff.
thing of like, for example, someone told me the other day he's way too good to not be scoring. That's the
he's
only
an
thing
engine
people
room
hold
guy.
against him.
He doesn't even get assists though. It's not even
He's
about
an
Yeah,
that.
they're
engine
like
room guy.
he's
He's an
way too
engine room
good to
guy.
not assist or score. But
He's
you
an
shouldn't
engine room
hold that
guy.
against him.
He's
Yeah.
an
That's
engine
what
room
it's
guy.
about though. You gotta
He's
Let
in
me
that
ask
engine room.
let me ask you. I think I've asked this before, and I don't want to sound repetitive, but if we never had the transfer ban last season, do you think we keep Kovacic or we send him back to Madrid?
We send him
I
back.
think no, I think
I
we
rest my
keep him.
case. I rest my
No,
case.
I think we keep him because I remember if my
We
memory
have to
doesn't
keep
fail
him.
me. I remember
No,
an
sorry.
article. I remember an article where Sari said he had already made his mind up as to keeping him before the transfer ban was announced. But I might
Let
not
let
be
me
sure.
to clarify that for you. That price tag of 40 million, if we really wanted him, we would have gotten him for cheaper. That 40 million was because we had no choice. And Madrid, I'm serious. Madrid was very sharp, man. They were very sharp on that move. They're
Yeah,
like,
they knew
they knew what they were doing. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. Our hands were tied, and they threw a $40 million price tag on him, and we had to buy him.
People
And-
even forget. People even forget that COVID. Damien, thank you, that you're in here. Yes or no? Kovacic was balling out against Barcelona and El Clasicos.
Yo,
Exactly.
That was
I'm
even
learning.
where he earned. That was even where he earned the press resistant title that people throw
Wow.
out about him.
I can tell. There's only one thing he's been pressing.
Damien, yes or no?
No, Blue Eyes, relax.
Damien, yes or no?
I get them before it's not property. I had it before it's not property. It's not my property
Damien,
now.
tell us.
What have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
What have you done for me lately?
Wait, Blue Eyes, are you not Team Kovacic? Wait, Blue Eyes, do you not respect Kovacic? Is that what you're
Why
saying?
do you throw shade at him?
Sorry?
No,
He's won 2 UCLs. Why do you throw
Yeah, no,
shade
I'm
at
not
him?
throwing shade at Kovacic. Like, sorry, I know I'm repeating myself, but let me just reiterate. I'm not throwing shade at Kovacic. I'm his biggest fan, actually. But my problem is the guy he knows how to beat the to beat the press. So he's great. He's press resistant. This is a new thing I'm learning now. Press resistant. I have to go and Google what it means. But he's press resistant. He always has the ball, which is great. But he doesn't do anything with it. I don't need him scoring goals. I don't need him doing all those things. Like I said to you folks before, the assist before the assist is missing in that midfield.
No
and
production.
I feel that since Kova has all that ball possession, he should take up that role of providing that assist before the assist. But he plays too safe. He's always safe. Safe.
He's not very progressive. He's not very progressive.
Yeah, he's always playing safe,
but
and I get it.
But more so recently, I'm starting to see a bit more.
Yeah,
more forward.
exactly.
Recently.
Look,
Yes.
and the team is improving because of that.
Yes.
Yeah, the team is improving because of
Yes.
that. No, he's a great player, but he would rather dribble than make one pass. He would rather run 10 steps than make one killer pass. That's his DNA. But Declan Rice would rather make that one pass than run 10 times.
My thing is that Courage, that Europa League final.
Yeah.
I think if he doesn't have that final, because he played very, very well in that
We
final.
don't win.
If
We
we
don't win.
don't win,
Guys,
and we
guys,
don't,
I'll
we
be
don't sign him.
back. I'll be back at 9:30. All right, I'll be back at 9:30. I gotta go to work, so.
No problem, man. Go get that money. Go get that money. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and guys, please comment below. Comment below. Comment below. Comment below. Abdullah need some comments to answer. So
do you guys
comment
want to have?
below.
Do you guys have a question you want to ask or any questions to the
Yeah.
panels?
Who's gonna win tomorrow, Man U or Spurs?
Draw.
What kind of draw?
I'm going for a
2-2?
draw.
Like easy.
Jose is a weird man. I can't predict Jose. He's a weird man.
That's a very good question, man. That's a very good question.
I can't predict him. He's a weird man. That's my problem with him. I cannot predict him.
I like Tongi, man. Tongi's a bad boy, man.
I think I'll go for maybe a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw, something like that.
I think I'd like to see Tongi embarrass this guy. I'd like to see Tongi take on Bruno Fernandes and finish him off, man. I'd like to see Tongi. I would like to see Tongi just finish that Bruno. Let him sit on his behind, and I'm telling you. So yeah, I hope it turns out to be a draw because that favors us. But
okay. I've been waiting to ask this question to the fans.
Yeah.
Let me come to Blue Eyes now.
Sure.
People have been saying on Twitter. They have been sending me, so I decided not to respond. I just keep my mouth shut. I like, easy guys, easy. Let's say Chelsea wins the UCL and the FA Cup. Who get the more credit, Thomas Tuchel or Frank Lampard?
Okay.
No, sorry,
that's a very good question. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take they say count your teeth with your tongue before you say something. And to be honest with you, as much as Frank Lampard was learning on the job, I didn't think he was the right man for the job.
I also do the same thing.
I have to give Frank Lampard credit for Mason Mount because Mason Mount gives me joy. He gives me joy when I see that guy running without the ball, you know something is going to happen. So, and without Frank Lampard, we don't get that. We don't see that kid. So we have to give that. I mean, his prowess is echoing in his absence for that. But if we do win the CL, you got to give it to Tuchel because of that. Tuchel has been able to galvanize the pieces that Frank Lampard had. Tuchel has been able to use the pieces Frank Lampard had differently to produce very good results by fixing the defense first before thinking about how to score. Frank Lampard just wanted goals. Cross and inshallah, like you always say, Abdullah, cross and inshallah. But at the end of the day, man, I think Frank Lampard gets a little bit and Tuchel gets it all.
But
we cannot forget Frank Lampard.
Let's paint it this way. I don't want that scenario to happen. But my mind is telling me it will happen.
But Abdullah.
No, you have to give Frank Lampard his credit. You have to give him his roses,
Let's say Mason Mount pops up and score in the UCL.
It's over now.
Let me finish. Who get more praise, Frank Lampard or Tuchel? Because people will come out and say, the when Lampard train Mason, it makes him look more better as a player. Why are you giving no credit to Tuchel? Why not give it to Lampard?
The both of them get credit. But unfortunately, it's what have you done for me lately? So it's going to be Tuchel. It's going to be Tuchel. But it's going to be Tuchel. But Frank Lampard groomed Mason. Frank Lampard gave him the confidence to play in the big stage. You have to be fair. He pulled him out of secondary school league. Sorry, with all due respect, from what's the name of that team?
Derby.
Derby. He pulled him from Derby. He brought him to the big leagues. And he taught Mason Mount how to bench bigger players because Mason,
it's all about mentality, though.
Exactly, it's mentality. He has it. But Mason Mount has it. So at the end of the day, I just find that people are putting Frank Lampard to the sword, even though we know the job was bigger than him.
From day one, I know, but some proper Chelsea fans will tell you it's a lie because it deserves some chances. Someone even telling me if Lampard finishing 20th, they'll support it and say, "Are you mad?"
Wow, no, nobody will take that.
Are you a madman? If the Roman open his eyes and tell you Finish
Nobody
20.
retired.
I'll
No,
back you. Back what?
the job was bigger than Frank Lampard,
Nah,
but
nobody's bigger
you
than
know,
the club. Nobody's
sorry,
bigger than the club. And obviously,
exactly,
no. Just because he's a legend doesn't mean he's bigger than the whole club. You know.
exactly. He couldn't figure it out, and like Abramovich said in his exit interview letter, that he couldn't find the next victory. There was no path to growth. There was no path. There was no vision to where the next win would come from. And in that letter said it all. So, but at the end of the day, Tuchel gets the credit. To answer your question,
MK Dons. If Chelsea wins the UCL this year and the FA Cup, we'll get more credit. Frank Olusegun Lampard or Thomas Tuchel.
I'll give Frank Lampard 60% credit. And I'll
wow.
explain why. I'll explain why. Because
Yeah.
you were so bad and you forced Abramovich to make a decision.
MK Dons, in my life since supporting Chelsea Football Club, I have never seen Roman talk about any manager or comment about a transfer. That was the very first time in my life I have seen Roman talk, not even say something, speak about a manager as Lampard in his exit letter. I've never seen that happen in my life. Ever since supporting this team, that what Roman said kills my heart a lot. Like, damn, what? This man haven't even spoken for a long time. He doesn't speak. He doesn't say anything.
Because my thing, because you have to understand, like, this team, the results might not, but the football we were playing hurt. It hurt to watch. It was a bad watch. I wouldn't tell people to watch this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll give him more credit because you forced Abramovich's hand. No. I hear. Understand me? You forced Abramovich's hand. You know what I mean? And made him make a decision. And you got Tuchel, and we've been well for it. Because if this guy actually did well, for example, and we were, let's say, this wouldn't be happening, we'd have lost the Atletico.
If you remember, Tuchel doesn't want to take the ball in January, but I think Tuchel told Marina that he wants to have the chance, like the authority over the squad. Marina and the boss should not question his authority. Like, any decision he make has to be final. I think that was the reason he was given the job. Like, every decision maker has to be final. They must not question his decision making.
Lampard being bad at his job is the reason why I'm giving him 60%. That's what I'm doing. Lampard being bad at his job is why I'm giving him 60%. That's my thing. But you know, and with regards to Mason as well,
yeah,
Mason Mount from Derby days, because I do watch, like, I do pay attention to, like,
the League One
youth, like youth. No, not even that. Just Chelsea youth players, like how they're doing in terms of that.
Yeah.
You could see from early on, this guy knew how to, like, put the ball in the back of the net. Like, this guy could,
it's
you know what I mean?
Player.
Yeah, potential.
I'm not even gonna say like, but he is, like, now. But I'm not even gonna say that this guy knows how to finish. You know what I mean? I could tell you from back last season, this guy was the only guy where I could say out of the midfield, we're gonna get goals from this guy. We're gonna get a bunch of goals from this guy. I'm not gonna say he should start, because that wasn't what I was saying. But he could get goals. I'll give Frank Lampard credit for that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But Tuchel, the way you've improved this team, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's more because again, Lampard, it was 20-minute spells, and then we'd be trash for another 25 minutes, where, you know, that West, and the biggest fraudulent game was the West Ham game. I've never seen a game like that in my life, where we won 3-0, I think, or 3-1, but we were trash. We were gutter trash, as someone was, as Avo would say. We were trash. We had 20 minutes of gameplay, and the next about 60 minutes we were god awful. Like, it was 20-minute spells with Lampard. Whereas with Tuchel, I'm seeing a much more prolonged period of, barring the West Brom game, prolonged period of domination. I'm excited. You know, as you could probably tell, I'm so excited about this team, the future.
Yeah.
I'm Abramovich. You did a perfect job, in my opinion, anyway. But that's just
He did.
That's just me.
Let me put it this way now. I don't want it to happen, but my mind keep telling me it will happen. If Mason Mount scored you the UCL final and win us the trophy, will you give Lampard the credit, or will you give Thomas the credit?
I'll I'll give both. But even if hey, for a Champions League final, I'll give Lampard. If Chelsea need to win a Champions League final and say if you give Lampard 100% credit and Chelsea win the final, I'll give them 100%. You know what I mean? I'll do it for the Champions League, but push comes to shove, I'll do it. People don't understand what I'll do for this Champions League. You see, I'll do anything for this Champions League. I'll do anything. If I get, bro, I'll do it. Sell Kante for the Champions League. Kante goodbye. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. You know what I mean? Don't, please. You don't understand why, bro. You don't understand what I'll do for this medal.
You need that chip.
I need it. I need it because these Liverpool fans, these fans that are out here pumping their chest, I want to do the same thing. Are you mad?
Absolutely.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Mason Mount score hat-trick. I don't care. Just get me that medal.
Can I just say, if there's anyone out there watching this on YouTube who knows how to chop up long videos and clip up long videos, hit up Abdullahi right after this show. Because what NK Dons just said would be a perfect clip for Abdullahi to upload. A soundbite so we could reference it and be like, remember when NK Don said he would do anything for the Champions League? Like, that was classic.
I will do any. The thing, I will do any. People don't know me. I will trust me. I will do anything for this man. Even being in the semi-final, I'm happy.
I hear you.
I'm happy. Finally, we're relevant.
I don't want it to happen, but if Mason was in the UCL final, wait. You see, I know. See. I would rather another player score in the final, not Mason, because I know what I'm getting. If that happens, my Lord in heaven,
Abdullahi,
I already get some abuse.
So Abdullahi. So let me ask you a question. Champions League finals. Champions League finals. 0-0. We're at the 92nd minute.
Okay.
Kai Havertz gets a breakaway. Mason Mount on the right, Kovacic on the left. Okay. And if he makes that pass to either of them, they both have a chance to score in the 18-yard box. Who does Kai Havertz give the ball?
I will give it to Mason. I have Kovacic.
I rest my case. I rest my case, man. I rest my case. So I don't even know why we're talking about this thing right now, man.
Abdullahi, if Mason Mount does what he does, you won't even care. You'll kiss everyone's forehead.
Don't mind him.
If that happened, see, when Lampard was there,
HH factor. HH factor, right?
The final part I already booked the TV already on the Lampard. I don't want to book on that TV anymore. I already booked. I just bought one last December. I just bought one. Last
support this kid, man. Support this kid. He's not even. He's on the company. Just support the kid, man.
I don't hate Messi, but see this year I already get bantered a lot just because I said Lampard is not good. Social media already killed me. Imagine Messi Mount scoring the final. You know how many GMs I'm gonna get? Just that night.
You gotta take your L's and beat your chest and move on.
I will DM you myself. Are you mad? Come on now. I will DM you myself. What are you talking about Mason Mount? I can see embrace that L, sleep with that L, and love that L. That's an L. Come on now. That's an L. And you will love that L. Trust me, you will love that. For a CL.
Guys, you know what just popped in my head? Deja vu is really a thing, man. Remember Marcus Alonso got exiled, tied up, and put in the trunk of Lampard's car after the West Brom game. Remember?
Yes, I remember that, yes.
Now, have you guys seen Marcus Alonso since we lost 5-2 to West Brom?
Nope, not seen him, man. I haven't heard from him. I haven't seen him.
Nope. He hasn't been in any of the starting 11s. He wasn't in the starting 11 for Porto, and he wasn't in the starting 11 today.
What I saw from Marcus Alonso?
Man.
Yeah, but he was on the bench. He was on the bench though.
Blue Ice, Marvelous, everyone on this stream. That first game against West Brom, when I saw Shea Ajayi from a corner, I don't know if anyone's seen that clip on Twitter anywhere. From a corner, outrun, outpace, out everything Alonso. Half hope, I'm sorry. This guy should have stayed in that. I could not believe I saw this guy kick that ball. Alonso with a 20-yard head start.
No,
Lost
but
that race.
but Shea has pace. So Shea has
Oh, don't
pace.
get twisted. Oh, don't get twisted.
He has pace,
Blue
man.
Eyes,
I think, yeah.
this Blue Eyes, this guy had a 20-yard head. I will send the clip to Abdullah. Abdullah will push it. This guy had a 20-yard head start, and and was running for his life, and you couldn't get to that ball. Alonso, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry. And
no, the thing is, I don't think Alonso is being placed in the abyss right now. I think Tuchel has done a very good job in having Alonso compete with what's his name?
Sure.
Yeah, he's up the competition between the two of them. And right now, I don't think Chua wants to be on the bench, so he's forced this guy to be on the bench now.
Chilwell's first game, if you guys remember, where he said, "I'm coming off," that was a wake up call. When he said when Tuchel took him off and he was shot, he said, "Me."
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
and he said, and he told him, "Don't even come across the field. Just go out from there." That was amazing. That was amazing, man. I was so happy that day. He said, "No, just go from there. Go to the showers from there." It was amazing. It was amazing.
Game?
It was Wolves. Yeah, it was that Wolves
when
game.
He made a substitution and put on Alonso.
He told him go. He said, "No, don't come." Chilwell. He said, "Don't come across. No, just go from there."
Oh yeah, because if you guys remember in that Wolves game, Chilwell missed that chance. Remember,
the cutback.
Havertz cut it back
to
Chilwell, and he missed from close range.
That's
so
right.
I think Tuchel was like, "Listen, you don't even deserve to come to this side of the field. Just go off the nearest wing."
Oh my God! How come nobody's talking about Cho? Let's talk about anyway. Sorry, Abdullah. I know you're asking. I'll let the panel answer your question.
Round up this stuff. We'll talk about Cho. Let me come to my fellas now. If we win the UCL and the FA Cup, who gets the most credit? Tuchel's apprenticeship or Mr. Thomas Tuchel?
I think
and second question, I don't know why my head is saying this thing. If Mason Mount scored in the UCL final this year, who gets the more credit? Lampard or Thomas?
I think in both scenarios, the bulk of the credit, maybe 60 or 70%, will go to Tuchel because of how he was able to come in, take a team that was in disarray, a team that lacked chemistry, and he was able to galvanize them, have them playing football that had purpose, that had direction, that had tactics, implement his philosophy, and we actually play with confidence. You can almost certainly say that we're going to score or that we're not going to concede. You can almost say that with confidence now compared to earlier in the season under Lampard. I think Lampard now and in the future will always get the credit of ushering in the youth, breaking in the youth. Even though I feel like I feel like maybe we're giving him even too much credit for that, because had Sarri stayed with the transfer ban, he still would have had to play some youth players. You know, he had already started breaking in Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek. So I think maybe we are even giving Lampard too much credit, because whoever the manager would have been under the transfer ban would have had to use youth pedigree. Needless to say, though, Lampard will get the credit, that like 40%. And with regards to Mason Mount scoring in the Champions League final, I think putting both managers aside, it would be a great testament to his character. Because if you take into account his age, he's very aware and cognizant of all the debate surrounding him on social media. Because not only does he see it, his father also sees it. And apparently, you know how on Twitter you can look up a person's name?
Yeah.
A lot of people say that if you tweet something negative about him and his dad sees it, Tony Mount, his dad will block you and report your account because his dad looks up his son's name. So I know that he's aware, and psychologically that may also be affecting him. So it would be a great testament for him to overcome everything and score a goal that will hopefully help us win the Champions League. And I just wanted to say, in a Champions League final, I don't care who scores. I
I
don't
just
care
want
if
to
we
win.
win. I don't care if we
Marvelous.
win by
God bless
own
you. God bless
goals.
you.
Get it
I
done.
don't
Get
care
it done.
who scores. As long as that ball is in the net, mine just to leave that trophy.
Exactly.
I don't care. If it is Zuma, Rudiger, Christensen, and even if it's Mendy, I don't care. Just
Even
get
if
that
it's
ball in the net.
even if it's Kovacic, so
I don't care.
we thank God. Kovacic score, we
Alonso,
thank God.
Alonso, score that goal for me.
Alonso will score. Hey, if Alonso gets
You
it,
know,
that's why I
you know
like
what's crazy?
Alonso.
If
Alonso will score.
I feel like if Alonso gets a chance in the Champions League final,
He will
he'll
score.
score.
He will
He'll
put it
score.
away, man. He will put it away, man. Huh? Alonso,
I'll,
that guy is
I'll
such
be,
an
he'll
ambitious
be my
winger.
top five. He'll be my top five of who I want the ball
Me
for
too.
this year in the Champions League.
Well said.
Even
Well
top
said.
three. Even top three.
Yes, he's so ambitious, that guy. It's just speed. The only thing he's lacking is speed.
The speed.
That's
But I'll
true.
give him top three. I'll give him. He's arrogant.
The
Top
reason,
hands
He will
down.
just
Yeah.
shoot for the
the
reason.
reason why he's so good a finisher is because he started off his career
Marvelous. I
as
love what
a
you said. Today
as a
there was a
striker
chances
in the Real
that
Madrid Academy.
Ben
He
Chilwell was
used to be a
missing.
striker.
It was
Oh, for
Alonso.
real? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He used to be in the
Oh,
Real
yeah?
Madrid Academy as a striker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and if you
Interesting.
remember, there was a stint when Lampard was here in that transfer ban season, where
Yeah.
Lampard was getting asked if he plans on taking Alonso back to his position as a striker that he
Mm.
hadn't played since he was like 18, because Alonso used to be the striker in Real Madrid B. Then when he went
Oh,
to
yeah?
when he went to Bolton, they moved him back to left winger,
Left. I see.
and then
See.
obviously the pace became a problem because when he went to Sunderland, they moved him to left midfield from left winger.
Wing.
And
So he
then
didn't have to run.
yeah, so he didn't have to run. And then when he went to
Mm.
Fiorentina, they moved him back even further to left
Further.
wing back. And
I
that's where the
see.
wing back thing came from.
Has it? So okay. So
And
he's always been a
Lampard,
lefty.
yeah, he's always been on the left. He played as left-sided striker in a 4-4-2 for Real Madrid.
Interesting.
So in like after that game, there was a situation where we were losing 2-0 to Bournemouth, and you guys could go look it up. And Lampard switched to 4-4-2. I know Abdullah knows what I'm talking about. And we had, I believe it was Giroud and Alonso up front,
And Alonso up front, I remember.
or Tammy Abraham and Alonso up front in the 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
And Alonso was on the left side. And guess who scored our 2 goals to make the
Marcos
game
Al-
2-2 in the dying minutes?
Marcos
Alonso
Alonso.
scored 2 headers.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's something that no manager has ever done, but it would be something really interesting to see. Because barring his
Interesting.
pace, his finishing
Yeah.
is of top quality.
Oh my goodness, the guy is a sniper, man. He's a sniper, and he knows how to use. What I love most about Alonso's play is he knows how to use his blind side, man. Woo! That blind side is money. Money. You can't even the referee won't even know what happened to him, man. It's an amazing skill.
Oh, I said HH Abdullah. This was the comment I wanted you to bring up. So Alonso isn't good enough to hold down any position. Soon he will be left back at home.
Oh.
Oh God.
So you're giving more credit to Tuchel than Lampard, right?
Yeah, I think most people will, because human beings naturally we remember what happened last.
Absolutely.
We don't no matter how sentimental we may feel about the past, we
Yep.
will always remember what is happening in the moment.
Right now. Absolutely.
We're moments merchants. When Tuchel lifts up the Champions League, no one is going to be thinking about Lampard. Even
Yes.
Callum Keat is going to be thinking Tuchel.
I dare someone to be thinking about Lampard.
That's true, though.
That's true.
Someone
That's
thinking
true.
Lampard,
That's
Lampard.
very true.
Oh my days.
That's very true. You're very right. So let me come to Vilton now. Vilton, if that happens, maybe we'll win the UCL and the FA Cup. Who do you give more credit to? Frank Lampard or Thomas Tuchel? And if Mason scores, do Lampard get more credit because the way he brought up Mason to the Chelsea team, or you give more credit to Thomas Tuchel the way he has been handling Mason Mount?
You gotta give a little bit credit to Lampard because the only reason why you guys are competing in the Champions League because he helped you guys make top four last season with that transfer ban Chelsea
Mhm.
team. So
Yeah.
you gotta give him credit there. But and as for Lionel Mount, you have to give Lampard massive credit because like literally a guy from your academy is the best player at Chelsea Football Club. Like
Yeah.
that's unheard of. Like he's literally the best football player at that club at the moment. It is what it is. I'm wait, did that crack a joke or something?
Continue.
Okay. But yeah, as like I know you guys spend money on Timo Werner. We all know he can't finish right now. He's from the road at the moment. Then the German Zidane, he's not following his idol Zidane at the moment. I don't know what
My friend,
he's been
what?
following.
Oh my
Then
god.
Leave my
then
man alone. Continue.
then Ziyech.
Oh,
To be honest, I thought Ziyech was gonna be the best guy because he's in his prime right now.
It's
But
28. Yeah.
he's 28. So let's just give him one more season and see how he does. Because was he injured before? He was injured, right? Something like that.
He
Was
got
he
injured
injured?
in the preseason. In the preseason, he got injured, so he
Okay.
wasn't here at the start of the season.
Yeah. So let's just give him next season. Let's see how well he performed. But at the moment, like let's say Mason Mount scored the game winning goal in the Champions League. Like obviously we're gonna give Tuchel credit because he's the one that won it. Technically, he's the one that won it. Lampard had the team, and Tuchel just took over and made the team better, made the team elite. Because at the end of the day, Thomas Tuchel is gonna get the most credit. But the credit I have to give to Lampard 100%. Like, where did he find this gem of a player, Lionel Mount? Like, this guy is insane. What this guy is doing for Chelsea Football Club. So that's why my fear is that because that I watched that game in Porto. I watched the highlight, bro. That turn he did, bro, that was very sick, bro. The technique, not even technique, it's taste niche. The
Thank you,
niche,
my.
the taste niche on that turn, bro.
The
Like,
niche.
Thank you, my
like,
brother. Thank
like,
you.
like
The tech, the
that was
technique.
insane. Like, and I know Ben was cool, but he broke the deadlock, so you
Yeah,
gotta give
Yeah.
him a square. I don't
yeah.
get the hate. I don't see why you
like just give up.
and H's this whole agenda towards Mason Mount. Like
Don't
the
mind
guys,
Abdullahi, man.
I,
Don't mind them. Don't mind them.
cause,
Don't mind them.
cause,
Don't
Just
mind
give up, bro.
Abdullahi.
because I watch it. Like I watch Chelsea play. Like the way H's talk about Lionel Mount, you think Lionel Mount is a bad player, but the guy is actually
Exactly.
pretty
From
good.
the roadside.
Guys in a
Like
bad
you think
place
he's
right
from the
now.
road. If you don't watch football, you listen to H's podcast, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, this guy Lionel Mount is this trash?" But when you watch
Yeah.
him play, he's not that bad because let's be real, it's not his fault too that he's getting all this credit. Blame the Germans Zidane and Timo Werner for not performing
I
to the
rest my
level at
case.
the end.
Please,
Because
please,
maybe if they
please
were
tell them. Tell
performing,
them.
Like,
Lionel Mount wouldn't take all the credit.
Oh, tell
But
them. Tell them.
back to the question: if Lionel Mount scored a game-winning goal, bro, we have to build a statue for Frank Lampard, bro. Like, where did this guy find this Lionel Mount player in Derby County to make him, bro? If Lionel Mount does that, bro, he's gonna be arguably Chelsea second. No, that's taking it too far. Let me stop. Let me stop because let's be real though. If Lionel Mount wins the Champions League, I don't care what any Chelsea fans say. He's better than Hazard to me. How many CL has
Jesus!
Hazard
Oh
better than guys?
my god!
Hey,
No, no.
I,
Let's be real.
I'm done.
Hey,
How
man.
many?
I'm
No,
done.
no, no.
Amen.
Let's keep it real. Though.
Hey,
Let's keep it
man.
real. Let's keep it
Wilton,
real. No, let's
Wilton,
keep it real. How many
Wilton,
CL? How many CL
Wilton,
has? Wait, let me
Wilton,
finish my point. Then you guys can
Wilton.
finish. Wait, mute your mind. Let me just finish my
This
point.
man is
How many?
suffering.
First, I just want to say this. Don't answer this question. Answer when I'm done speaking. Just answer this question. How many CL has Hazard won for Chelsea? And if Mason Mount scored a game-winning goal, and this guy scored a game-winning goal for Chelsea in the final,
Milton,
Thomas
oh
Tuchel gonna
my
get credit,
gosh.
and Lionel Mount to me is gonna be Chelsea's second
Wilton,
best player in my
You're
personal
so,
Wilton,
opinion.
oh my
Wilton,
god.
Wilton, Wilton.
Yeah, bro.
You're a psychological witch. I know what you're doing. You're a psychological. I know what you're doing.
Yes.
You
He's
are
doing reverse
It's
juju.
psychological warfare. It's psychological warfare. I know that. I've studied those arts. It's psychological what you're doing, but I'm not gonna say anything. But I know it's psychological. I'm not gonna do anything. You know what I mean? You could ask that
No,
It's
question, but I
okay,
know
man.
what you're doing.
Man,
no,
man.
no. But
It's
let's keep
okay,
it real
man.
I
though.
can see
Let's
it.
keep it real.
I know what you're
You
doing.
You
telling
can
me?
call.
Keep quiet. Mute this guy's mic, man.
You
Just
telling me
mute
if
it, for
Mason
Christ's
Mount
sake.
balls in that Champions League final and scored the game winning, he's already a bigger legend than Hazard for me because
Hey,
how
my
many CL
friend,
has Hazard won?
now.
How many CL has Hazard won? Can I hear the number? Can you please tell me? Yo,
Wilton,
yeah.
Wilton,
Yeah. That's
Wilton.
what I thought.
I
Where's
know what you're.
Abdullahi?
I
Where's
know he left.
Abdullahi?
He left. He left. He
How
left.
many?
I'm
How
here.
many
Wait, wait.
Europa
I'm
Leagues?
here. I'm here.
How many Europa Leagues equal one CL? Didn't
No,
HH
no,
didn't
no
HH
Europa
say
League
like
equals
two?
CL at all.
HH
No
said
Europa League equals CL.
3 Europa Leagues equal one CL.
And how many Europa League Hazard won?
2.
I'm scared. I'm scared if Mason
He
Mount
won
scores
one at
That
the
against
that,
the
that,
start of
that
number
his
makes
one.
no
Chelsea
sense.
career and one at the end.
Well, Europa League doesn't equal CL at all because who give a
It
crap
doesn't.
about the Europa League? The reward you get
Guys,
to winning the Europa League is
guys,
making the
I
Champions
took
League.
a
That's the
sabbatical.
reward you get.
Guys, I took a sabbatical when I hear Mason Mount has a better legacy than Hazard. Chineke,
Because the
It's
reason why you
true.
can't, the reason why
Abdullahi, that
marvelous,
would be
marvelous,
another.
marvelous.
No,
You
what
can't use
Milton
that
just said
Europa
would
League
be
logic,
another
bro.
perfect moment
Can't.
to clip. If
No,
anyone
let's be
watching
real though.
this, if
Let's be
anyone
real.
watching this
Abdullahi,
knows how to
Please,
clip
it's like
Abdullahi,
videos,
witchcraft.
and marvelous.
Get
Let me ask you this
Gatlock.
question.
Get
You
Gatlock.
can't,
Your
you
reverse
can't.
psychology.
No, you
I don't
can't
know.
use the Europa League because let's be real. The team that
Oh,
wins the Europa League, do we ever say they're the best team in Europe? We never say that.
Yeah.
But the Champions League, if you just win it, because let's be real, bro, the Champions is the pinnacle of club football, bro. That's what everybody wants to win.
Wilton
If
has
Lionel Mount
managed.
wins it, bro, I'm sorry, he's a bigger legend than Hazard. What has Hazard done for Chelsea? Please tell me.
Wilton has
So
managed
he's
to
stat pad in the
pick.
Premier League, and you guys some FA Cup
damn.
and Europa League. You're happy about that? Y'all don't want the
Wilton.
CL? Y'all don't want the
Crazy.
CL? And Lionel Mount scores that game-winning goal. I'm sorry, he's already a
Wilton.
bigger legend than Hazard, bro.
This is what I tell you. This
Vilton
is what I
wants
Mute
to
tell
your
you.
mic, bro.
Vilton wants to turn Chelsea into Real Madrid. You know how Real Madrid dominate in Europe, but domestically they just can't
They
win
are
the
respected in
La
their own area.
Liga.
That's what it is. They are
They get
respected
pimp
in their own area.
smacked by Barcelona
Yeah.
domestically. That's what
What are
he
you
Yeah.
wants
talking
for
about? We have more
Chelsea.
La Ligas on them.
Yeah,
Samuel,
but in the
Samuel,
last
I
10
agree,
years,
Samuel.
you guys have been
Wilton,
getting
mute your
pimp
mic.
slapped.
Recently, I think he means.
Oh, recently? Oh, yeah, of course. Bro, they have the greatest league player on their team. That's not fair. You think that's
Wilton,
fair? They have the
Wilton,
greatest league player on their team. Like, that's not fair, Marvelous. Come on, bro.
Wilton. You managed to get Abdullahi to leave his own stream. May God help you. May God help you.
Bro, it's facts. I don't know why you Chelsea fan want him knitted, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a CL
Never.
merchant. If you guys didn't know, I'm a CL merchant.
Oh, I know it.
How can I praise a guy that only stat pad in the Prem when Lionel Mount scored the key game-winning goal for Chelsea and wins the Champions League?
When you said Mason Mount,
Has Hazard ever kissed the
wait,
Champions League trophy? You're
when
gonna
you
see
said
Hazard.
Mason
You're gonna
Mount,
see Lionel Mount score that.
Filton, that is why I
Kissing that
said.
trophy.
That's why I said I don't want it happening because I know what I'm getting if that happens. You brought it up already. If Mason Mount scored in the UCL final, he's having a better legacy in terms of winning UCL than Eden Hazard who won the
It's
Europa.
fact. I'm not saying he's the. Wait, no, I think you guys
agree
got
with what
me
you said
confused.
100%.
I'm not saying he's better than Hazard. I'm not saying he's better than Hazard. Of course not. Mason Mount's not sniffing Hazard pubic here.
You know
It's the
what?
same thing.
You know what contest I have with that? The contest is when we had Eden Hazard. You know what? This scenario you said now, I think about it when I left this. I was like, When we had Hazard, there were Oscar, there was Salah, there was Kevin De Bruyne. There were so many players there that was integrated into that team. And during Hazard era, there were look at the player we had under Hazard era: DJ Loboti, Danny Drinkwater, Bakayoko. Now tell me, how do you expect Hazard to win a UCL with Bakayoko?
No, Abdullah. No, the reason why. No, Abdullah, I don't. 2014 Hazard didn't show up against Atletico. My only problem with Hazard, Hazard has never showed up in the CL for Chelsea. That's my issue with Hazard. He has never had.
You know why Hazard didn't show up in 2014 against Atletico? We had Mark Schwarzer in goal. We had like 7 defenders, 2 defensive midfielders, and only Hazard, Willian, and I can't remember who our striker was, Torres. Who do you expect to show up in that scenario?
But my thing with Hazard is that you can't use the issues that Chelsea had a bad team.
Mourinho played Aspilicueta. Mourinho played Aspilicueta.
If you won the Prem in 2015 and 2017, if you win the Prem in 2015, 2017, you're good enough to compete in Europe. If you can win your league, you're good enough to compete in Europe. My thing with Hazard, name me one legendary game in the Champions League for Hazard.
I can't disagree with you. But come on now, I can't disagree. But
this guy is coming from a position because he spent 100 because you gave us 150 million. I feel your pain. I
No,
feel your.
no, listen.
It's okay. It's
I'm
okay.
not
I feel
saying
your
no.
pain.
I'm
Mister. I
not
feel your pain.
saying. I'm not
But
saying Mason Mount.
one thing you have to remember is we paid 40 million for Kovacic,
Kovacic is
and
quality. He's
that was.
quality though for
Excuse me.
Chelsea. He's
Excuse
quality
me.
for Chelsea. Without
Right.
Kovacic, you don't sniff that Europa League final. Go
Milton,
watch his
Milton,
performance.
can
That's
you
very true.
please
Yeah, bro.
tell Blue Eyes how good Kovacic was at Madrid?
It's a
No,
simple
no, no,
answer
no,
for
no, no.
Bilton. We let him go. We let him go. That's your answer. It's a
No,
simple
no,
answer for Bilton.
no. Kovacic wanted to start. Obviously, you're not gonna start over Madrid. Especially Kovacic was key at that World Cup too. He was key at that.
He was key. He
Kovacic,
was key. He was key.
Rakitic, and that midfield trio. They were key for
Trish,
that
yeah.
Croatia run in the World Cup. So Kovacic isn't a bad
Blue
player.
Eyes,
He's
Blue
not
Eyes, you
trash.
should know. Blue Eyes, you should know Kovacic
The re-
balled out in that World Cup. You know why? Because
Why?
Croatia were in the same group as Nigeria, and if you remember
Yeah.
how they pimp smacked us with
That game
midfield
was.
of Rakitic,
They
Kovacic,
did.
and
They did. But that game was close. That game was close. It was a
All
close
I'm
2-1.
saying,
Close 2-1. I remember that game closely, and we were. That was the first game. So first game jitters, and Mikel was off kilt. I remember that game clearly, man.
all I'm
Kovacic
saying
didn't really play well.
all I'm saying, when you look at the context of it, right?
Yeah.
I know Mount. If he wins the Champions League with Chelsea, he's greater than Hazard. I'm not saying he's better than Hazard. There's a difference.
Not greater. No. It's
He is.
Bilton. It's all about body of work. Yes, Champions League is huge, but there's what's called the body of work. Let's look at your portfolio. And right now, Mason Mount doesn't even have page 1 in a portfolio. That's what I try to tell people. He's on the come up. This is a young kid. This kid is supposed to be on the bench.
The only thing is that it would be a hell of a page 1 if he can boast of a Champions League.
Yeah.
Michael Owen has a hell of a page 1, but it's only page 1. There's
Exactly,
no page 2.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Who has a page 1?
Michael Owen has a hell of a page 1. Michael Owen has the best title.
You know another player. You know another player that has a hell of a page 1.
What has Michael Owen won?
Wait.
He won a Ballon d'Or.
Wait.
I don't rate Ballon d'Or. I don't rate Ballon d'Or.
Okay, but even then,
it's part of it. Yeah.
Even then, that's a page 1.
You know,
it is a page 1. Yeah, it is. It is.
You guys know another player that has a hell of a page 1. He even has a treble as a page 1. Owen Hargreaves, and he has no other page after that.
Bro.
Yeah, Owen.
You don't know
Owen Hargreaves. He
played for Man U
and your team. He played for Real too, man.
And Bayern. He was
Bayern. Bayern.
His best days were at Bayern.
Yeah, but he was injury. Well, you know, you can't judge someone based. Yeah, he was injury prone, man. He was like glass.
Anytime I compare Mason Mount to him, people start attacking me.
No, he's not a Mason Mount, man.
Nah. Mason Mount plays like him.
Mason Mount has high technical IQ, man. In comparison to this guy was a grafter. What's his name? Owen Hargreaves. He was a hard worker. He used to put in the 9 to 9 instead of 9 to 5. He would do 9 to 9, 24-hour shift. But
doesn't Mason Mount do that? Mason Mount press.
Yeah, but if you look at his game, he will press, then he will appear. I don't know if you know what appearing means. That thing is a skill. You just for some reason you just show up and you're the third. You're like
pop up.
You just my brother pop up. Thank you. You pop up. That thing. It's not a lot of players that can do it. Popping up and a kid his age to learn that. Yo, man. Yo, that thing is money. Owen Hargreaves didn't have that. He didn't have that.
Listen. I'm young in it. So Owen Hargreaves, from what I've heard about, I think he was in a similar situation with Sancho where he wasn't respected within the English media.
Yeah, because he was supposed to play for Canada, and there was a huge thing between playing for Canada and playing for the UK. And he ended up choosing, because he grew up in Alberta, Canada, and then he ended up choosing. I don't know how it came down. I don't know what it was. He ended up choosing UK at the end. So he had that thing behind him as history. It's almost like Declan Rice, the whole story with Declan Rice, and
So there was always a bit of a negative connotation with Owen Hargreaves, but apparently he was a very, very talented footballer.
He was. You know what
I mean? NK, can I tell you something that's about to break your heart? Owen Hargreaves is one of the main reasons we lost that 2008 Champions League final. Aside from the penalties, the reason why it went to penalties, Owen Hargreaves is one of the main reasons. and you can actually go and look up like you know how they do like
Why that game where
Mason Mount,
this guy
how they
lost
do
to
like
Pep?
Mason Mount versus blah blah blah. You could look up Owen
Yeah.
Hargreaves 2018 2008 Champions League final and watch it.
What was it? What did he do? I'm trying to remember. What
He
did he do in
pretty
that
much
game?
helped them nullify Essien, Lampard. Damn, who was it? Who else was it for us? Was it Makalele?
Yeah,
That
it
Champions
was.
League final was my first.
Didn't Owen Hargreaves
play
he
for
was
Man City?
Yeah, but he
He
paid the
played for
price.
Man City as well, late.
Okay,
much
I know
later
He
in his
didn't.
career.
He didn't pay the price, man. He should have
No,
played
no, but
Mikel in
Blue
that game.
Eyes, listen. You know how you said Owen Hargreaves was the guy working like the 9 to 12 shift?
Yeah,
You see how physical and technical our midfield was in that final?
exactly. Yeah.
Manchester United had no other player that could nullify our midfield but him. So they used like his work rate, his like donkey energy, like he just wouldn't stop closing us down. They used that to their advantage, and that's why they were able to drag it to penalties.
Marvelous.
Yeah,
Mason
go ahead.
Mason clearly has substance behind his game. The way he touches the ball.
Owen Hargreaves
the way
has
he
substance
can
too, bro.
feint.
What? Mason?
No,
Yeah,
I
Mason.
don't think so, bro.
Mason
isn't
Mason
just a
is gold.
workhorse. The more I
No.
watch this guy develop, this guy has a technical side to his game.
Oh
And he's
boy.
only what,
Owen Hargreaves,
22?
Owen Hargreaves, from what I remember and
Joy
recall,
to watch.
was a very technical player as well. He's
Not
just
as
his
tech-
game.
Personally,
His game was
not
just
as
misunderstood.
Abdullah, wait,
I was
Abdullah, are
3
you
when
here?
Owen Hargreaves, so that's
I'm here.
Abdullah, okay, pull up Jack Ann's comment, and then pull up Why Not Sentiment FC.
This one?
Owen
No,
Hargreaves is
why
much better
pull up
footballer
Jack?
than Mount.
Pull up
So
Jack.
Mount hasn't even started, man. Let's not.
No, but that 2008 season was one of Owen Hargreaves' first seasons.
Yeah.
Before his injury, people were saying that he was gonna be like.
Remember the team, remember the team he played. You want to talk about his colleagues in that team versus the Mason Mount's colleagues now?
All right, you got me there.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Let's move on. So let me come to Damien now. Listen to the question. If you were to win the UCL and the FA Cup, would you give Lampard more credit because the way he brought up Mason Mount to the team, or will you give Thomas Tuchel
It's Lino.
or will you give Thomas Tuchel his credit just the way he's been developed under Thomas Tuchel, eventually win it? And I don't want the nightmare to happen. Eventually, it may happen. If the nightmare happen and Mason scored a winner in the UCL final, does he have a better legacy than McDaniels had or not?
He does. It's sad, but he does. CFC time. I don't understand what Hazard did not drag you to 2-prem because I remember it was Mourinho tactic, and I remember Diego Costa was balling when you guys were in the prem. So how good is Hazard really?
Dalton, you're a witch. You're a witch.
I mean, like, whenever I think of Hazard, I just think like a Walmart Premier League Messi.
I don't believe what you're doing.
Holy smoke!
I don't believe what you're
Who said that? Who said that? Oh my goodness! Who said that? My goodness, man! Who said that, man? Exactly. Stay quiet. Who said that?
It's me, bro. It's me.
No, man. No. Please. There are two types of players in the world: Eden Hazard and the rest. So let's just leave it like that, man. Like, man, let's not even go there. Let's not go there. Just leave Eden Hazard the way he is.
Are you listening? Are you watching?
He might not have won. He might not have won the CL, but that guy built. Anyways, let's. We're not talking about Hazard, are we?
Hazard did what? He built what?
He built. Listen, he wrote. I tell you what Hazard did. He wrote a page in Chelsea's history, and there's not a lot of players that can do that. He wrote a complete chapter.
Exactly. He did as well.
He wrote a complete chapter in Chelsea's history, and Chelsea's history is still very young. So and
I
so we
think Drogba was the history. To be honest with you, I think Didier Drogba
oh,
was on that road, the
exactly,
history.
and then he passed the torch to Eden Hazard.
Well, he then passed the torch to a right guy because he then
Wilton,
carried to the
oh my
CL.
lord.
Yeah, no, I
Can
really
I comment
appreciate
on the
you.
Eden Hazard thing that
We
built
really
on?
appreciate
Like his
that
little
200
narrative.
million you gave us. We really
He
appreciate
only
it.
gave you
Don't worry, don't worry. We
a
selling his
title and
bum
a
ass
and
too.
I
I
think
don't know,
like
to
a
We
China or
really
something.
appreciate the 200
Speaking of
million,
which,
man.
That's a useless player. I've never seen
rumors,
such a useless player, bro.
rumors have
Wilton,
been
leave my
60
guy
million in the
flying.
alone.
bank.
Rumors have been
Appreciate it, man.
flying that Real Madrid may be looking to sell him to Fenerbahce.
Yes, I want to sell him. I want to sell him.
back
I
to
want
We're
to
not
Chelsea.
sell
buying
him.
him. We're not
Me
buying him.
personally, I will take him back at Chelsea.
Yeah,
I'll take him back.
Yeah, take him back.
Anyway,
Take him back.
no.
Take him back. Please take him
No,
back.
if we're bringing him,
I'll take him back.
I'll take him back as a striker coach. Let him come
Yeah,
and coach
take him back,
our
please.
strikers. Yeah,
This
like a
guy's
coach.
clearly not ready for the pressure. He just,
What?
like I said, Hazard is just a
No,
league
Can I
merchant. That's what
comment
he
on
always
Hazard? Can
be.
I comment on Hazard?
Yeah,
Please.
comment.
Can we not talk about Hazard? Can we just
No,
talk
we're
about the
talking.
No, I just
Come
want to
on.
make a quick comment. Just a quick comment.
Yes,
And then
please.
Go on.
guy
we'll
Hazard
move
give
on.
me headaches, bro. Give me headaches.
Hazard is a generational player.
Generational.
Talent-wise.
Of course,
Generational.
yes,
Generational
I agree.
player.
I agree.
What Hazard was in a disadvantageous position at our club at that time where we didn't have any managerial stability. The players around him were not good enough to sustain
Exactly.
a run that would have allowed him to win the Champions League. Hazard as himself was a generational talent. Hazard reminds me of this NBA player called Damian Lillard. Amazing player. Amazing
Same, yeah.
player.
General talent.
But he didn't have the
player.
pieces. Yeah,
Amazing.
That's
he
true.
didn't have the pieces around him to challenge.
That's true.
What
how
about
would
when
they-
you won the Prem in
I would blame our
2015? You didn't have the
board and
pieces then?
our philosophy.
What
at the
about
time not
2017
being
when you
enough.
won the Prem? You didn't have the pieces then? So when are you supposed to have the
So you're
pieces?
comparing the Prem
What
to the
about
Champions
2012?
League?
Okay. Let's talk about
Wait,
2012. What about 2012? 2012. How good was that Chelsea team really? No, how good was that Chelsea team compared to the team that Hazard had in 2015 and 2017?
It was gutter trash.
Wilton,
Okay.
guys, listen. I'm rewatching Owen Hargreaves against Chelsea in that UCL final. Man, this guy may have been better than Mason Mount, man.
Nah, man.
Just take
No,
that little narrative.
you are a sick person, Samuel, for saying
and shoot
Hazard
it
is
behind the
I
ball.
don't think you know what generational talent is.
He's
I don't think
definitely
you know what it
generational.
means.
Wilton, no,
Hazard was
that's
never a
not
generational.
negotiable.
No,
It's
he's
not
not a
negotiable.
generational talent.
I don't even know why we're
Damien, do you
talking
agree
about
with
this.
this? Do you agree with this? Hazard's a generational talent?
Yes.
I mean,
Damien is going to say no. He's a Barcelona fan. A Barcelona fan. Forget about it. We know where this has come from.
Be real now.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, like of like his generation,
Yes.
I guess if you're talking like when I talk about generation, I'm talking of Mbappe. I'm thinking of Messi. I'm thinking of Cristiano.
Yes.
I'm thinking like that. When Neymar, I'm thinking of generational talent like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
like
Hazard's not on that level. Hazard's not eating
Hazard-
at that table. He's not eating
sure
at that
about
table.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Hazard-
yeah, the only table he's eating is at McDonald's. Bro.
Yeah, it's McDonald's. That's what he's eating right now.
No.
Wilton, you're just salty that you got
if
robbed
Hazard
of
alone, man.
160
We're not
million.
even
Volta
touching
is-
this,
You're
man.
salty. It's okay.
Bro, I've always said Hazard's
Hey,
overrated. I've never
he sold
wanted
you the
Hazard at Real
dream.
Madrid. I've never wanted
okay,
Hazard at
bro.
Madrid because I know he has a weak mentality.
Yeah.
I've never wanted this guy at Real Madrid.
You
I
are right,
never
you are
wanted him at Real Madrid.
200 million is sweet, man. We love that.
The only
200
reason
million.
why this
Sweet.
guy's at Madrid because Zidane has orgasm every time he sees him play. So
Yeah, because he's a
that's why.
generational footballer.
Sweet,
Volta.
man.
Yeah, that never
He should
won a
be-
World Cup, that never won a Euro, that never won a CL.
Neymar hasn't won it either. Volta.
It hurts, man.
CL,
It
can I
hurts,
hear a
man.
CL? Doesn't Neymar have a
Hurts.
CL?
It hurts, man.
Volta.
Doesn't Neymar have a CL? Yes or no?
200
Didn't
million.
Neymar score? Didn't Neymar score in the semi-final
200
and the
million.
final? Didn't Neymar
Volta.
score in the CL final and the semi-final? Has
Yeah,
Hazard
he's
ever done that?
yeah.
Has Hazard ever done that? Yeah.
Yeah, he scored. He scored, but you guys gave us 200 million.
Again,
100
like I said,
million.
we didn't want Hazard. Zidane wanted the Hazard. I don't know
200
why we got
million.
Hazard, bro.
But the
Guys,
200.
Pay 160 mil if you
Damien,
don't want that, bro.
answer the question. Do you think eventually if we win the UCL this year and the FA Cup, will Lampard be giving more credit for Thomas Tuchel? And if the nightmare, I don't want the nightmare to happen, but I digress.
Please. Mason Mount is not a nightmare. He's not a nightmare. Please.
I was looking at like Mason Mount, like Darby
Lionel
Tony,
Mount,
Lionel Mount, and like I was seeing like potential in there. Like I just thought like he was like a generational talent. Like I was.
My lord!
I think so too. I think so
This guy's
too.
full of
I
shit.
think
Who
he's
is
a
this
generational
speaking?
talent. I
This
think
guy's
he's a
full of
generous
shit.
talent.
Of course he is.
Bill
I
Davis
think
been a
Lino
boss.
Mount.
Davis been a
Lino
boss.
Mount.
Yeah. So like it was only right for him to like like come into the Chelsea team and basically be Chelsea's next captain. Gonna wear that future armband.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bro, he might even be the one that helped England win the Euro this summer too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true, man.
It's true.
Very
That's
true,
true.
man.
That's true. I'm not even gonna dispute that.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely right.
I'm not
Look at
disputing that.
look at Abdullah's face. Look at
Very true,
Abdullah's
man. Very true.
face.
Very true.
What the hell's going on, bro?
Go to
I
Abdullah,
like it.
embrace that L. That L is coming. If it does,
Yeah.
embrace it.
Like
Come
I
on,
like
see.
it.
Abdullah
Abdullah,
will come here and
everyone on that complicated show has an agenda towards missing out.
Yeah,
Build
You all have an
See,
agenda.
I don't have an agenda against me. My problem with Mason Mount is
Lino Mount.
his decision making in the final, and he made that stupid decision today when there was like Kai Havertz on the left hand side and there was who was on the right. I forgot who was on the right.
Wasn't he man of
Christian
match
Pulisic.
though?
Christian
he was
Pulisic got
man
the
of the
ball from
match.
midfield.
Yeah.
So how
Man
bad
of the
was it
match.
really, Abdullah?
Like, my goodness, man.
Yeah.
How bad was it? I mean, let's just let this boy grow. He's only to let him grow.
yeah.
And we haven't even seen anything yet. Let this boy grow. Eh?
He's a
My
test tube,
goodness,
baby.
man.
Let him grow. Let him land.
Let him land. Let him
you know
land.
what's funny?
Finish up. So,
Yeah,
The boy is on the come up, man. I've never seen this kind of hatred. Somebody's on the come up and you don't want him to grow.
it's not blue eyes.
My
Nobody-
goodness, man.
You know the problem. I myself I don't hate Mount. But with the way the English agenda put on Messi, we thought it's Messi Mount is like Lionel Messi? Is it Ronaldo? Oh, is it?
No, it's not.
No,
Yeah.
listen.
He could be
You know what I
hyperbolic,
think it is.
Bro. It's hyperbolic.
You know what I think it is.
Damien,
I think
finish.
it's. I think it's aesthetics. You know.
This point, because I think
Oh yeah.
Damien
Sorry.
had something.
Yeah.
Samuel, continue.
Anyway, okay. So, like, the question was, will people give Lampard
Okay, I said
praise?
if we win the UCL and the FA Cup this year, we will get more praise because people has been coming at me and saying, if Mason Mount won the UCL final, they will give Lampard more praise than Tuchel. That Tuchel hasn't done anything to improve Mason Mount. I was
Okay.
like, wait, what? Easy. I don't want to have that conversation because
So,
if I have
Abdullah,
that conversation, Tuchel is gonna get mad. I don't want to have that conversation at the moment.
we all
I do
know
not.
that you're just scared of getting assassinated because if Mount scores in that final, there'll be a big fat bounty on your head, bruh.
Somewhere, if that happens, I'll be the first person people start tweeting. Do you see what Messi Mount does? I told you, he's Lionel Messi. He's Lionel. Hey, chill, easy, please,
So
easy.
you'll go into like a nuclear winter phase, just retire for a bit.
I'm
But
looking out of
anyway,
if that happens.
I think I dare people to give Lampard praise. I mean, if anything, Tuchel, I dare people to give Lampard praise, bro. I dare them. I swear. If that happens, we're gonna
Stop
have an
hating.
all-out
Stop
civil war in this
hating
fan
us.
base, bro. All-out civil war. Whoever prevails. Someone, bruh. Lampard was so consequential for the development of this team, bro. Especially this year. Tuchel has unlocked a different side of Mason Mount that Lampard would have never been able to unlock. I don't want to ever hear anyone saying, Lampard this. Lampard only brought Mason Mount and all the youth in because he had no choice. That was part of his agenda becoming the coach in a time of crisis. That was the only thing he could do. So like, it doesn't make sense. If I dare anyone to do it, I swear, like, we gotta have a civil war and eliminate these proper Chelsea fans.
Samuel, we need to have that civil war now because when Mason Mount scored, remember when he scored that goal against Porto, people started tweeting at me. JV, I tell you, Mount is like Messi, it's like Ronaldo. That's easy, man, easy, that's too easy. I beg, easy. It does that. You are cleft tongue. It's like Ronaldo. That's easy. Just don't kill me, I beg. I get it. Mason Mount is Chelsea best player. I accept. I'm taking my hell already. Don't come at
He's
me.
not.
We're not saying he's the best player, man.
But he has a role to play in this team.
Absolutely. Mason Mount is far from being the best player, man. He's far from being the best player.
He's not the best player, but he's He's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Okay, my thing. Who's the best player at Chelsea if it's not?
We don't know. We don't have a best player. We have
a defined best player. We don't have
Exactly.
Messi. No, we don't have that defined player in
You
our
do.
team. What
No.
we do
Lionel
is,
Mount. That's
oh my
that's
god,
the
no,
Wilton,
guy.
no, that's not
Wilton,
true.
what
That's
I
not
Yeah.
think
true,
no,
bro.
no, Wilton,
Say the
I
name.
sort of understand where you're coming from because this guy Mason Mount has a habit of popping off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When there's a goal that needs to be scored, he might
He
do
shows
it.
up.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Guys,
But
it
I
doesn't
don't
mean
think
that
that's
he's the
best player.
main guy. He ain't the main
Yeah.
guy. We play as a team. We don't
Yeah,
rely on him to get
Absolutely.
us our goals. Our goals
Well
come
said.
from all over.
Well said. Well
I
said.
agree. Wilton,
So
he's
we
a
don't rely
spark.
on an individual. So Mason isn't
Yeah,
the
we
guy,
don't
but
rely on it.
Mason is a big part of that puzzle that we
That
have.
team, yes, absolutely. He's a
Mhm.
spark. He's a spark. He's a
He
spark.
is a spark. Yeah, he is a spark. Yeah.
He's a spark.
And
Sam,
everyone is
continue.
young, bro. Everyone is young. And
That's
yeah,
what
I mean,
Mason Mount does, man.
Mason Mount's
Mason.
success is not dependent on Lampard, bro. I don't want anyone to start giving Lampard praise. I mean, Lampard saw a player in Mason Mount, which I appreciate him for, but Mason Mount is just like I have to give praise to our academy because the amount of talent that's been coming through the ranks at Cobham, it's been impressive.
Yeah, sorry to cut in. Jody Morris deserves credit as well. Jody Morris deserves credit as well.
Yo.
Continue.
Yeah.
But anyway, our academy has probably saved us hundreds of millions, at least, or
Exactly.
200 million, something like
Wait,
that.
wait. What is blood and thunder football?
That's why I'm laughing, bro. I know.
Blood and thunder football.
Hey,
Brex
we have
football.
a question. We have a question from
Nothing.
Elijah.
Yeah. Mount walks again. I've said this before.
Abdullahi.
Mount, he walks into any team, world football right now. Any first 11.
No, relax. He doesn't walk into
Hyperbole.
Real
That's too
Madrid.
much.
He doesn't walk
Comfortably.
into.
Comfortably.
He does not walk into Real Madrid.
That's too much.
He does not walk
Comfortably.
into Real Madrid.
Listen. You didn't hear what I said. I said he walks into your team comfortably. You're laughing. Comfortably walk into your team.
Bro, the only team I see he might walk into, maybe to be honest with you, I think he's better than Pedri at the moment. To be honest with you,
You'll walk into Barcelona's team.
No, let's be. I don't know. This season, I think Lionel Mount is better than Pedri this season.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Yes, that's not questionable.
No.
Is Pedri really better than Lionel Mount?
Questionable.
Bro,
Defend
definitely.
your boy then. Defend your boy.
Does he walk into Barcelona? Does he walk
He's
into?
walking there. He's walking there.
Would you rather have Mason? Would you rather have Mason Mount or Frankie Ding Dong?
Hey, Frankie, whoa. Frankie, first of all, Frankie's more he's more versatile.
That's
He's
cold.
more versatile
Marvelous.
than
That's
Mr.
cold.
Mount. Frankie's playing at center.
Marvelous, you're a wicked man.
I love this playing as center back anyways.
Yeah,
Marvelous, you're a wicked man.
Frankie is way more versatile than Mount.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second of all,
Madrid's midfield. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No. Second of all, we don't play a formation that can suit him. We play a 3 at the back. We play like a 3-4-3. So
he's going into that midfield, Damien. Do you know how?
Bro, he's not box to box. He's more of a.
He is. He can do it. No. That's a common misconception.
He's not a box to box midfielder.
You're a box to box midfielder.
No, he's not.
He's more of a cam.
When I think
are we talking about Mason Mount?
Lionel Mount. When I think of Lionel Mount, I think of I don't think of a box to box. When I think of box, I think of like a Pogba, Steven Gerrard. Like I think of players like that.
Steven Gerrard is a traditional box to box.
These are guys that how old is Pogba? 28. How old is Pogba?
28.
Exactly. When Mount is 28, man, he'll probably be on his second Ballon d'Or.
The Lionel Mount, but to be fair, it's true. Lionel Mount, I think he is a generational talent.
Volton, I know
we appreciate you.
Yeah, it's like
I appreciate you, man. Mason Mount walks into, to answer Elijah's question, Mason Mount walks into any 11 world football.
Read the banner on the screen.
Damn.
Get this.
Jake AXN said, yeah, that's a fact. Jamal Musiala from Bayern Munich is amazing.
How the hell would
that
he
is
fit
amazing.
in that in the layout, like in the portrait? That's the thing.
This Mason Mount will do a better job than Casemiro, man. Think
No,
about it.
stop.
Think about it.
Blue eye, stop. Blue eye,
Think
stop.
about it. Think
Blue
about
eyes,
it. No, think about it right now.
Three
no.
Champions League in
Blue
a
eyes,
row.
no.
Yeah, okay.
Blue eyes,
Think about it.
I'm okay. I'm
Blue
okay,
eyes,
bro.
no.
No,
Blue
no, no.
eyes,
Champions League
no.
in a row.
Mason
Blue
Mount
eyes,
benches
no.
Casemiro
Blue
comfortably.
eyes, no. Blue eyes, no. Blue eyes,
It's
no.
Lino Mount. It's Lino
Blue
Mount.
eyes, no.
Mason
No.
Mount benches Casemiro
It's Lino Mount,
comfortably.
bro. Yeah, you're right.
No.
Casemiro
No.
does have a record right now, so he would
Comfortably.
get.
Mason Mount benches Casemiro
Blue eyes,
comfortably
are you high?
because Mason Mount he's a lot more mobile than Casemiro is, and
Blue eyes,
he got
no.
and Mason
They're
Mount has
playing different
pace.
positions.
Like,
Blue
it doesn't
eyes,
matter. Mason Mount
no.
works in that position too,
Blue eyes,
comfortably.
no.
Wait, you're saying Mason Mount
So
works
you're
in
telling
the
me
DM
Mason
position?
Mount can play as a DM, as a 8,
This
as
guy,
an
this
attacking
Did
mid?
did you see what happened today with Tuchel? Tuchel put him in a DM role, man. Tuchel couldn't take him out.
Oh
Against
my
who?
god. Okay,
Wait, who did you go against today?
so
It doesn't matter, my
Nice.
brother. We played Crystal Palace.
You're
Wait,
officially
is it
a
But we're not,
Arsenal? Wait, is it
we're not
Arsenal above
judging
Crystal
Mason Mount.
Palace?
We're not judging Mason
What
Mount.
position of Crystal Palace? What position are they in?
Forget
The
about their
bottom
position,
position.
man.
Bottom half.
We're talking.
Bottom half.
We're talking.
left the street.
We're talking
Okay.
about a kid on the
Ruben
come up.
Abdullahi.
If a kid on the come up, okay, Mason Mount. If we're talking about kids on the come up, Mason Mount versus Vinicius on the come up, who do you think has been more productive for their teams?
Vinicius.
So you want to tell me Vinicius has had based on cause and effect
Yes.
for your
That's
team,
actually-
Vinicius?
Yes.
How long has Vinicius?
That's
How long has
actually
Vinicius?
a great point, though.
Guys,
That's a
Come
great
on, man.
point because
Well,
if
Come
you
on, man.
Abdullahi has left.
Come
the
on,
street.
man.
no, no,
You
What?
guys
listen,
are making this man
listen,
suffer.
listen. No, he's
Stop
in the
being so
background. He's in the
controversial.
background. He hosts, so he could be in the background. But that's a great point, though.
Okay.
That's a great point because if you compare Mason Mount to like everyone in his stratosphere in terms of
his
age and
Thank
talent
you.
level, the
Thank
fact
you.
that Mason Mount is playing week in week out
Come
means that his development will be accelerated, so that when he gets to the age of 25 to 28, when he
rest my
should be
case.
entering his prime, he's gonna have an advantage over them
Hands
because
down.
he already has the experience and his body will be used to playing a large amount of games. So he does have an advantage.
Hands down, man. I mean, but again, we're not getting ahead of ourselves. This kid is still on the come up.
You said
So let's not get
it. You said
we're
you're
not.
taking him over Casemiro, Blue Eyes.
Any day.
Casemiro.
Bro,
You know this guy's the best
he's
DM in the world.
showing, bro. He's
You know that?
showing.
Any day.
You know
You're a sick person.
Casemiro is the best
Any
DM
day.
in the world.
Any day.
I thought Liverpool fan were delusional, bro.
No.
Chelsea fans are worse, bro.
Casemiro would chop. You know what they call chopping the bench. That's what Casemiro would be doing, man.
Let's move on, guys. Let's move on.
Chopping the bench, man.
Let's move on. Let's move on, please. I just came back from a reservation now.
Yeah,
I'm back. Let's move on, guys.
He's a proper Chelsea fan, man.
Of course, I am, man. I am.
No, HS doesn't like people like you, man.
Why?
You're too proper, man. You're too proper.
Is AJ a Chelsea fan? Is he a Chelsea fan?
He's a
Yeah, he
complicated
is.
Chelsea
He is.
fan.
He's
Oh, yeah?
bigger than the Chelsea fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just hides it for the sake of his channel.
Yeah, for the channel.
Okay.
He's a complicated Chelsea
That's
fan.
why he says he's complicated, but he's probably more diehard than any of us.
Yeah, because when y'all lost to West Brom, you saw how stressful this guy was when he made his video. He was scratching his head, bro. Like, he was so stressful that when y'all lost to West Brom.
Guys, do you know the truth? The truth is, you know the truth. HH is a real Chelsea
Sentiment
fan.
FC, I see you, bro.
No. The problem is, HH is a real Chelsea fans, but you put the complicated show to just for people not to understand that it's a I asked him. I asked him a question. Can you define what complicated means? HH will not give me the definition of it. He could not give me a definition of complication.
HH uses semantics to play football.
It doesn't give me the definition of complicated. It cannot give me the definition of it.
Listen, anyone watching this, watch the the Eintracht Frankfurt Chelsea shootout. Tell me if this guy's complicated with what he's doing.
He's not complicated.
He's not complicated at all.
if you guys really want to know, just send him a private message off like YouTube. Like, send him a message on Twitter or Instagram, and he'll tell you he's a Chelsea fan. He's been a Chelsea fan for a long time,
In a long time.
even before Roman. He's been a
Yeah.
Chelsea fan since like the late 90s.
1990. I think I'm
Without revealing his age, but he's
Oh,
been a
so
Chelsea fan since the late 90s.
so then what? He must like Mason Mount then, because these are the kind of
he,
these are
he likes Mason Mount, but he doesn't think Mason Mount should be Chelsea's best player. He feels like that would be a problem. That would be a hindrance to the team's success, because if a developing player is your best player, it means that the overall squad has a long way to go.
Yeah, but you see, what people are forgetting is we're not relying on Mason Mount. Mason Mount is appearing to help. It's two different things. We're not relying on Mason Mount. Mason Mount, he gives us an option, and when we take that option, he scores or he makes a pass.
Blue eyes. That's why I said it's a nightmare for me. Because if Mason Mount scoring the UCL final this year, I already get bantered up just because I said Kai Havertz is in German City. Now, if Mason Mount scored, me and HH is in trouble. We are in deep mess already, deep shit. If that happens, I'll be the first person people will tweet. Do you see what that guy does? I thought this better than Lampard. I was like, oh my god, in heaven. Here comes again. Because I have a guy on Twitter. This guy is like Mason Mount fanboy. There was a day I was debating with him about Mason Mount. I literally logged out of the stream. I was like, I'm done with this. I swear to God. Ahmed, do you know the space that I usually do on Twitter, the Twitter space? Ahmed invited me to comment. So I was talking with the guy. I was like, okay, Mason Mount. Then Ahmed was like, he has an agenda against man. He asked me to explain why I believe he's not the best player, and I gave my explanation. I was like, Mason Mount has this attribute of Lampard. He can score. I was like, yeah, Mason Mount age. I get it. If you are telling me Lampard as a player, I will give you that. But Lampard as a manager should be inducted this scholar, not even in Class A, because it's not even a good manager at all for me.
No, but my thing is, my issue is how bad he's done to force Abramovich's hand. He deserves credit for that alone. Anyway, if you don't give him credit, he deserves credit for that alone, because the fact that you forced this guy
to
make that decision,
absolutely,
you deserve credit for that. You being bad at your job, I'll give you credit for that. You being bad at your job and getting someone else who could coach these players properly, I'm giving you credit, in my opinion. That's what I mean. I'll do it. I need it. And Abdullah, you have to do the same. Him being bad and horrible.
Exactly. Abdullah, pull up Sentiment's comment. That explains it perfectly. Pull up exactly this right here. Blue Ice, this right here.
Which
Imagine
one?
City's best player is Foden, and Liverpool's best player is Curtis.
No, that. And let me answer the question. Sentiment. Mason Mount is not our best player. Mason Mount is a young and upcoming talent that, for some reason, is showcasing skills that even our marinated players can't even come close to.
Yeah.
And that's one. Two, he's like the water carrier right now. That's what Mason Mount is. He's a water carrier. He's helping everybody, putting out fires. That's what he's doing. He's not our best player. We don't have a best player. We don't have a best player, man.
I think Blue Eyes, I think what Mason needs to add more to his game is effectiveness and consistency. If you can add that,
again, he's 21.
Yes, I know 22. But if you can add that to his game, people will love him more. I don't hate Mason Mount. Even the change doesn't.
No, man. It's not about what other people. Listen, I think the less people love him, the better he will do.
They're better.
I'm telling you, he needs more enemies. So what is happening now? No, he needs more haters, because what's happening now is what's galvanizing that young man. This exactly what the fan base is doing now is what is galvanizing this young man. When people start embracing him and seeing that he can really play, it might get to his head.
Abdullah, you might think,
man,
who's been more consistent than him this season?
No,
who can you actually say?
Ask.
Has been more consistent than Mason Mount?
Preach. Phil Foden. He's gonna say Phil Foden.
Is it in Chelsea or in overall?
In Chelsea alone.
In Chelsea, Edward Mendy.
Okay, Mendy. Barring Mendy, there's an outfield player. Outfield.
No,
player.
at his age.
I don't. No one.
At his age,
No one.
body, man.
But
He deserves
Mount
credit.
hasn't been effective throughout the year. It's just now, like technically under Lampard in the latter stages, he hasn't necessarily been as
Oh
effective
yeah,
throughout
I'm
the
not
year.
saying that, but
No, but
in terms of
overall,
most consistent,
he scored the most goals in Tuchel's. I think I saw
This
that
club
stat, right?
has no consistent players at the moment. Mount
but
isn't consistent
Samuel,
enough.
there has
No
to
one
be
is consistent enough.
one guy who's the most. There has to be one guy who's the most. Who's been the
The,
most?
the
just
best
don't
way to
have
judge the best way to judge who's been the most consistent is who's had the most starts. Let's start from there. Let's use that as a base. And if you look at it, I bet you
coaches
Mason
have their
Mount
own
wins that.
biases. The
Well,
coaches have their
coach is the
biases.
coach. That's why we're talking on YouTube, and Tuchel is a coach. And if you look at it right now, Mason Mount has, I bet you, I haven't looked at it, don't quote me on this, but I bet you he's had the most starts in comparison to most kids his age right now.
Barring Saka.
Okay, exactly. Barring Saka. I think Saka is another up and coming.
Blue Eyes, didn't you hear that when you combine last season with this season, only two other players had started more games in a row
that's right.
than
You did quote
Mason Mount.
That's
only
right.
Cristiano and Messi and Kimmich.
That's right. That's right. You
only
did quote
Cristiano, Messi, and Kimmich.
Because your
had
squad
started
is
more
not
games
good
than
enough.
Mason
The
Mount.
reason why he starts a lot, your squad is not good enough.
My issue is who's more consistent than him.
I'm loving this. I want to ask a question.
He's more
let,
what?
Let me come to Blue Eyes now. If you want to put a price tag to 3 England player, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Jadon Sancho, and Mason Mount, how much will you buy each one of them?
Out of all
Give me
of
a
them,
price tag. Give me a price tag on those 4 players.
Jadon Sancho right now he's like a box office blockbuster type player. So right now Jadon Sancho will probably sell the highest. So maybe Jadon Sancho is in the maybe $150 million price tag range. Second, but if you want to talk about based on future talent, second on that list is Mason Mount. Mason Mount should be in the
overall, not future talent. Maybe let's say, okay, maybe Madrid comes now and says, okay, Chelsea, yes, 70 million for Mason Mount. Do you think Chelsea will accept that deal?
That's too small, man. That's too small, man. Are you crazy? 70 million?
That's way too small.
That's too small, man.
Mount's market value is actually a bit over 100 million.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yes. Abdullahi,
it's actually a bit over 100 million. Like,
thank you.
Like,
Chelsea rejected the 75 mil offer for Cho.
Comfortably, 100 and something million, man. Thank you.
For who? It's actually
for Mason Mount.
Are you sick in the head?
No.
His market value is around $50 million. Like $50 million max. That's his max.
Are you sick?
Guys, can I just make this comment?
If Trent Alexander-Arnold,
Wait, can I just
Trent Alexander-Arnold,
just wait for a bit. This is not my opinion or reported by newspapers or whatnot. This is the value that's being placed on Mason Mount by firms that advise clubs on the value of players. And Mason Mount at the moment is actually a bit more valuable than Harry Kane, I believe. Market value wise, yes,
of course, he's a young player.
Yes.
Wow,
it's
no, but listen.
I'm looking at it right now. I say it's 50. It's 50 million.
No. Listen.
50 million.
Harry Kane, it's 50 million, and Harry Kane market value is 168 million.
Right.
Wilton, where are you getting those numbers from?
I don't know where you sick person getting this thing. I'm like, is this what you have to deal with, bro?
Man,
sick, bro.
You're speaking from
Hey, marvelous. Say what you need to say, man.
Listen, if Trent Alexander-Arnold is valued at 100 million, I think Mason Mount would be around
because
that
Alexander-Arnold in 2019 he was the best right back in world football.
He
was the best right back in world football. And
we're talking about market value. Market value,
bro.
Mason Mount is not worth $100 million. Who is that? Gonna buy Mason
not be
Mount
in your eyes, but in
that makes no sense.
But market value
that makes no sense. Yeah, you guys are delusional Chelsea fans.
Samuel, don't even waste your time. Wilson.
I'm not wasting my time. These are real figures. You guys are just talking.
Don't get twisted. I understand. Dembele went for how much?
Understand.
The Oos
went for how much?
100 something million.
Yeah,
Who's worth 100
very
something
good
million?
point. Very
So
good point.
why is that wild to say, right? Knowing how the values go, knowing how the market is going up,
10-year,
and these young
10-year
players,
Sentiment FC. I don't know where you're getting
what
it
is
Wait,
on.
read. 10-year
On a 10-year
contract.
contract.
Thank you,
no, no, no,
Mike,
no, no.
bro. This
That's a
guy's
I
a
don't understand what's
delusional
wild.
fan,
This
bro.
guy,
Sentiment.
Mason Mount is comfortably over 100.
No, you guys are just acting
Comfortably.
emotional.
Oh my!
Comfortably, man.
It's not
Nobody's
wild. It's not wild.
nobody's gonna buy
Comfortably.
Saka
Mason
is
Mount
over
for
$100.
$100 million, bro.
Saka's
No
over
big club
100.
in the world is gonna buy Mason Mount. And plus, English players, no
That's
offense, you
why.
guys don't
Oh
like
my
really. You
god.
guys don't like leaving the Prem too. So Bayern's definitely not gonna go for it.
Wilton,
PSG's not buying Mason Mount.
Wilton. No,
Barca's
no, I
not buying
understand that.
Mason Mount.
Wilton, listen.
Real's not buying Mason Mount.
Wilton, listen.
Liverpool's not buying Mason Mount for
You know,
100 million.
Wilton,
You have to
listen.
be sick to buy
Wilton,
him
listen.
out for 100 mil.
Listen, Sancho in
Yo, Abdullah,
COVID-19 was comfortably over 100. Young players
Because Sancho actually balled in the Bundesliga.
This would be another perfect point to pull up as a
That's what I'm
clip.
saying.
Like if you know someone who could
it's
clip,
not even close.
this
Like
would
what
be
the hell
another
is
point.
Marvelous talking about?
This would be another part to
Trent.
clip.
Nobody needs to clip it. I think Damien can do it. Damien needs to do this.
If it could be clipped and uploaded in like small portions, it would really help your channel. You could title it
Wait,
100
who's your right back
million
at
for
Chelsea?
Mason Mount.
Reece
Reece
James.
James.
Alexander Arnold is better than Reece James.
Okay,
Hell no.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
No. Marvelous. Even then,
about,
do you think Reece James is going for less than 50 million pounds?
Again, bro, English player, they don't tend to leave the Prem
No.
anyway,
But
so-
do you think in a realistic world that Reece James is going for less than 50 million pounds? Really?
I don't know.
No,
I
he's
don't
not.
know. I don't know
He's
how
not.
good is he.
No. It's not about how good. This is my issue,
It's
right?
a market value. It's not about
It's
how
market
good he is.
value. It's market
That's
value.
what I'm looking at. Mason
market
Mount is
value
50
isn't
million.
based
That's what
on
I'm
how
looking
good
at.
you
Go
are.
to me.
Dude, you're looking at the wrong market value.
You're
Which one are
probably
you looking at?
looking at an
Transfer
old
market?
one.
Where's Gatland? Gatland needs to come and clip this.
You're
No,
sick person. You guys are sick, bro.
Bolton, you're looking at your market value. That's not the market. That's your value. That's your price tag. You're placing on him. The market is. I will let you know now. I will bet my whole life. These guys aren't value. I'm telling you, Saka is comfortably over 100 mil.
bro.
No, nobody's
Guys,
buying Mason Mount for 100 million,
continue.
bro.
Let's continue.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
That's
Mason
crazy.
has been on
Anyway.
fire.
No, he probably
He's been
won't go
late.
anywhere. But his
Sancho's
value.
a baller, bro. Like
No.
Mason Mount? Like what?
No.
He's in the top 20 most valuable players in the world list. He's valued at around, by according to CIES Football Observatory, which is the official one that clubs actually look at. He's valued at 110 million euros.
What?
Yes.
There you go.
And I think Havertz is valued at 132. But yeah.
I'm telling you,
Guys,
it's not wild.
Let's continue. I digress.
I digress, bro.
Let's continue. Mason Mount. Okay. I think I need to be positive now. People have been going at me that. Mason Mount, you are the GOAT. Okay. Winners UCL, okay. Score in the semis in the quarter. You have scored in the quarter. Score in the semis and score in the final. You are the GOAT. I digress. Let's continue. I digress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the despair in this guy's eyes.
Let's continue. I want to talk on Cho.
Yes.
Do you guys think next season Tuchel is going to be playing a back three or a back four? Because I think Tuchel will be playing more of a back four. Where do you see Cho kind of moving forward on the right wing or a left wing? Because this left wing back doesn't fit him that much for me, though. It doesn't. Because I see Tuchel talking to him each and every time. When he make mistake, Tuchel go at him a lot. So, do you guys see him play more as a winger or as a right wing or a left wing, or you see him playing more as a wing back? Because I don't see Tuchel playing back three next season. I don't think.
Who's going first?
So, you want to go first? Yeah, go for go first.
I'll go first. So look, I think Hudson-Odoi Tuchel definitely has plans to like play him in a winger position, but he just finds in a position of like just compromise. I think
Abdullah,
Cho in a wing
change the
back.
camera angle so it's everyone, so it shows everyone in the chat.
Samuel, go ahead.
I think
Which one,
Cho in the
what should
wing
I
back
change?
position. Pardon?
You see how it? Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
that's
good.
better.
Yeah, there. We're good. We're good. So like Cho in the wing back position can get valuable experience, tracking back, pressing, all sorts of things. But Cho Cho's natural I think Cho will not be permanently will not play in the wing back position permanently. For many
Mhm.
reasons. I think he would be much more useful in the winger position. Um, yeah, and that's a given. But I mean, as for Cho's play, he's a dynamic player. He's really he definitely creates space for himself, and he can run at defenders, cross the ball. The thing with him is he just loses concentration. Like
Mm.
I think there's little um, sections of the game where he just loses concentration, where he just misplaces his pass, that sort of thing. And I think it's because he's a young player. But yeah, if he can just get that, if he can just keep that killer mindset on for the whole game, I think he'll be a good player. But yeah, he's definitely going to be a winger long term.
MK Dons. Do you see Tuchel playing a back three next season, or where do you see Tuchel play? I think he wants to play more as a winger. So maybe if Tuchel switches to a back four, does that suit him? Because with the way Pulisic keep his form now, I don't think he can outshine Pulisic at the moment. Maybe when Pulisic gets injured, maybe. But do you see him playing more as a winger?
Listen. There's no wait.
I'm hearing some background. What's going on?
Uh, oh, okay. Anyway. Yeah.
Continue.
There's not gonna be a bigger Cho fan than me, and you won't find a bigger Cho fan than me. Cho's my guy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I don't know. I think he's in a very, very compromised situation because you have players that really and truly have to, like, Pulisic has to, if he's fit, he has to play. You know what I mean? So I think he's in a very, very compromised situation.
Mhm.
I don't even know. People are saying that he's going to move to a back four. I don't even know if he's going to move to a back four. Really and truly, I I you, I don't know. Like, I
He
just don't
will,
know
he will,
because
because that's why he's going for Juice Kunde. He want to get Juice Kunde. That's a proper ball playing centre back that will help his system work very well.
hey, listen, if he does, isn't it? But I'm just like, my personal, I don't know. Like, it's just a bit.
He
Yeah,
said it. I think he just said that he's gonna go back to a back four
back
in the
four.
next
Okay,
season.
okay.
He said it.
Even so, I would look. Listen, I didn't even want Chelsea to sign Pulisic at the time because I thought that would hamper Cho's development. I think he's been very, very unlucky in terms of, you know, his starts, the team situation, the injury, all came at bad times where he could have developed more. But I think he's Chelsea's probably, in terms of overall talent, I think he's probably our most talented academy player.
Mhm.
But it's just whether or not he gets the chance to showcase or not. It's a tough situation where if the guy actually doesn't play, like, it's a problem where he might not develop properly. I know he's probably questioning whether he should have went to Bayern, forced the Bayern move or not. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So is if I'm true, I'm really, and he signed a new contract, didn't he, recently?
Mhm. He does.
I just don't with him. I actually just don't know. His best position, I think, is left wing.
Mhm.
But the question is anyone really and truly going to start him with a Pulisic? I don't think so. So that's my issue. And there's talk of, I'm hearing Sancho in, like, like, if that's the case, is he actually going to start games? That's my thing. So I don't. True, I believe Chelsea is in Chelsea's best interest to keep him, but he needs to start some games. That's my personal opinion.
So I show on the wing. If they can play back four, or as soon as he's wing back.
There's Blue Eyes here.
Blue Eyes, is it
No,
there?
he's not. He's not there. He's not.
I think he's left.
He left?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Ogama Velos.
Yeah, I'm
Left,
right here. I'm
left
right
back.
here.
I said left back. Left wing back. Sorry, right wing back, left wing, or right wing.
hmm
The proper formation for Cho.
See, in my humble opinion,
Mm.
Cho out of the upcoming bunch of players, out of the upcoming young players that we have,
Mhm.
Callum Hudson-Odoi is the most frustrating to me.
Wow.
My reason is the fact that he just doesn't appear to be focused in his position. When he plays on the wing, he's more concerned with trying to put the ball through the wingback's legs than being direct and facilitating a chance for whoever the striker inside forward is. He gives away the ball a lot. His body language when it comes time for him to track back is
It
poor.
stinks. It
Earlier in
stinks.
the season, for that exact reason, was why when Tuchel brought him on against Southampton, he very quickly brought him off because he doesn't even bother to press. I also feel like he might be the most like gifted in terms of being able to put together a dribble, but because he feels like he's so good and he's much better than he actually is, that may be like what
To his detriment.
ultimately costs him an incredible career. I think he'll
Mhm.
have a good career when it's all said and done, but he has the potential to have an incredible career if he could just clean up his act, be more serious, and not take things for granted. I feel like he takes things for granted.
Okay, let me put it to you.
Sarri and Lampard both said that his attitude behind the scenes sucks. So
Mm.
you never know.
Let me put this to you. If we're about to get Sancho, will you trade Cho for Sancho or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Because you believe more in Sancho than Cho. Can you hear me?
I think Cho's very Leroy Sané esque in terms of he has that sort of attitude issue. Like I don't know what it is, so I'm not gonna say it, but I think it's very Leroy Sané esque without the proven track record, in my opinion. But
So will you guys trade Jadon
Hudson-Odoi.
Sancho for Cho, or you rather trade it for ZH?
I'm tempted to keep Cho.
I'm keeping Cho.
You keeping Cho?
I'm keeping Cho.
Yeah, I'm tempted to keep Sancho. Yeah. No, Cho. Yeah. And I think Cho, like, I don't know. I think he just passes the eye test for me a bit more than Sancho would. But hey, apparently Sancho's a better player. I think if Hudson-Odoi played in Dortmund like Cho does, and
Mm.
like was in that system and played regularly in that position, I think Cho could have even potentially surpassed Sancho. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So how consistent will it be? How consistent will it be when you're
That's
talking
up to
about Cho and Jadon Sancho?
that's up to Cho really, because even then Sancho's this hasn't been a consistent season for Sancho, so
Mhm.
it's really up to the players. So you know what I mean? It's just that's tough. It's tough.
So on a more consistent level, you would trust Cho than um Sancho than Cho, right?
Abdullahi, but like has Hudson-Odoi been afforded the platform to play in a regularly in the same position that Sancho has? You
No.
know, I
Yeah,
don't think
but the
so.
problem is, I think in Bundesliga, Cho will be more, it will be more consistent enough, and it will have more. Bundesliga the way they play is more different than the EPL. So
Mm.
Cho will have more space, more time, and in terms of his development, it will have enough.
Yeah,
It will, it
because
will
I would
have enough.
argue that Cho's energy in I would argue that wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you. We
you.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I would argue that like especially in this game. Okay. I'd argue like especially in this game, I saw Cho's energy, and he was part of the reason for why we kept that momentum.
Mm.
Like his constant pressure that he was mounting on that right hand side did an amazing job. But what
Yeah.
disappointed me about Cho was that like after we were like 2-0 up, he just shut off. He disappeared. So
So in terms of mentality, you go for Sancho than Cho for you.
I
From
don't
what
know, because is it fair? Is it fair to judge? I
I
don't
don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. But at the same time, with what I've been hearing,
Hmm.
which again might not be fair, from what I've been hearing, I'm left to the assumption that Cho's attitude stinks. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, we don't know.
yeah.
That's the thing. It could just be unlucky. Again, he got a long term injury, so
Yeah,
I don't know. Like everything about Cho is a bit weird. Like it's not normal for you
because
know what I mean.
when I look at Tuchel when he plays, it does emphasize a lot on Cho because sometimes Cho is like with James. He can do the right thing at the right time, but he always forget. Like what Blue Eyes always say, lose guard. He always forget himself a lot. Like he does some simple and basic thing, which is understandable, but he does forget himself a lot of time. That sometimes I question him that does he really have this ability we've been talking about or not?
I think he has it. My thing is, does he have the heart? You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
real drive to
The mentality.
it's yeah, it's sort of a mentality thing. Like, do you is your I'm questioning your fire. I'm questioning your desire, basically, like
Hmm.
to succeed at this club. That's what my issue is. Or is it more of a case where you think you're too big, like you're too good for the club? Like, I don't know. Are you? The thing is, like, is football? I think is very humbling, and like some people can't accept it. You know, like I don't know if he could accept that he needs to really like battle for his place or not. But at the same time, as Samuel said, he hasn't been afforded, what I mean, the time and his position.
Hmm. He can play on the left, he can also play on the right wing, so he's a very
He's
good player.
versatile. Yeah.
He is.
Nah, I think Sancho is more like of a possession player. He's not like a counter-attacking threat. So, I mean, if you put him in like a team like Manchester City, I think
Hmm.
Sancho will really, really flourish. You see, um, Terzic doesn't play possession football with Dortmund, so that's the problem there. Is he plays more of kind of a counter-attacking football. So it's
Hmm.
it was a bit difficult. Like in the beginning when Terzic came to Dortmund, it was a bit difficult for Sancho to adapt to the way Terzic was trying to tell him to, play like on the counter attack, kind of sit back a little bit deep and, use your pace to beat defenders.
Yep.
Now what you're seeing is he's getting used to that kind of football because of him being under Terzic for the past couple of months and so forth.
Yep.
For
Yep.
Cho though, for
Hmm.
Cho, I think for Callum Hudson-Odoi, he would be amazing if he came to Bayern Munich. And this is why I'm
Hmm.
saying this because he's everything that like he's the type of player that Flick really loves. He can
Hmm.
take on players, he can dribble players, like he's really good. His crosses are amazing, you
Yep.
know. And like we've seen this season, Bayern really flourish with their wingers because of the crosses that they put inside the box to the
Yeah.
likes of Thomas Mueller and Lewandowski.
Yep.
So if you get someone like a Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kingsley Coman, and Sane, bro, that's a wicked wing play right there. Like that's a crazy
And
wing
Cho
play.
can even play as a number 10 too.
Exactly. You see, and that's the thing. But the thing is, even if he came to Bayern, the reason why I'm saying he's not going to play number 10 is because Jamal Musiala is the type of guy who kind of like, you know, I feel like will be that replacement for Thomas Mueller, Like
Oh,
today, you should have seen his goal. The goal was amazing. I'm like,
I did not
like
see it.
it was so good. Like the
People,
way he
I hear
dribbles.
people were talking about the goal, but fair enough, I did not see the goal, so I won't.
It was like him. He beat like two defenders, and it's kind of like what he's so good at is like dribbling through tight spaces and kind of like having this good close control
Hmm.
ball with him. I think he's the replacement as a number 10. But personally, if Bayern gets Hassan Adoui, my goodness, like that's a wicked wing wing team. Yo, the wingers right there, that's crazy. That's crazy, yo.
So in terms of the way both of them plays, mentality
Hmm.
wise and everything, will you take
Hmm.
Sancho ahead of Cho, or will you still take Cho? Because with the way I'm hearing this rumor of Sancho coming to Chelsea, and I'm looking at myself that who is leaving Chelsea? If even if you want to get Sancho, who the hell is going?
For me, um, I'm sorry, Sancho is not good. Like he's like a one season wonder. This is my problem with Sancho. Like he's a
Mm-hmm.
one season wonder. Like he had like one good season with Dortmund where like he just started scoring goals like for fun and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then kind of like why I'm saying Callum Hudson-Odoi is I see more potential in him and more of a mentality in him
Mm-hmm.
because he can flourish under players like Thomas Mueller. Under the leadership of Thomas Mueller and Lewandowski, they can help him to become a better player than he already
Better
is in
player.
Chelsea. You see,
Mm-hmm.
mentality wise. You see,
Yes.
So for me, I just like him. I think he's a game changer. He's a game changer to any team that he goes to.
Fair enough.
So, Core, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, like, Jan-Arge Futov, right? The reporter. I think he's a Bayern
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know him. I know him. I watch ESPN
I'm
FC.
worried. Yeah, yeah,
What you
I'm
say?
worried because I heard this is kind of lagging, but I'm worried because I saw reports that Flick is almost certainly going to coach the German national team. What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest, like like because like I'll be like I was in Bayern, Bayern fan TV, right? I was in the stream and we had like this conversation between like all of us other Bayern fans and so forth. And um like what we're saying is personally, um we feel that Salihamidzic should be the one losing this battle. This is how we, the Bayern fans, feel. You see, but saying that, we all see that the way the board is, kind of, like Rummenigge is gonna leave his post, Oliver Kahn is gonna take over, and so forth. And because of this, I just feel like Hansi Flick might, might actually leave. And I think there's actually some truth to it. I think Salihamidzic, I think the power is in his hands. I don't think it's in Flick's hands. You see?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's in Flick's hands. Like for me, like all the Bayern fans want Flick to stay. You see? But I feel like the board is gonna go for Salihamidzic's side because there's some Samuel, are you listening, right?
Yeah, I'm
You
listening. I'm
listening?
listening.
Yeah. There's some friction between the sporting director of Bayern and Hansi Flick. They don't see eye to eye in terms of like transfers. Like for example, like if you watch today's game, Bruno Sarr is a Salihamidzic signing. He was never a Flick signing. You understand what I'm trying to say? Flick wanted to get Serginho Dest and he lost him to Barcelona. Flick wanted to get Callum Hudson-Odoi instead of Douglas Costa. Douglas Costa was a Salihamidzic signing. And then, the likes of Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting was just a panic buy. That wasn't a Flick signing. I don't think Flick really wanted Choupo-Moting, you see. But and the thing is, like, we're hearing reports that oh, the board wants to extend Choupo-Moting's deal and this is that, but we all have to understand that Flick doesn't like Choupo-Moting. Like everything showed, like today he subbed him off, for Alaba. So I just I don't think Flick is gonna win. I'm really like we all want him to stay as Bayern fans, but we just do not see him. We just do not see him staying. You know, and one thing I want to tell you is Samuel is Bayern is Bayern's board is a bit like Real Madrid. So if let's say you've been like 2 or 3 seasons in your prime or so forth, sometimes it's time to move on. For example, Jerome Boateng, he's been in Bayern for like 7 years and he's been winning trophies left, right, and center. And now the board is saying we want to let him go. But we're all saying that I think we should all of us Bayern fans are saying we should keep him because um he's more experienced, has much more mentality, and he could help a player like an Upamecano who's coming in, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
And even Alaba too. Alaba, us Bayern fans are saying like, what the heck is the board doing? Like, why are we selling Alaba? It makes no sense. You see. So yeah, that's what's going on.
So like, what do you see? Like, so if because I look at Bayern and I'm like, Flick is sort of like an integral part of the organization at this point. But I also respect the
Mhm.
fact that Bayern Munich are sort of like they have a philosophy as a club, so they
Yeah.
play one way, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you? So if and like replacing him and
Yeah, I
carrying
can't hear you, sorry. What were we saying?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I think your volume is too low. Could you increase your
Wait, give me a second. Can you hear me now?
mm-hmm.
Okay, so I look at Flick and I'm like, I think he's like an integral part of your organization, but I also respect the
Mm-hmm.
fact that Bayern has a philosophy as a club. So like, who do you
Mm-hmm.
see, like coming in and replacing him?
Yeah, I mean, so like the talk right now is that it's gonna be Julian Nagelsmann. Um, Now this is my negative with Julian Nagelsmann. You see, when you look at Flick, right? Like, man, like one thing I love so much about Flick is his man management. You see, and I just don't know what to say about Nagelsmann because Nagelsmann, the thing about Nagelsmann is he's more of a philosophy type of possession merchant, type of coach. And because he's more of that kind of philosophy, possession merchant type of coach, I'm a bit worried that it might actually affect a player like Thomas Mueller and a player like Lewandowski and so forth. Because I watched Nagelsmann in Bundesliga with Leipzig, and sometimes he's reluctant to use their best players, in Leipzig. Sometimes he doesn't use Paulson. Sometimes he doesn't use Sorloth, who arguably is one of his best strikers in Leipzig. So I'm very
Very,
I
very
don't
reserved, right?
I kind of, to be honest, I would like to be honest, like I'm a bit worried-ish because like I know like I know like for example, like to get a manager like Flick is very rare. You don't always get that. You don't always get a manager like Flick. Like the only managers who I think is a bit close to Flick.
So guys, like the vid, subscribe to the channel,
Yes.
guys. Like the vid, guys. Like the vid.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Subscribe,
comment
guys.
below. Comment below. Comment
Comment
below.
below, guys.
Yeah,
Let's get
comment
this
below.
popular 1,000 subscriber, guys.
Come on now. Come on now.
Nice.
But what I
Gotta
was
get the
saying
goat
is,
some subscribes. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
But
don't
what
worry. I'm a madman. I know.
Chineke, oh, Chineke.
Don't mind me.
Okay. But what I was saying was, Zidane is close to Flick. I think they're really good managers, and people really underrate them a lot sometimes. And it's going to be very hard to find a manager like Flick again. And that is why I feel like it's going to be very, they're going to, I think Bayern is going to regret, moving on Flick and getting Nagelsmann. This is how I'm seeing it.
yo, but it's like I struggle
It
to
might work
understand
for
this.
one season. Nagelsmann's philosophy. hmm Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Wow. I struggle to understand because I'm like Flick is an amazing manager, the world's best manager
Yeah,
right now. So
yeah,
I'm like, you only had him for what, like 1 year and a half?
right,
It's
right.
like, why are you
That
letting?
no, I think the one thing I really feel sad about this Flick situation is they didn't really support him in the second season. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like you
Yeah,
look at
they didn't back him in the market. Yeah,
yeah. Like you look at someone like a Klopp in Liverpool. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they really backed him. They
facts.
really gave him the players. They really I'm trying to say, like gave him the players and so forth. You look at when Real Madrid won the three UCLs. When Real Madrid won the three UCLs, the reason why they won the three UCLs is they kept their main core of good players in the team. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what made them win those three UCLs. But you look at us, like after that one season, we take Coutinho back to Barcelona. We take Perisic back to Inter Milan. We sell
God.
Zirkzee to Parma, which was very poor. He could
Wait,
have been a really good.
wasn't Flick wanted Kai Havertz, Cho, and Timo Werner?
Yes, yes, bro. Timo Werner was like number one in his like list to be like a like he could give Lewandowski competition. You see,
Chineke.
No.
but instead they went for Choupo-Moting. So it's like like I look at these things and I'm like,
Thing with Bayern too is like your team. You didn't actually even need backing to win. Like you guys just won because of that the players you already had. All you guys needed to do was just add a bit more depth. Because like I'm looking at
yeah,
Bayern right now going into the
hmm
second leg, and I'm worried. I'm worried, bro. Because I'm like, wait, Goretzka's out.
yeah,
It's scary,
yeah.
bro.
No, like no. Like the thing is, like even the first leg, like I wasn't even that confident. And to
Mm.
be honest, like I wasn't even that confident. Like the thing is, like one thing you have to know about the Champions League is like the ref have to go your way, the luck has to go your way, everything has to go your way. You understand what I'm trying to say? But like when you're playing a team like PSG who has that depth and that first 11, and you don't have that first 11, remember what Flick said in the press conference? He said he last season's team was way better than this season's team, and I
Well,
agree.
yeah.
Look at today, bro. Bro, did you see how many young players he played today? Because the depth is not good. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
But
It's
last season, he had a really good depth of players. He had Odriozola from Real Madrid. We had
right.
Odriozola. We had Coutinho. We had Thiago Alcantara. We had Perisic. And that's why I say like This is why I'm also saying like a team like Chelsea can go far in the Champions League because they have a good depth. You guys have a good depth. You have a good first 11,
That's the thing, bro.
and you
Like,
can't be Bayern. You see?
yeah. Because like Bayern could have really built a destiny or a dynasty. Because like y'all won without even
Mm-hmm.
back. You guys just won because of your group. You had your group and you won that way. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
guys bought like what Liverpool did. Liverpool did add a bit more depth. They got Thiago. They got Yota. If you guys just did that, even just that, like it would have been different.
Right.
But hey,
Right.
your team is, yeah, Bayern are definitely at the top of Europe right now. But if you guys get knocked out to PSG, it's gonna be, yo, it's gonna bump down.
Bro, that second leg is over. Yo, I'm gonna tell Abdullah this. Yo, Abdullah, it was over, man. Like we got no hope. We we're going we're going into that game right without Goretzka. We're going into the game with Coleman having a football injury, which you have to play through. We're going to that game with Goretzka having a muscular injury, and then we're going into that game having Jerome Boateng having another injury in itself. It's
Bruh.
bad, man.
So
It's
Kimmich
really
is
bad.
out. Goretzka is out.
Kimmich is playing, but Goretzka is out. You know, Lewandowski's out, Gnabry's out,
Bruh.
Jerome Boateng is out. Coleman, oh no, Jerome Boateng is okay. So like
Sule.
what they're saying is Jerome Boateng might play, like it's a possibility that he might, but they're still like assessing to see like if he can play Tuesday or not. And the same thing goes for Coleman. You see,
Bruh. That's crazy. Like as good as a team, as good as your first 11 is, it's always important to have depth, bro. Like, because injuries are a thing in sports.
your mic is muted. Your mic is muted. Your mic.
Siberia. This is not even Siberia streamer. What an idiot.
Your mic is muted.
Bruh.
So I'll put you guys in the background. So possibly gonna do another stream on Monday for the final UCL second leg preview. Yeah, on Monday. So that's what I'm gonna discuss all the weekend match and everything. Then it was a pity we didn't talk much about the Classical, but we'll talk more on it on Monday when the full guys are in and everything. I'll put you guys in the background so you guys could talk. So guys, like the vid, guys. Let's keep moving.
And
Let's keep
comment below.
comment
Comments
below,
below,
guys.
please.
Let's keep
Comments
moving.
below.
Guys, I'm not like
Comment
Cheche. I mean, I'm a madman. Cheche is a crazy man.
Hey, Chineke.
So guys, I can understand. So we're different. HH with his agenda of Mbappe agenda and everything. So I can understand.
Nah. Look. Let me tell you guys something. Abdullah's predictions are always correct. He called the 3-2. He called that 3-2
I
against
called the
Bayern
3-2.
Munich.
And I also called
Yeah.
the 3-1 against Liverpool.
Liverpool,
Abdullah's
yeah.
predictions are undefeated, bro. This guy actually
Yeah.
predicts so much. Like that PSG Barca prediction.
I
That's
played the
gold.
4-1.
Goated. Yeah.
Yeah. He did say 4-1. Yeah, he did say
Crazy
4-1. I
guy,
remember.
man.
No one believed me when I said it. But I knew it. Because the reason I had to prediction my man then. When I heard Neymar wasn't, I was like, oh my god, my prediction has to change. I was like, oh my, imagine Neymar plays. I have a special prediction. So when I heard Neymar, I was like, HH, 4-1, Mbappe hat-trick, game
What?
over.
You know go play, man.
So
You
if
know go
Neymar
play.
Like,
You know
are you
go play. Oh,
I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Then it came to. I also told him about the Liverpool. I think it was on my team that I put the Liverpool 3-1, and I also predicted PSG winning 3-2 against Bayern Munich. So guys, peace, guys. Today was a lovely thing, guys. We go going at each other. I love today's thing, man. Mounts, this and that. Yes, I'll put you guys in the background. Don't worry. Peace, guys. Peace. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. I'm also on Spotify. You can give me a listen and also support the channel, guys. I'm also Spotify. Just press
And comment below, guys.
and the Blue
Comment
Studios
below.
on Spotify. You're gonna see my stuff on there. I'll most likely this after the second leg I'll start to edit some of the stuff on Spotify for people who drive, who go to college, who go to university, who doesn't have the time to listen to the YouTube. You guys can listen to on what's called on Spotify. And I'm also trying to work on the designs, the layout, music. So it's popping up very, very soon, guys. I'm working
Yeah.
on some beautiful stuff. It's popping up very soon.
Yeah.
This design is gonna be interesting. I'm finding a design. I want to use a design. I want to use it. I'm finding it. Maybe I'll use an HH design, HH music layout. I don't know yet. When they say I have an agenda, or I should put I should put a music. I won't buy it. I won't buy it.
Double content crack.
I was trying to see if I can put a music of I won't buy it. So I'll now kind of edit that music and post tab it to HH on DM.
You're
Like
wicked, man.
I won't buy it. HH does it will kick me out immediately. Like it does for a Saudi God. When I said Kylian Mbappe is the black Balotelli, he said, what?
What? Chai. You go
I'm working on content, guys. I'm working on some. And very soon it's popping up. It's popping up. I'm working on it. So it's popping up very soon. So peace out, guys. Peace.
Peace, bro. Peace, yeah.